welcome, man.
Hey man, I'm stoked to be here. Finally out of
Yeah.
the rain and shit. So
Mm, bro, I yeah, I worked inside today. But it was raining all day and I went I stopped and bought a little welder on the way home. And I didn't even bring it in because it was kind of downpouring.
oh yeah,
Yeah, yeah, I was like, fuck it, I'll just do it tomorrow.
but today was a fucking mess. I mean, 77 where we are is pretty shitty. So sure you have one of those where you are too.
Yeah, man. Oh, so you're in North Carolina, right?
Charlotte, yeah, I'm right in Charlotte.
Oh, yep, right by 77. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, yeah. So it's basically like a shit show, rain, snow, shine, whatever. God forbid it's rain or snow. Snow is the
Yeah.
worst here. That's probably like the worst thing for North Carolina, I think.
Oh, for sure.
Everybody's fucking driving backwards and buying toilet paper and fucking it's fucked.
Oh, it
So,
is. Same here. Same here. When we get it, we usually get ice. So like usually this time of year, somewhere around February, we'll have just a couple days of freezing rain.
oh
The
yeah.
whole fucking upper state just shuts down.
Oh, we get that too. I was trying to get that
Yeah.
trash out of the corner of my room. Uh
Oh yeah.
it's just like fucking sitting there, but it's raining, so whatever.
It's fine. You can actually I can't even tell. It's kind of like
It like
bright,
blends in.
the
Yeah,
white.
yeah.
Yeah, it blends in. Yeah, it's
So
fine. Hell yeah, dude.
it's good stuff.
So
So
you're Raven. Is that your call sign?
no, no, that's actually it's I'm kind of
Team?
speaking for a whole team. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So
Okay.
we formed out about 2 years ago. And that was right out of like, well, we're all kind of from Charlotte except for like three or four dudes that are out in South Carolina.
Oh,
And
okay.
then we got another guy in like Jacksonville and stuff. Like there's like 15 of us now. So
Damn.
um,
Okay.
we like steadily growing and trying to pick, I guess, quality over quantity. Just really good guys that want to really like go to these events, man. I mean, I've been playing airsoft for a while, but not seriously. I think the last 2 years I started taking it more seriously. This year is going to be insane. I mean, this is
Okay.
going to be. I'm trying to do one event a month, and
Oh
that's
shit.
pretty hard to do with like financials and buying engagement
Yeah.
rings and all that cool stuff too.
Ooh, shit. You're getting engaged. Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
man,
For
super
real.
stoked about it. But
Okay.
we got all that stuff going on, and then in the midst of all that, we also have there's a couple other guys in South Carolina that formed up, I guess, a field a while back, and then that went under, and then we turned Raven into an LLC also. So we were like, all right, well, let's like help them, get reestablished, and we started Airsoft South Carolina, which is going to be an indoor CQB field in Columbia.
So
So
this is so I read your description, whatever that you wrote, thing, and then when you signed up on our website, but it was so Airsoft Columbia. Yeah,
yeah,
dude. Yeah, your cat's doing acrobats
he's
over
he's
there.
a dick, dude. That cat's a dick. He's just a dick.
Hell yeah.
But
Um, so Airsoft Columbia, we've actually been there. I've actually been there with the guys once. I went there once and filmed and stuff. And I made a short video with Sam and a couple other guys and of the field, and I kind of interviewed them a little bit, and
yeah,
did that for a while ago. And then Chuck was, I had Chuck on here 6 months ago, I guess. Like not long after they had to close the building.
yeah, and
And
that was during the transitioning period, I feel like, with
yes,
them too. And like dude, I went on that page and seen they were like, we're fucked,
yep,
so we need money. We
yeah,
were
dude.
like, dude, it would be sick to kind of collaborate, and so we basically kind of went in with them, and well, the other guy that is a part of Raven, we started Raven, me and Eric did, as an LLC on my team, and then he's just, dude, I wish he was on this podcast right now. Like I would have him in here. Like he's
Yeah,
just balls to the wall, fucking throwing money at this shit. I mean, he's, if
holy
anything,
shit.
he's the guy. He is the guy.
Yeah,
So, I wanted to shout that out too, because like he's definitely like putting in a shit ton of financial. I mean, they got this new building's like 10,000 square feet, which is a little bigger than the old one. But it will be a lot of fun. We have to. There's a lot of like insurance stuff to get together and like we're starting to build it now. So my first
Oh,
experience of even going in the fucking building will be Sunday. I haven't even been to it. I've just seen
oh
pictures.
shit. Okay.
So that's going to be really, really cool. And I mean, I wanted to definitely like kind of touch base with that because it's like they need a field back. You know what I mean? And we need
Mm-hmm.
that. We need that in this community, especially
Now,
out there in Columbia.
how did you guys get involved? Like, how did you guys know if you're in North Carolina, if you're in Charlotte, Columbia is like a
It's
almost
like an
what a
hour. No, it's
three
just
hour drive?
about an hour and 10 minutes or so.
Oh shit. Okay.
So we're kind of like in the middle of like a couple of really awesome fields. I mean, there's like the other thing is that I mean I used to play at Gunny's Warfare Center. I don't know if you've ever heard of them before
I've
out in
heard of that.
Waxhaw. Yeah, so Scott owns that and his son Nick, and they had funny story. That's really what got I feel like I got an airsoft anyways because of those guys like or an airsoft team rather. Those guys
Mm.
kind of like pushed me towards like wanting to make my own team. I joined Outcast for like 2 months and was like I can do this, and then probably made them mad when I left. Sorry, Scott. But no, we're good now. Like we still play games together. But I was like,
Right.
yeah, that's a whole thing. So I was playing out there, and then I met most of my team like doing that, and then I knew Eric and stuff like through other friends and everything else. It seems like everybody kind of came together during airsoft, so that was really sick. But
Yeah.
we went down to Columbia, played some games. We had a lot of fun, and then not too long after that, it seemed like they were shutting down. So I was on Instagram one day, seen that post, and I said, dude, Eric wants to make a field. I want to make a field. Let's fucking help them make a field because they already know how to run a field,
Yeah.
you know. And instead of and then all these fields are shutting down. I mean, Gunny's just God. What happened to him really sucks. I mean, he lost his land and stuff, and
Oh, really?
yeah, dude. And then there was people that kind of scooted in there, and I don't know if they're gonna do an airsoft field or whatever, but it's kind of fucked up, really.
Mm.
So I mean that whole situation is one in its own. There's probably drama tied to that that I don't want to get into, but
Yeah.
that sucks. So the field closest to me shut down too. And
Jesus.
yeah, dude, it sucks because this
Like,
shit's like
what was this like? Last like couple years ago with like COVID and
no,
shit, or what?
no, dude. Like so, Gunny survived all of COVID. I feel
Yeah.
like Airsoft Columbia survived all of COVID. It's like just
Nice.
recently, like something happened. Sam probably be able to tell you more details with that stuff with like the landlord and his situation, but I mean, I don't know. Like, it just seems like it's hard to keep one open. You know, I mean, it
Hmm.
really is. Rather it be a nasty landlord or, maybe city code stuff or whatever it
Yeah.
is.
Yeah. One of the
Um,
guys that I had on here not long ago, he's got two fields open in Ohio that he
okay.
opened like 2 years ago. MK Airsoft and Master Key Airsoft. He said the same thing where he was having issue like when he first started looking into opening a field and getting a place like a warehouse, run down, abandoned warehouse kind of thing. It was he had to go through, he wanted to do it all legit because he wanted the insurance, he wanted the all the
That's a
code shit or
huge part of it,
whatever.
dude.
And
Insurance.
it's yeah, and it was the first guy, um, actually the first place he said on here, the first place he went to, he got scammed, and the guy wanted like 15 grand down, and then didn't deliver on whatever he said he was gonna, allow him to do in the building. So he wanted his money back, and the guy was not going to give it back to him. It was this
It was gonna
huge
become
drama
a bleed
thing.
me out dry shit in fucking court with a lawsuit and
Yes,
everything
but
else. That's so much
luckily,
garbage.
yeah, luckily he got his money back, and then he was able to take that and go to a different place or whatever. But it's a lot of red tape. And I heard, I've had, let's see, MK, I had John that runs Full Auto Airsoft up in New Jersey, and same type of things, similar things where he was, and in fact, Evike, their high ground,
Yeah, yeah.
um, that was open, and then it got shut down because I think an inspector, something to do with code, something wasn't up to code, and this is a common thing. What I've heard is so the building is, however many bathrooms you have, toilets you have in the building is uh, rates your occupancy. So If you,
Dude,
you
it
know,
all that shit fucking matters. It
it's so
sucks.
it's
It
so weird, and you
sucks,
got to be
dude.
good with the city that you're in because the city ordinances and the fucking city council and shit. It's like, so anyway, yeah, it's a lot of red tape, and sometimes people just open up. Yeah, hey, I got this warehouse I can rent. Let's play airsoft, and then they're open for 6 months, a year, 2 years, and then somebody's like, "What the fuck are they doing over there?"
Yeah,
And then,
yeah,
oh, there's an
yeah.
inspector.
They walk in and they're
Okay,
like,
your
"What the
fire
fuck?"
code ain't up. Your sprinklers are out of date. Like,
Oh yeah.
bro, 20 grand. Like what the fuck?
Luckily, we actually talked to the there was a conversation. I mean, there's been all kind, dude. It's been, but there was a conversation with the landlord and the guy that I guess owns the property, and I'm pretty sure that all that was explained. Thank God. Like,
Yeah.
hey, there will probably be this going on. This is what's going to happen. We're gonna not be able to have guns out in the parking lot, type of thing. Like, it's in a shopping complex near like a police
Mm,
station and everything. So I mean, it's a little different than the other Columbia area. If you ever went to that one,
yeah, that one was out kind of
in the
away
middle of
from things.
it didn't
Yeah.
matter.
Uh huh.
And this shit's a little bit more like, all right, bring your stuff inside. Now let's get ready inside. Check-ins here. You have to have stuff up so nobody can get shot in the face or something if games are going on while people are
Right.
trying to check in. So we have to build walls. All that shit costs so much money, dude.
Yeah.
I think I don't want to like I don't know, dude. Like just getting it started. I know Eric's put in a substantial amount of money just to
Right.
get this to work. And
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even with like there was like a whole basket of like problems that we had to figure out in between all that, and now there's a whole thing that you have to, you know what I mean? It's just a constant like, okay, are we going to be able to have grenades? What kind of grenades can we have? Can we even have grenades? It's just a whole
Right.
thing. Like,
Is it
um,
like is it attached? Like, is it in a building that's like a shopping like strip where there's other, like you're
yes.
sharing walls with another store?
There's another
Oh,
place
okay.
there that we
Okay.
share with, and I'm not even entirely sure what that other place is. I know a
Oh,
church owns this place though.
gotcha.
Or I think the guy who owns it is a pastor or something like that. I haven't met those
Okay.
guys yet.
Yeah.
But they've been doing all the nitty gritty stuff. I've just been kind of sitting here being a fat ass. Just like yeah, we have a field or whatever.
Good
But
job, buddies.
yeah, good
Yeah.
job.
Keep pushing.
But I feel like I mean I plan to invest quite a bit of money in it as well. I mean the more the merrier as far as keeping it up and running. And then if things pan out, I mean they wanted us to fork over the year's first rent. So I don't know if you want to imagine what that number is, but I don't even want to tell you what that number is.
Bro.
And so Eric did it. And I was like,
See, that's
fuck. I was
that's
like,
what
that's serious fucking dedication, dude.
it
That's
is.
like,
And the other thing is, well, I mean, it's going to work out. It's going to work out because there's, as long as they don't get shut down for violating codes or city ordinance thing or whatever, as far as the building itself,
oh
South
yeah,
Carolina, luckily, is pretty lenient with, everyone has guns, like
oh
real
yeah,
steel.
oh
You
yeah.
go to Target up here, up the road from where I live in Simpsonville, and you go up here. There's guys that have concealed carry, but it's like sticking
Oh
out.
yeah,
Like
just literally
nobody
bulging
gives a
out of
shit.
everywhere. Yeah,
Nobody
they
cares.
they're not. I don't think it's the gun thing as much as it is like the
Yeah,
property slash whatever thing. It's like
exactly.
it becomes like a city issue. Then we'll have to just kind of I guess regroup and figure things out from there, like
Yeah.
as much as we can as things go.
What you want to do is if somebody is close to there that like in that vicinity that can kind of be in the know with whoever's like city commerce and all that kind of shit or whatever, um, or whoever they have to talk with about those kind of things. Like if somebody knows some people that work in those fields, it's a lot easier to deal with that stuff. You know what? I'll tell you what a tip that this guy Gabriel said that he does in Ohio. One of his brother or his buddy or something that was helping him said, or maybe it was his brother. He wanted to allow the police department to train in their facility,
that's what we're gonna
his
try to do
his
too.
first
Yep.
building, and he said he was trying to figure out the numbers, like and maybe it was brother. I can't. He said it on the podcast. He said, "No, man, let them train here for free. You'll be
Yep.
set. Like you take care of them, they'll take care of you. It'll be good for business and that kind of thing." And it did, and it's like expanded with fire department guys and SWAT team guys and stuff. And a lot of those guys come back off duty and pay to play too. So it's and not to mention that you're kind of set if you have those kind of people that know the facility, they're familiar with it. The police department, they're not, if they get a call about something from somebody driving by or something, it's like, what are they doing? They're
Oh
carrying a
yeah.
bunch of guns in there. They're already familiar with it, that kind of thing. So yeah,
And it's
that's good
right
of you
beside
guys.
them. Thank God.
Yeah.
It's not like
Right.
they're rolling up on something they've never seen before either. It's
Yeah.
like, but that's one of the cool things we did. We've definitely had that discussion about bringing in kind of some some guys that really want to do the real thing and kind of train in there as well.
Right.
Um, I mean, before airsoft, that's what I was do. I mean, I did a lot of tactical stuff. I mean, I don't tactical stuff's broad or whatever, but I mean, I did a lot of like 3-gun drills and stuff like that.
Oh,
And
okay.
been doing that for a long time. And I think what got me into airsoft was the pandemic in the first place. I was like, oh, I can shoot people with these and it doesn't
Yeah.
kill them. That's awesome. It's sick.
No
So,
shit, right? Cheap
it's,
training.
dude, it really is. I mean, like that's a whole nother. A lot of people are indifferent about saying it's not real training because it's airsoft. And I'm like, dude, I mean,
Yeah.
you can take some of the same movements and same coordination skills from translating from real firearms to airs, especially dry firing. All that stuff is like
Yep.
100% translatable. And like I feel like I'm sitting here dry firing all the time, but now I don't have to do it with a real firearm. I can just do it with an airsoft gun and then kind of translate. You know what I mean? Especially
Yeah.
pistols. Like that's gas blowback pistols is a really cool way to train.
Exactly.
And I think like what's crazy is like I used to think, oh, airsofts are like children, you know what I mean? And it's then
Me
you
too.
like yeah, you show up and you're like, dude, this is like a bunch of 30-year-old sweat dudes that are out here like like running
Yeah,
around
man. It's
yelling at each
crazy.
other and shit. And I was like, this is awesome. So it got me
Yep.
really like hooked into it. I think at a later because I'm about to be 32.
Okay.
So like I feel like I bought my first airsoft gun when I was like 16, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was a piece of shit. I didn't know what the hell. I didn't know anything about going to places to play airsoft. I just bought this thing that shot BBs out of it and probably got in trouble at some point with it. And then like never touched it again. Ended up getting back into like paintball around 18 or so and then kind of phased out of that. Then like one day I was watching a YouTube video and I was like, fuck, this what is this? I thought it was like real combat, but it was like funny lettering on the top. I was like, wait a minute, this is like and it was an Alphonse video.
Oh
And then
shit.
I was like, oh, this dude's fucking, he's doing some funny shit. But what is he doing? And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Oh, this is airsoft. That's crazy. Milsim airsoft. Okay, I'm in. I'm hooked now. Fuck video games. Like, like
No shit, right?
now I don't have to be fat anymore. Well, I'll still be fat, but I can like halfway fit into a, fucking medium-sized plate carrier
At
again. So
least
that's
that
cool.
the weekend that you go for a mill sim, you're gonna get a ton of exercise.
Oh,
Okay.
dude, 100%. Yeah, I'm
Right.
exercising now, but before I was like, shit, I don't. If I do this every fucking week, I'll be pretty good, And
Mm-hmm.
along with like a regular workout regimen, you're like straight. This is cardio pretty much for
Yeah.
me. So,
No
um,
shit.
but
Now,
these events
did you
are.
grow up in North Carolina, like around guns and all that kind of stuff? You were used
Uh,
to that.
I grew up. Well, I would say my teen years were all here. I moved here when I was 13. I'm
Okay.
from Arizona, so familiar with guns in either way.
Yeah.
I mean, I like North Carolina. I guess. I didn't really get into guns until I've always been like guitar and music stuff, but I started really getting into guns when I was around 16, 17, and
Okay.
kind of just started shooting stuff, like going to the range with a couple of friends and their father and stuff. So my father passed away when I was 14, and then I
Okay.
like was fatherless. So I was like, I need something cool to do. Let's go shoot stuff. That sounds fun. I don't know why,
Yeah.
but then it kind of translated later on into more of a training thing when I was about 23 years old. I got really into training.
Okay.
Um, and then I mean like $600 a week into training, spending all of my paycheck on training. And then
Damn.
then you can't afford it. It's because you're like
Oh my God.
I was still living at home back then because I was a nerd.
Yeah.
So, but I
Yeah,
had
that's
like
expensive though. So that kind of training is like you go weekly, like what, once a week or twice a week or something, or every day, and
no, I would go. I only did. I usually do like Fridays and Saturdays.
Gotcha.
Mainly Saturdays, just because like I was still had to work a job and was kind of a college kid still. So
Yeah.
I would like spend all of my money on that and music stuff. So like if I
Oh,
made a
that's
thousand
wild.
dollars, yeah, dude, I would not that none of that mattered. Like if it wasn't for my mom, I wouldn't be like. There's no way I'd be able to do any of that. I'd be eating
Right.
ramen and like drinking like Deer Park all the time. Like I would be sitting here drinking like really nice, coffee and everything else right now. I'd be like super broke, I think.
Right.
'Cause I would have spent everything I owned on guns and
It's
guitars.
expensive, man. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Now,
Um,
what kind of you said like three gun? You did
yeah,
special training or
yeah, more or less. Used to do like we do like kill house stuff, which was really cool
mm,
with three gun, and then you kind of run through and basically like simulate movement. They had targets back at that. Oh, there was a place in Concord out here that used to have targets that would like actually move around, which was kind of cool. They weren't like crazy,
yeah.
but that was cool simulating that, and then being able to shoot inside of somewhere without blowing your eardrums out with ear pro on and all that cool stuff. Shotguns. I'm not a huge fan of shotguns, but we did do some of that too, like the three
Okay.
gun. I hate shooting shotguns. I don't know why.
Really?
Yeah, I fucking hate shotguns. I just don't. I like. I'm just not a fan of shotguns.
But have you tried a sawed off double barrel?
No, it sounds fucking horrible.
Oh,
But
dude. Yeah.
yeah, sawed offs are not for me, dude. I think. I mean, I like personally, I have like 300 blackout and stuff like that.
Nice.
Which doesn't. Well, after that thing gets after like 200 yards, it's like kind of trash. But
Mm,
for CQB stuff, I feel like it's great.
yeah.
So I kind of like decked out one of those and kind of just ran with that, and then ended up shooting so many rounds through it, the rifling's fucked on it now. So
Jesus.
it's basically a $4,000 paperweight
Oh
until
my
that's fixed.
God.
Yeah, it sucks.
That fucking sucks ass. My
Yeah.
son built a 50 Beowulf,
Uh,
50
the
cal
50
Beowulf.
cal, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, one of our team members built one of those. It's fucking shoots a fireball like that far.
Yeah, it does.
I won't even shoot it. I'm like, dude, that's fucking stupid.
Listen, bro, he got this. He got this. I forget what it's called. What kind of stock it's called? I'm looking at it on the wall right now. It's but the stock, the butt plate on it is deeply checkered. Okay, very deep checkering, and it's hard plastic.
Oh, really?
It's not rubber. And I said, "What the fuck? Why did you get this stock?" So we tried shooting it when he got done with it. We
You
shot it like
crack,
in the
you fucking
summertime.
crack shit.
Bro, it digs into your fucking shoulder. You know, we
No,
got
I'm good.
t-shirts on. We're like, oh shit.
It's one of those like, yeah, America, fuck this up guns, but I don't think it's not a precision rifle, you know. It's like
No,
it's definitely like a blow your fucking door like blow the
it's
door
totally
down.
impractical. Totally impractical. Yeah, unless you want to blow like, hinges off like the,
Yeah.
the
You could
what's
do
that?
a
The
breach
shotgun,
the
like the
breach like
breacher.
yeah,
Yeah.
breach round type of thing
Mm-hmm.
like so I've seen people do that. I never got to do that because it costs money to do that. Or at least the guys that were doing it back when but they used to blow like these little they had it set up where it wasn't like a real door, but it like they like put this shit together where I never got to do any of the cool like blow door handles off and fucking
Yeah,
do that, but I did get to do some like 5-man stack stuff and some cool stuff like that. But
that's
that
cool.
those guys were paying they were either paying more money or they had like some kind of shit in there to be able to do it. I just got to watch it.
Yeah.
GTI does stuff like that. I don't
Right.
know too much about like what all they do over there, but I know they do a shit ton of training. I know they
Yeah,
bring a
dude.
lot of
If you look at if you go to their website and look at their trainings, like their event schedule,
yeah.
or their scheduling or whatever,
That's what I was kind of looking
um,
at before. I was like, dude,
dude,
they have like
SWAT teams,
yeah,
FBI,
dude.
fucking, all just almost every weekend
If I
is
could go
just,
watch that shit, I would just go watch it. Like
yeah, for
it's
real.
awesome to watch stuff like that. But yeah, dude, it'd be kind of I don't know to have a Beowulf pulling out. I wouldn't want somebody to
It
pull
is,
that
yeah.
out.
Like I said, well, he was big into, he wanted to try out these different guns. He was still living at home at the time, and so this is a few years ago. But was right after he was kind of building up some guns, buying guns when he was, I don't know, barely an adult, still coming out of high school and stuff. And when my other son that's on the channel, Coltrane, he started buying guns as well, and then my younger son did as well. But they Colton moved out, and then Christian was still here, and he was gonna start looking to move out. This is like right around the time we started our channel, and I asked Colton to move back because when I was paralyzed, I was starting to get better, and then it happened again, second time, and I needed someone here to pick my fat ass up off the floor when I fell. I couldn't walk.
Right.
So, and my wife, she's 5'3", little thing. She ain't picking my 250-pound ass up. So, and I literally couldn't get up on the
Oh shit.
bed or nothing. So, I was like, and Colton and Christian are like 6'4", 240 pounds. I
Yeah, they're
mean,
gonna pick you up
320
like you're nothing.
pounds, and and they played football. They would just get down and squat me. Get underneath my armpits and just pick me up. So they both lived at home, and they started buying guns, and I was like, hey, just build up some ammo. So we have this huge inventory list of ammo and guns. So he built this Beowulf, and then he bought, because it's just fun to do. He's like, hey, we want to try this out. Ammo's expensive as fuck for that thing. um,
Dude, yeah, that's another. Fuck.
impractical as hell to shoot. Like, it's not
Uh,
like a home defense
I
weapon.
don't even want to
It's
shoot
not.
300 blackout, bro. Like 300 blackout subsonic rounds are literally like $2 a piece.
Oh, I'm
Like
sure.
I'm sitting here, if I'm sitting here shooting, I'm like, okay,
You're thinking
so
about it.
dude, every time, every fucking shot,
Yes.
and 9 times out of 10, like you can get less rounds in a mag, but like I'll sit there and I'm like, oh, well, if you have friends out and you want to like, oh, I've never shot a suppressor before, and you're like, well, this is cool. Dude, by the end of that, I've already spent $800 because we're out
Yeah,
there blowing up
500
tannerites with
rounds
this
goes
fucking
fast, bro.
yeah, with especially with
It
6 people.
does. Yeah,
So
it's we did the same thing. We started actually after this airsoft channel. We started this, and then we started a gaming channel
oh
for
yeah,
Trifecta Airsoft Gaming, and then we started Trifecta Steel, which was, all three of those YouTube channel or the other two YouTube channels are still active or still up there. They're just, I haven't put anything on them. Well, when we started the Real Steel channel, called it Trifecta Steel, we went to the range, and we're shooting, trying all these different guns. His, 50 cal Beowulf, he bought a Judge.
oh yeah.
So, it
I have
shoots. We're
one of
trying the
those too.
410s and the 45s.
Those are fucking stupid, dude.
Yeah, it's like it's one of those fun guns to shoot. It's like really
Yeah,
impractical.
oh yeah,
We're blowing up, like grapefruit and shit, and soda cans, just for video effect. The effect on video. But we're like, when we're done, and we're having fun doing it.
oh
We're
yeah.
like, okay, we're packing up. We're going, holy fucking, we got ammo cans, and we're like, holy shit, these are light. How many rounds did we shoot?
Oh, all of it.
And then we, we come back. We're like, okay, we need. And then ammo prices started going up. To like
Oh
two and a
yeah,
half years ago, like really going up.
it's bad, dude. That was bad.
After when all the riots were going on, everyone went nuts and started buying all the ammo. And then they put a restriction at a lot of these stores where you can only buy 2 boxes at a time. And so we were like, okay, we're not doing that video, we're not that channel anymore. But yeah, there's just some of those guns are fun to shoot, but they're fucking expensive, man.
Dude, they're like, yeah, yeah, and that's the thing. Going back to subsonic stuff, like I wouldn't even. I bought, dude. I've been collecting ammo for like 8 years,
Nice.
so you can put a number on it, but I don't know how much. I mean, I have to rotate ammo. Like I live in an apartment, right? All of
Yeah.
my shit, except for like 2 rifles and 2 handguns, are here.
Holy
And
shit.
like yeah, because I'm sitting here like, okay, we're trying to build an airsoft field, and then I'm renting. I'm not gonna buy a house in this market right now. So
Right.
hey, mom, can I store this shit in y'all's big ass? They have a huge house, so like,
Nice.
so all my stuff's over there. But I like 9 times out of 10, when I'm going to buy ammo, I'm always like, should I get the good shit or the shit that I want to just like waste? You know what I mean? And back
Mm-hmm.
in the pandemic, I just wasn't shooting anything. So
Right.
it brought me back to airsoft. Like it's really what like I was like, okay, well, I love guns so much. Like, how do I like kind of do this without spending $1 million? And then you know what happened? I spent $1 million getting into this shit, and now I have so much airsoft shit. I have more airsoft shit here than I do real steel shit now.
I'm sure.
It's fucking obnoxious the amount of
It's
stuff that.
crazy, dude. Yeah, the when I started talking with people, I was blown away. I'm just like, holy shit. And this, listen, bro, this is like, it's not like concentrated in one part of the
No,
world or one part of the country or one part of a certain state. You know, that
bad,
same
dude.
thing where the people are, you know, that get an airsoft are spending X amount on gear and guns and this. It is a common theme, a common thread worldwide, no matter where. And it's like this is their money pit.
Shit,
This one guy says,
dude.
"Yeah, I want the sport to grow. I want to get these, you know, I want to get new players in here so they can be as broke as I am." Okay,
I mean, yeah, I mean, essentially, like that's what's gonna happen, dude. If you don't
right?
have some kind of like, I don't know, this isn't your day job. You know what I mean? Like the airsoft is literally the craziest hobby. I feel like, other
Oh yeah.
than the real shit. I mean, I had a Steiner. I have a real Steiner D-Bow, right? I don't use that for airsoft,
Oh shit.
but I put a real EOTech, a real Hydra mount off of my because my 300 blackout's fucked. Like I told you, the rifling's fucked up
Yeah.
on it. I had the Hydra mount, which is a stupid buy. I don't. Nobody should ever. I just want to let you know right now. Like I
What
bought a
is it
real
now?
the
I don't think I
Hydra
know what it
mount.
is.
It's like a. It's on my. I have a. I use a MTW.
Yeah.
So I bought. It's from GBRS. The Hydra mount's like a double stack type of thing that'll hold like a PEC box and your EOTech, or sometimes they have the
Oh,
aim
okay.
point stuff.
I
It'll
might have
like
seen one. I just didn't know if okay.
it kind of like rises it this way, and like if you're so the PEC box is here and the EOTech's here, but it takes it up off
Oh,
the gun.
gotcha. Right.
So I took it off my 300 blackout because I was like, well, I'm not using this right now. And then I was like, wow, this, with Ear Pro and like my helmet and fucking goggles and everything else you have to have with airsoft, you don't have to have with real steel.
Right.
I mean, you have to have like you should wear eye pro and ear pro, obviously, but like my
Right.
fucking mask and stuff, I'm like sitting here trying to shoulder weapons,
Yeah.
and with this thing, I can just go, oh, cool. And
Yeah.
so I put a real EOTech on there, and the debow, the EOTech's insured, so if that gets shot out, it's whatever, but it won't because it has one of those new Valhalla EOTech protectors on it, which
Oh shit.
shout out to them. Valhalla Airsoft makes protectors for your EOTech. I can show you in a minute.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Definitely.
and they work fucking awesome. They take hits. They're like I don't know if it's Lexan or what they're using, some kind of polycarbonate, but
Really.
it works awesome. It's like a 3D printed thing that they did, and
Oh, that's
it's
cool as
dude,
fuck.
it's fucking sick.
Hey, look, you know those for your mask and shit. Did you see that video, that short video Garand Thumb did? He's holding he's hip firing, but he's got a riser that's like it's telescopic thing or whatever. So the it's like a foot and a half high that sits on top of the gun, and he's got the
Oh
sight
yeah,
right
yeah,
here.
yeah, yeah,
You know,
yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
sure it's a
that's
joke.
ridiculous. But that's basically that's what probably what he's making fun of, I feel like.
Yeah, I'm
He
sure.
he uses that GBRS mount too though in some of his I think he's like got I think he has it.
Okay.
He might not have it. I could be thinking of a different channel, but Grand Thumb I thought had the Hydra mount. The Hydra mount basically just raises everything, but it
Right.
that deval doesn't have insurance, so now I gotta buy another pack box. I wanted to buy like a Somo gear one, but they're all out of stock or whatever. Those are still expensive, dude. They're like 300 bucks. So
For
getting back on
what?
the for the IR laser because I got nods for
Oh
fucking.
shit.
So this is how I'm stupid, right? So I buy a Steiner. This Steiner is amazing. Good, it's a fucking green laser and a flashlight, right?
Yeah.
It's a $2,800 paperweight in reality because you don't have nods. And I'm shooting
Oh.
real still, never really understanding. Okay, I have IR. I'll never use it because I'm never gonna buy nods. I get into this fucking shit, and now I have fucking nods. I bought PVS 14s, and now I'm about to order a second tube.
Oh
So
Jesus.
I like, but I justifiably I will shoot in the dark now in real
Right.
life, like
Well,
with
I was
real
gonna
guns.
say you have.
The whole
Well,
time I
it
had an IR capability with no fucking nod, so it was
no way to
completely
see it.
pointless.
Right.
No, completely pointless. I mean, you have the green laser, which is cool, but like,
Right.
I never thought I would ever use the IR, so I was like, well, I just spent this obnoxious amount of money on this box because I like it, and now I can actually use it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because I actually have nods, but I'm not bringing that to the any airsoft event. I'm probably gonna buy like one of those Hollow Sun ones, unless I get like a
Oh.
Otal C or something from Stein. I like Steiner a lot, but for airsoft, dude, like we try to be Gucci in this team, but I don't know if I'm that Gucci for airsoft. Like EOTech and nods are
Not if
pretty,
it's a high chance of it breaking. Fuck that shit, bro.
dude. Especially since there's no like I don't know if they have like I know they probably have like a warranty system with their stuff, but I don't know if it's as like the EOTech you can shoot that shit out and they'll fix it for you. 6 hours, by
Right.
the way. I have shot out mini Romeo 5s. That's a cheap site. They will literally take it 2 weeks and send you another one. They don't,
Nice.
and that's super sick. So for anyone that wants to get into buying a real optic and they're like, oh, I don't want to do this for airsoft, those companies will. I mean, EOTech is a little on the high side for airsoft, I feel like,
Right.
but for the average person. But like, if you're really into it, like I am, and you're like, man, I bought 70 fucking fake sites and they all get shot out. And
Mm,
so by then you've already bought an EOTech.
that's
So
true.
just buy the real thing and wait the 2 weeks if it gets shot out or you break it or something, and they'll fix it.
Right.
But 6 hours probably
Good tip.
better. It's like an infinite guarantee that no matter how many times you break that glass, they'll fix it. To my
No
knowledge, and I've
shit.
replaced mine like 2 times.
Okay.
So that's a cool thing.
Well, that's the now when I first started these podcasts, if somebody would have said, oh, well, they have said it. I would say, if they were talking about these expensive sites and this and that and whatever, I'm like, what do you need protective glass over it for? Like, what, that thing's so small, it's not going to get shot. And
Yeah,
now I'm like, never mind, because apparently those type of things and your skin, exposed skin, is a BB magnet. It's like
it
it
is.
knows it is the smallest thing it finds to hit.
Oh
Oh, that
no,
looks cool, man.
that's the Hydra mount. So
Gotcha.
you see how
Okay.
it just raises that stuff off of the
Uh huh.
gun. And um, I mean, I told you I was gonna show it to you, but it's basically like a $400 piece of shit in my opinion, because you could buy the fake one for $50. I know somebody with a fake one. It looks exactly like this.
Yeah.
Was not $500 and or $400 or whatever, and works exactly the same.
Jesus.
And so I wouldn't even buy the real thing unless I love GBRS. I like those guys. I think they're really awesome. That's
Well,
why I bought it.
the difference is probably like the more expensive one. If you drop it or fall on it or something, it's not going to break,
Yeah,
probably.
it
And then
probably
the
would.
other one, yeah, the other one's probably going to break. But
And I don't know if you can see the mount that's on the EOTech. So or the little, not the mount,
oh,
the
on top,
protector here. So
right?
yeah, this that thing is what Valhalla makes. Got their little logo. I don't know if you can see all that,
Oh
but
yeah.
this is pretty much what keeps my EOTech from having to be
How do,
replaced, I
how
feel
does
like.
that sit on there? Is there
So like
like a
there's a
mounting?
yeah, like it's like a God, I wish I could be a spokesperson for their thing. It's hard as shit to get off, which is not a bad thing, but like so it has two connections on this side and on this side that basically like attach to the housing. And if
Right.
you go to their website, or as of right now, I believe they actually have a video up kind of showing it on their website and stuff. And this thing is awesome, dude. Like I've replaced the lens already because the last we did Thunderdome. I don't know if you heard about that from Lion Claws.
Huh.
I got real close and personal with people there, and they shot the fucking shit out of this. And I was like, oh, that could have been really bad. I looked down and I was like, there's two dents.
Oh,
That's sick.
nice.
And it was like direct hits. Like I was
Right.
like probably within 10 feet to 5 feet from
Woo.
some people, full
Damn.
autoing it. Yeah, that's a really awesome buy from them, and it's only like $30. For $30, I mean, to protect something that's $600,
For
it's totally worth it.
sure.
And even if you have the
Yeah.
clones, you can buy that too, and they have it. For some reason, I've never tried it, but the clone version of the EOTech that they sell will not fit that thing. Like if you have a real
Gotcha.
one, it's totally different sizing or something. So they have
Hmm.
both. It's kind of
Yeah, that's
shouting them
cool,
out a
man.
little bit, but
Oh, absolutely, man. That's I love learning about these new all the new stuff that's coming out that will help people with their gear and
dude,
all that shit on the field.
my thing is to get anybody that's new that wants to get into this stuff, like you can start at any price range, you know what I mean? That's one of the other
Right.
cool things. Like you want to buy, like you don't want to buy a Faro Concepts plate carrier, right, to run for airsoft. You don't have to do that. You
No.
can just go to Amazon and get something that's going to work, and they
Yep.
have pretty fucking durable shit now that you can just
Right.
buy for maybe even $100 or under $100 in some cases, that are
Sure.
actually like substantially better than some of the other real things. But like I think even, well, I would say that Cry License JPC, there's no point in buying that in my opinion.
Bro.
I won't buy
These
that.
dudes talking about I had a guy on here a while ago. He's big into the cry stuff
I am too,
and
but I won't buy
mini
fucking
maps,
license
and
shit.
he's like, "Oh, this mini map." I'm like, when he said that, I'm lit. This is how dumb I am. I'm legit thinking, uh, like a video game, a mini
A
map. I'm
mini
like, what
map.
is it? What is this, like a handheld thing you're carrying around the field? He goes, no, it's this cry whatever. I'm like, I don't what it, I, and he was the first one to tell me
Was
about
it
cry. I didn't even know about cry.
the zip on back panel? Is that
What
what
the
the mini map that's on the back? It's like a back panel on
yeah,
this.
it's like a tiny backpack.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
that's what they are. That's all it is. It's just
yeah.
a tiny little bag. So
He
like,
showed me. He had some on the wall, and he got him. I was like, so what? Like, people are going crazy over these. Like, they're hard to find. They don't release them very. These different camos come out, and people go nuts over them. Like, okay, I don't, I don't get it.
if you're running HPA, a mini
Yeah.
map to me is like obviously necessary
Okay.
because you have to put your tank somewhere. So
Yeah.
for us, as my team is primarily, and we have one AEG on our team, so we're like
Gotcha.
all HPA, which a lot of people would like hate on probably because for some reason there's like this ultra like F the guys with HPA guns type of crowd that goes to milsims, and I'm like, dude, like your gun's electric.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm not trying to talk shit because AEGs are sick. I mean, that's what got me into
Yeah.
this
It's
shit. But
fine,
like
but
HPA to me is, and there's so many reasons you could have this argument of why it's not better or why it's better. So I'm not even gonna get into that. All I'm gonna say is I enjoy not maintaining my shit at
yeah.
all year.
And how about how consistent it is?
It's fucking super consistent, and yeah, you can be a dickhead and fucking be a dickbag, and sit there
Well,
and
that's up to you. That's not, that's up to the person. That's not
the system. Yeah,
yeah, the
that's the
system.
problem.
Like I feel like most people I've talked with would agree HPA is an upgrade from AEG. Like, it really is an upgrade
I think it
because
is.
yeah, and majority of people I've talked with will admit that even if their preference is AEG,
Right.
it's I think some people don't like HPA not because the system is flawed or it's bad or it
It's the
doesn't work
people,
right
dude.
or it's the tank. It's because somebody goes full auto and
Yeah. It's the
it's
player
Polar
too, like
Star, fucking
and
60 rounds a second kind of shit. But
that's the thing. You can't hate on a whole system because of
no,
a
the
fucking
system
one.
is an upgrade from AG. From what I've seen, and in person here, we've tested out a couple Kythera builds and stuff, and how quiet they are, how
Yep.
accurate they are, how consistent every shot is. Because that's one thing. I mean, we review a lot of guns that we were getting out of these mystery boxes. They're not high end guns,
Right.
granted. So I do understand that the difference there, but still AEGs, like even the really nice ones, they're not as consistent as an HPA. If you took 100 AEGs and 100 HPAs, all different
Dude,
kinds or whatever, and fine tuned them, you're gonna get better results. More
there's gonna be
well,
so
maybe
many AEG
consistent.
guys like
Yeah.
cringing at this statement right now. Dude, they're
Hey,
gonna
come
fucking
on, bring on the comments. Bring on the comments. Let's
they're gonna
go.
fucking hate on it. But I know that like so I mean with that point like Umbrella Armory makes a great AEG. I could go
Yeah,
on their website and copy everything they do and build it myself if I wanted to, right? But you would have to put a lot of time into really like an effort and tech work into that.
yeah,
Could I actually do that? No. I'm just saying in general, like some really good
right.
tech out there
Somebody
could
could.
probably
Right.
but they your gears are gonna strip. You're gonna run
Right.
out of fucking batteries. For longevity, and in my case, like Milsim West, if I'm gonna do a Milsim West, where if it's a long fucking game, I probably could go through the entire game without changing a battery. The
Yeah.
whole game, all
Yeah.
day, all night, cold,
That's true.
wet, hot, no matter fucking
Hmm.
what. My MTW has pretty much surprised me over anything else out there, and I like, dude. As much as I'd love to be sponsored by them, they're never gonna sponsor us. I don't think. They never say never, but like, dude, I'm gonna buy another MTW. Like that,
Yeah.
you can beat the fucking shit out of that gun,
Really.
and it will perform. And dude, it was like now you get into a whole nother category of guys that are like, well, my HPA is better and it's built, and it's fucking MTWs, and I'm like, dude, if you own one of these, well, I did own one, they say, oh, okay, well, that's cool. I mean, everybody has a preference, and that's totally cool with me. I
Sure.
just know that I have like ate shit more times than I can even tell you with that gun in my hands, and there's barely a fucking scratch on it. barely a scratch on it.
That's crazy.
Um, you can and you pick it up and it shoots exactly the same every time. Like
Really?
I don't think I even need to shout out Wolverine Airsoft but like shout out to them for making a fucking indestructible airsoft replica that is like fucking beyond amazing. I mean, it's just
Yeah.
it's literally the greatest thing airsoft weapon that I've or I guess not weapon, but airsoft replica I've ever used, and it's not even a replica. It's like their own thing. You know, they
Right.
didn't replicate it from anything but an AR platform, but
Yeah.
um,
Yeah, I've seen
M4
one.
platform.
I shot one. I think that was the one. It's been a while, but one of our friends had one. And I think that was it. But I didn't know
Dude,
how good they were.
it's
Like
like
how
I want to keep.
durable and how
It's hard to even want to like put this thing down when you hold one because it just
yeah.
feels so good, and you set it up however you want. I mean, everything on mine is I have Israeli defense, well, the Fab defense, they're from Israel. And I say Israeli defense, I don't know why, but they have the same grip. This is all real still shit, real still buffer
Yeah,
tube.
that stock looks cool as fuck. Did you put that? Is that a sticker or is that come
Oh
with it?
yeah, it just says Magnum. I don't know why. I thought it was
Yeah,
funny. A
that's
little
cool.
dude to ski mask, but yeah. So there's that, and then you got a licensed Daniel Defense rail on it. This will take real still rails too. I had a Strike Industries rail on it before.
Nice.
Um, but this is the kicker right here. This is the best part of this gun for HPA, whatever you want to. When you go to fuck with it, you
Yeah.
have to take it apart. Well, the best part is when it doesn't get stuck on the battery. This just literally pops out just like that. Everybody's seen these before. Like, I mean,
That's
MTWs are
awesome.
just that easy, dude. You pop this stuff off, your engine slides out, everything's aligned. There's no alignment issues. You know, your trigger board. I
Jesus.
have the premium stuff, but it's when you buy the forged, you get literally what I would consider the best airsoft replica slash their own thing. I don't know what to call it. MTW. I just think MTW
Yeah.
is like been overstated so many times now. Like everybody's like,
Really?
oh, well, yeah, dude. Like, cause it's not really a replica though, cause it's not made after. It's made after an M4
It's
platform,
their
but it's
own.
their own
It's their own
thing.
gun. Yeah.
It's not Daniel Defense, but um, they just have the most sturdy shit, dude. Like I confidently could drag that across the freeway and know that I could probably pick it up and it would still shoot. They
That's
have
crazy.
videos. If you ever watched the video of them trying to destroy it like years ago,
Uh-uh.
they fucking like drop 400 pounds on the. I don't know. I'm probably exaggerating. They drop a lot of shit on it and they throw it against
What?
the wall. You could go into Junkies. Have you ever been there? Dude, the first time I ever
Uh-uh.
went to Junkies,
Yeah.
one of the dudes there picked up a Wolverine. This is like way before I owned one, and he was
Yeah.
like, "You should just buy this." And I was like, "Why?" And he fucking threw it against the wall, and he's like, "Look, it's fine." I'm like, "What the fuck did you just throw that against the wall for? How much does it cost?" The 900. Oh, okay, well, hold on a second. And then I realized that's really not that much money, considering everybody I know is rebuilding their guns all the time and having all these issues with like HPA. Even like you're just like constantly having these issues. This thing has zero issues. I have
Right.
no complaints at all. Um, but that being said, you know, some people just like to tinker, man. We have a guy on our team that
Oh
can't
yeah.
not buy something else just to fucking fuck with it. And I
Yeah.
can't
Like
even
they get
stop fucking
something
with
really
that.
good and they open it up.
Yeah,
Like
dude,
first thing they do,
literally
open it up.
open it up, just destroy the fucking warranty if there is one, and just completely destroy the gun and then HPA it, or they continue to put stuff into it that either works or doesn't. But
It's
like,
so weird, man. When I talk to people and they're like, I hear this when I was talking to all these speed softers in the last few months. I've talked to a lot of them, and they're talking about high kappas and oh high, and all I heard was, oh the TM high kappas, yeah man, they're awesome. Oh, but they break all the time. I have to work on them all the time.
oh
They're
yeah,
broken. I'm like, what? So this went on for months, and
yeah,
so my idea was, or what I thought was, I just assumed that all high kappas are shit. And so I was talking with like somebody a couple weeks ago, and I go, why are people buying? Why are you guys, you speed softers, why are you buying high kappas if they all fall apart? And he goes, no, no, no. The TM high kappas are fucking awesome. It's the everyone takes them apart and tries to upgrade them themselves. If you leave it alone, it will run nonstop. I was like, oh, okay. So see, I'm getting a skewed view of this shit because everyone takes them apart and tries to rebuild all their special things in it, and they probably don't know what they're doing,
nine
and it
times
falls
out of ten,
apart.
no. And
Like,
then they're
bro,
like, it's a piece of shit, and it's like, no, it was fine. You just you're
Mm-hmm.
you're annoying.
You messed with it.
But
Yes.
dude, like, look, the only problems I've ever had out of that thing is because I decided to change something. All right, when you buy one of these MTWs,
Yeah.
you fucking take it out of the box and you leave it alone, and it
Yep.
shoots flawlessly. And it's the most consistent gun I've shot, other than a couple like builds that I've tried before, right? But I put the Max M4 hop up in it. Dude, I have 7 different barrels for the same barrel length for no reason for that gun because I just wanted to see how much better can it get. Like, can you really make it
Yeah.
better? And dude,
Yeah.
it does get better. You buy an edgy barrel, you buy. I don't want to tell everybody my entire setup, but you buy an edgy barrel, you buy a good bucking, and you buy some that M4 hop up, and you got a really fucking mean. That thing is it's a 7-inch rail, and I'm ranging sniper rifles easy at
Jesus.
1.5 joules with 3.6s. I'm ranging with some sniper rifles, and that's, I mean, it's not hard to believe because if you shoot it, you're like, okay, that thing fucking
Crazy.
soars. It's just very flat and straight. And I
Right.
got, I'm as lame as zeroing my EO tech because if I'm gonna have it, I might as well use it. So it's like when I point that thing at something, it's gonna hit it, and if it doesn't hit it, it's really fucking close. So I don't have to
Yeah.
worry about arcing until I don't know 200 feet. Then you're really gonna get some arcs from that one. But like, it's pretty
Damn.
fucking solid, dude.
That's good.
I If you arc it enough, you're hitting. Dude, I had at Gunny's there was a sniper tower. I don't even know how many yards away. It had to have been. I don't even want to exaggerate. It's just far away, right? So I'm shooting at his chrono table and hitting, but I cranked my air up for this one.
Yeah.
It was definitely like I was like 120 psi, which is obnoxious. But I was easily hitting that sniper tower from where I was standing, and I was like, "This is fucking stupid." And then he's like, "Yeah, and you can't fucking use that here because it's way too high." But
No
like,
shit.
but I was like, it can do that. I was like, that's pretty crazy. You run, my friend, one of our guys on our team, Steven, runs point fours in his gun. At
Oh yeah.
1.5 joules up close, that still sucks a
Oh, I'm
lot.
sure.
It sucks. We all run 3.6s, but like he runs fours for whatever reason. I don't, and I'm
Yeah.
like, dude, your BBs drop so much. Like you don't get a lot of range from 1.5 joules. I mean, you get some range, but it's not. They're still thumping though when they hit, and I'm like,
Oh,
dude,
I'm
this is
sure.
dumb. Um, but more about HPA. We just purchased 4,700 and something. 4,007. I don't know. I'm about to tell you the exact price. The reason I'm telling you the price is because these guys are fucking awesome, and we've been talking to them for like a year almost about this one gun, right?
Yeah.
It's a Elite Force VFC MP7 with a Polar Star F2 in it, which
No
hasn't
shit.
been done except for by them, to my knowledge.
Really?
Stampede Airsoft, Bullcraft Industries has created a fucking demon gun, and
That's crazy.
it comes with a jack just like the bingo kit builds and stuff like that that I think Junkies did, but the capability to put an F2 in it, we were like, well, let's just go the extra mile and get that. So now 3 of our guys have that. I got one coming, and then 2 other guys, Eric and Steven, have also bought one. So we're going to be playing at Bone Crusher here real soon, probably being super annoying because it's
Oh
full
shit.
auto, 3 guys. It's just it's
Oh
gonna be
yeah, you're
fucking
the one.
stupid.
Didn't you text me about ask me if I was going to that one?
Yeah, yeah. I asked you about that one.
Bone Crusher. That's right. Yeah, because I'm going to Stonebreaker. Okay.
Yeah, and we'll have some guys at Stonebreaker, but I think there's only gonna be like 2 of us there. We're not. I can't make that one. I do that.
Gotcha.
2 events in one month is a lot for me.
Right.
I mean that becomes kind of very expensive, especially when you're a barber. I cut hair for a living,
Oh shit.
so that's
Okay.
literally what I do outside of this, and it's other than the field thing. Saturdays are money, so if I'm gonna
Yeah.
take off a Saturday, it's gotta be for an event. I can't even play airsoft on Saturdays anymore, just because that's my money day.
Right.
And I feel like taking off for events, if you do like one really good one a month, I'm usually okay with clientele, but like I can't piss people off by just not being there on the so I just try
Sure.
to plan that out schedule wise. So but
Now, what
Stampede
do you do? You have
Airsoft.
your own. You have your own chair. At a.
Yeah,
At a.
yeah, we do a
Yeah.
booth rent shop.
Okay. Yeah.
Um it just cut hair there throughout the entire week pretty much. I kind of live there, I feel like now. It's I as long as the cool thing is like people always think, well, I want to be my own boss so I can do whatever I want to do or whatever. And I'm always like, yeah, well, when you do that, you're basically going to be there all the fucking time. So
Yeah.
whatever you want to do is going to end up being that. because
Yeah,
you're gonna constantly. If I'm not there right now, I'm not making money. If I'm there, I'm making money. You know. I mean,
yep,
an airsoft field, even I don't think is gonna make much money right off the gate, anyways. So I gotta keep working my day job for that.
yeah, no
Owning
shit.
an airsoft field though would be sick as a dream to just like be able to make millions of dollars, but I don't think that's exactly practical. Um,
Yeah, well, somebody I was talking with, I mean, some fields can make some decent money,
yeah,
but we were kind of joking around, like, even that, you're not. I mean, we don't see these airsoft field owners drive around in a Lamborghini. They're not balling, okay? Like they're not super rich, you know. Um, they're not buying Corvettes and
no,
Lamborghinis and well, maybe not Corvettes, but or maybe Corvettes, but
not
they're
Lamborghinis.
yeah, like Ferraris and shit. They're not living in in one of those 10,000 square foot houses in Charlotte.
Maybe
Um,
e-bike guys are. I don't know. Some of those e-bike guys
yeah,
seem like they might have some money.
I don't know. I
But
mean, it seems like, yeah, I guess so. It just doesn't seem like it's mainstream enough to really bring in that much money. You know what I mean?
yeah, you would have to be like a serious YouTube
Manufacturers.
guy. Yeah,
Yeah, well, yeah, YouTube, that's different. I mean, so like Kinky Mustang, he had 500 million views on his channel last year,
it's got to
and
make
half a
something.
billion.
Yeah,
So if the majority of his content is still monetized, which I think it is, he's making some decent money off of that for sure. But that is very rare, and
right.
it's starting to get they're starting to make less than they used to a few years ago because most of the videos are in that field in the airsoft are getting limited ads when you're monetized. So yeah,
Monetize is such a I don't understand that shit at all, dude. Even as like I mean I being a barber, I guess you own your own business, but like try to monetize like barber videos or something, right? Like
yeah.
there's guys on there with like 4,000 haircut. Who the fuck wants to look at a haircut video 4,000 times? Like, I'm just saying, like that many people, dude. And I'm like sitting over here with like maybe whatever, however many likes I get, and I'm like, dude, this is fucking crazy, dude. That's crazy.
I mean
Absolutely
the
nuts.
those are people do like to see those. The like the before and after. If you're now the average person that comes in there to get a haircut, from let's say from somebody like you or a barber style is probably they're not like you know you're not going to see a huge transformation
No.
from they're not like Grizzly Adams with beard and hair
Yeah,
just
it's
going
like a
everywhere,
big
and then it's
transformation
like
cut.
all looking like James Bond fucking manicured shit. It's not going to be so most of your haircuts are not going to really be interesting videos.
Right, no. Dude, it's like
uh,
the same haircut, a different video, basically.
yeah.
And these
Now my
guys have
daughter
like,
does. I tried talking my daughter, and she just got her own chair.
oh yeah,
She's a hairstylist, and she went out on her own and found a salon or whatever that she rents her chair. She just started. Like this is her second month, I think, renting a chair. But she's been cutting hair for 3 years now. She's been licensed, and uh, and she's really good at like the hair coloring and stuff. And I was like, you need to video this stuff when you're doing it at the shop, and then start a
it's a
YouTube
good
channel
idea.
because
Oh, dude.
that's when women come in there, that's a big change. Like
Yeah,
that, oh, I need to do change my hair color. Now they're not just getting blonde highlights and stuff like they used to. It's like
it's
full
crazy.
change. It's
Dude,
like
it's
full
crazy.
red, full black, full blue, like and those would be interesting videos to watch. But
Dude,
yeah.
it's absolutely insane in that industry. I mean, it
Uh-huh.
like, dude, she can make a fucking like. I just know guys and girls that are making an asinine amount of money off of hair. I mean, just
Hmm.
asinine. But
People like
it's,
their hair, bro.
dude, I will say this. Yeah, they do. It allows me to do what I want to do.
Right. Yeah.
It's 100%. I mean, I don't have like a fucking 3 bedroom apartment for no reason with dogs, cats, and baby or anything. But like, if I wanted to, I probably could. You know, it really is that possible with
I
that
like
industry. It's
hair.
just a
I
lot.
like hair. Like I don't. when I only miss my hair when I look back at older pictures of myself and go,
Yeah.
damn, I wish I had that hair again. But most of the time I don't notice. But I was in the military, so boot camp, everyone's getting their head shaved, and you run around for 3 months with everyone their head shaved. It doesn't look. It's not. It's not attractive. You know what I mean? It's not.
Oh
It's not
yeah.
like, oh,
I
you
got
get used to it, but it's like it's a non-issue. But when I love when people have nice hair. You know, women have beautiful long hair or styled hair or whatever, different colors and stuff. Guys that have really nice hair, I think it's cool as fuck. If we all were just bald, shaved bald all the time, it'd be boring, you know. I like the nice hair stuff.
dude, if I shave
I just
myself
don't want to
bald, I
spend
look
any
like a
money on it.
psychopath. I would look like a fucking convict, man, if I shaved my head. I've already done it once, and there's like
Yeah.
a place called Compared Foods out here. I don't know do you guys have those?
Uh.
It's like it's a Spanish grocery store, and I walked into this grocery store, and probably not the greatest side of town, but like people were staring at me pretty hard. They're like, "This guy is a fucking. There's something wrong with this guy." And I'm sitting here like wondering what's going on. I'm like, "Oh, dude, I have a shaved head, a big beard, and I'm covered like head to toe in
Nice.
tattoos."
So you got a tattoo on your neck.
Oh yeah, it's
And
fucking
that just,
massive.
you
Yeah.
know, when somebody has a tattoo on their neck, that just screams like military or prison. Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty much. I get those two things. Like how you walk in someone, they're like, how long were you in? And it's
Yeah.
like, which one is this one? Is this going to be about
Right.
military or is this going to be about jail
Uh
or
huh.
prison or
Exactly.
whatever? So I'm like, I probably won't ever do that again. I want to grow my hair out long and try to like see what happens there. Which, dude, people are like, you can't be a barber and not have or kept hair or whatever or unkept hair. I was like, there's so many bald barbers out there. How's that okay? And I can't
Yeah.
have long hair.
Yeah. For sure.
It's like it's fucking crazy, but there's an image, I guess, to some extent with that. But you just keep your stuff in check and you're good, dude. I know more bald barbers than I do barbers with hair.
Yeah. Oh,
Everybody,
really?
yeah, everybody I work with has hair, but in my lifetime, I've met more, and they're all super fucking good. Like all of them are like, I'm like, what the like they don't have any hair at all, but they're like the best barbers. I'm like, yo, you guys are fucking. This makes it's like,
They
well, I'm just
appreciate it more, is what it is, because they don't have
yeah.
any.
They're like, well, I can't do this to myself, so I might as well make this guy look cool. I'm like,
Oh,
fuck.
right.
And then people spend some serious money on head shaves too.
That's wild, bro. I've been cutting my own
$50.
hair. I've been cutting my own hair since I got out of the military in
Yeah.
1994,
There's no reason that
93.
you should.
Yeah.
There's no reason unless you want like a hot towel treatment and all that shit that you should even. I
Right.
like I tell every single person that comes in, I'm like, dude, I'm gonna save you a shit ton of money if you just let me buzz this with a trimmer and basically hit it with a foil shaver and make it cute. I'll make that shit as shiny, as shinier than if I straight razor this shit right now. It's gonna be shiny, but I
Yeah.
can make it shinier and save you $50 right now.
Yep.
And they're like, "No, I want the." I'm like, "All right, well, I'll take your fucking money. I've already
Yeah.
offered you 2 times." Like, so it's a lot of people just do it for experience, man. They come in, they get their like head wrapped and all that stuff, and
Sure.
it's
Well, dude, when I was in Japan for a year, we in the military or in the Marine Corps, we had to get fresh haircut Monday morning. You had
oh
to
yeah,
show up Monday morning with a fresh haircut. So Sunday afternoon, everyone is packed at all the barber stuff on base or whatever, and they're all run by mama sans and papa sans, and it man, they give you some good. They're like fast as hell, and they give you a neck rub. I mean, they're like
oh yeah.
bouncing your head around, bro. They don't wait for you to move. They're not gentle, okay?
No, they're
They're like
like,
they're like grabbing your grape and like moving it where they need it, and this it's 0 to 3, 0 to 3. That's what we'd always get, and they shaving down here with a straight razor and
oh
just all
yeah,
around. The hot towel thing, and then they rub your neck and your shoulders really fast, and when they're done, they smack the back of your head with the towel
oh
and
yeah.
push you out of the chair. It's like it's fucking awesome, you know.
That's
But
amazing. I do this so
it
many times.
is,
When you shave someone's neck, I always hit
yeah.
them. I hit them with what we call that fire, right? That's just
Mm.
straight fucking rubbing alcohol. Just
Oh yeah.
ah,
Woo!
it's, oh my god. So I love doing that. If I could smack the shit out of someone, sometimes I would love to do that, just to
Oh
fucking
yeah,
spray
dude.
them and smack them. But you can't do that in this
It's
field. So
awesome. I mean, we went. Speaking of that, same type of treatment, and I was stationed at Pendleton, my last duty station, and we would go down to Tijuana all the time.
Oh yeah.
Now, it's not haircuts. We didn't go there for haircuts, but when we drink down there, they had this. I'll think of the name here in a minute, but it was this bar we'd go to. They'd have guys walking around with and girls, like bartender type with an apron on with bottles of liquor in there, like a tequila, whatever, in their pouch and glasses, little shot
Oh, they
glasses
have
and stuff,
all
all
this
kinds of
shit.
stuff.
That's
Yeah, dude, they
crazy.
got a towel and then they have a like a whistle, like a coach's whistle.
Oh
Okay,
yeah.
and there's music pounding. They come up to you, they'll ask if you want this thing, and I can't remember the name of it right now. But if you say yes, they get behind your chair, and it's one of those wooden little restaurant chairs, whatever.
Yeah.
They kick the feet, and they and it makes you fall back into their lap, and they bend their legs a little bit, and you're sitting there like this, and they're holding you right. You're kind of teetering on your chair,
Shit.
and they grab your head like almost in a headlock. They they take the bottle and they do a couple shots in your mouth, and then they take a Corona or something like that or Modelo, and they pop it. And while they're doing this, it's a big show. While they're doing this, they're like flipping this towel around and kind of smacking your face with the towel, and then they
Fuck.
take the towel and like after they give you a couple shots of
That's
tequila,
crazy.
directly in your mouth. They don't pour it in glass. They take the towel and wrap it under your chin and like go like this and shake your head around, and
What?
then they take a bottle and they'll flip it and flip it and flip it, and then they pop the cap, and before it starts fizzing up, they tip it over and swirl it like this. And it funnels all down in your mouth. You drink the whole fucking beer like that, and they're blowing the whistle the whole fucking time. And everyone in the place, whoever gets it, it's like
Everybody's freaking out.
everyone's clapping and
That's
cheering
crazy.
and like whoa 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 drink drink drink, and then they slap your head, and then they flip you up once you're done, and they kick your chair up and you fly up like this, and you're like oh and they blow the whistle. It's like, dude, it's fucking awesome. But anyway,
That's crazy.
so similar type of thing where
Yeah.
when we're getting our haircut in Japan. So it's I love those kind of things where it makes it fun and exciting. They kind of smack your head around and kind of push you out of the chair. It's fun as shit, man. Hell yeah.
Get the fuck out of here. Is
Yeah,
basically what
hey, start doing that to your clients and video that shit. Your YouTube channel will blow the fuck up,
that shit
okay?
would be fucking. It'd blow the fuck up, and I might catch a lawsuit or something in between it. But
Just
yeah,
get them to get their permission first, you know?
yeah. Hey, can I beat the shit out of you while I cut your hair?
Right.
I mean,
No,
dude,
because then you're gonna get those freakazoids. They're gonna be like, oh
if
yeah,
you
yeah,
if you
please
are a
do.
Puerto Rican barber, okay, and you are watching this video, uh, or this podcast, if those guys do some of the best haircuts I've ever seen in my life. But they
Really?
are so fucking they are like hyper aggressive when they cut hair.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know how they so like dude, if you watch any of their videos, like any of like real good Puerto Rican barbers, they're just fucking they're throwing heads around and doing. I'm like, how the fuck does that client feel? But the client gets up and it's just like the smoothest haircut you've ever seen, and you're
Oh
just
yeah.
like, dude, that is like top notch fucking haircut. And not only that, like this is probably their 100th trip to that shop because they know what they're getting every time. But I
Right.
like one time I tried to do this, man. I was trying. All right, let me just fucking get in there and just. This dude was like, dude, the side of my head hurts, and I'm like, oh shit,
I
I'll never do
know.
it again. I'm just,
My
I guess.
daughter did the same thing. She was working at this place called Head Coach, just regular shop, whatever, haircut place, and she would get, she'd be going really kind of quick with the, guys' haircuts with the, shaver and stuff,
Oh yeah,
the clippers, and she'd get a lot of guys who are like, ow, ow, ow. She's like, Jesus, bro, and she cuts my hair. It's like she has that foil shaver and stuff too,
oh
and
yeah,
she'll do that. Then oh man, it's fucking that thing cuts so close, bro.
dude.
It's
That's what I'm saying. The
crazy.
foil shaver is the key. That is, if
Yeah.
you want bald, I can get you fucking cue ball in 2 seconds with that,
Oh,
and then
it's
like
smooth.
send you out the door for like $20, or something. I don't know, thirty
Yeah.
dollars tops or whatever, depending on whatever else we do. But like
Right.
that is the easy non-$100 way to get your head shaped 100%, or your neck, whatever. I
Yeah.
mean, we do neck shaves and stuff, but
Oh
But
yeah.
yeah, dude, kind of
So
running
how
off
did you get into
topic.
that? How did you get into the bar, like doing the barber stuff?
Well, actually, during the pandemic, man, I was working. This is gonna sound fucking nuts. I worked for NASCAR a little bit before the pandemic.
No shit.
NASCAR corporate,
Yeah.
me, which looks fucking crazy, and then I went to an old job. I quit that job to go to another job that offered me and way more better money in that case, and then I was like, okay, then the pandemic hits, and then I'm like, this is like all short story, obviously, and I'm trying not to stretch this out, but then I end up getting into barber school idea because I have tons of friends that cut hair in the
Mm,
industry. So it's really just like I feel like I always had a knack. I always like to like kind of tinker with people's hair, anyways. Like I always like kind of pretend like I knew what I was doing, and then I was like,
yeah.
let me go fucking do this for real because this seems really sick. And then you feel like afterwards you're like, wow, this is a career. Like I would love to start a barber shop now. Um, and it through that time too, even in the pandemic, like to keep me sane. While I went to school during the pandemic, which is nuts, a barber shop school
That's
where
wild.
people can't go into, so you don't learn shit. And I'll tell that to
Holy
anybody that
shit.
wants to get into it. You don't learn shit in barber school at all, except for book work, which is all that matters because you're not going to learn anything
Mm,
until you get into an actual shop. Anyways,
right.
so like they don't care. They teach you how to cut hair to an extent, but they really don't give a shit about how you cut hair. So
Yeah.
I think friends and just like my last it wasn't like a like because I was gonna go into the Navy also because they were the only branch that was like, yeah, we'll take you with tattoos. I didn't have this before,
Gotcha.
um, and then I was like, well, all right. Then I had my mom's like, dude, you're almost 30, don't do this, and this is like, so I was like, all right, I'm just gonna go to barber school because it sounds cool, and I like being creative, man. I mean, I play music and stuff, and I like
Right.
art and just kind of a creative person altogether. I think, just
Now, do you get
really.
the for the barber stuff? Do you get the do the lines? I don't know what you call it, but like they draw like lines in the side of
Just
their head
designs and shit. I
designs.
mean,
Yeah, yeah. Do you get
I
people
don't.
that do that?
Yeah, not much. I mean, there's like a kid or something sometimes that'll come in and be like, "I want this on my head," and I'm like, "I can't do that," but he can. It's like I rather do a really sick fade or like a cool haircut. But when it comes to like line work and stuff like crazy designs, I'm not doing that. I'm not touching that. That's a whole. That's like an artist that is able to literally do that and hair at the same time.
Yeah.
Doing hair is an art in itself, but when you're able to like draw crazy faces on
Uh
people's
huh.
heads, that's a whole different fucking line
It
of it.
really is, man.
I could
You
see
see
somebody paying
those?
$200 or $300 for that because it's like some of that shit's
Yeah.
insane. Some of
It
it's
really
insane.
is. I mean, it looks awesome.
It does look it's crazy. If you do
It's
like
such a temporary
zigzags,
thing.
yeah, that's the other thing. It's all temporary. It comes back in 2 weeks. It's gone.
Uh
But
huh.
you want like a Z or like some like lightning bolt or some crazy thing like that. Like I could probably do that easy. But like when it
Right.
comes to like drawing a portrait on someone's face, because I might be
Oh
thinking of
Jesus.
a different thing than you're thinking of right now. I'm
Yeah.
talking if you go look up some design artists that do like
I've seen
literal
those.
faces. Yeah, I'm like, dude, I can't touch that
That's
guy. That's
insane, dude.
and on top of it's a good haircut. So then you're like,
Right.
this guy is just he couldn't do tattooing, so he decided to do it on your head and
Like an
he should
actual
be,
artist.
yeah,
Yeah.
like
No
he should be a
shit.
tattooer. He'd probably be making even more money tattooing. But I want to get into micropigmentation though. That's
What is that?
another. It's basically like that's it's basically like hair tattoos.
Hair colors, but you draw
Well,
like.
no, it's like so like if a dude has a receding hairline, I can almost fix it and make it look up micropigmentation.
Let's look
It's
this shit up.
that shit is super interesting actually. It looks legit in some cases it looks realistic as hell, but I mean if you do it bad it's permanent and that's not good. So
Yeah. Let's see what this is here. All right. So here's some. I'm gonna share the screen for you.
yeah,
Oh shit.
that
Hit the
was
wrong
me.
button. Here we go. You see that?
Yeah, dude.
Okay.
That's
All right. So these are just pictures. What? So what do? They draw the hair in?
dude, it's like no, it's tattooed.
Get out.
No, it's tattoos. Straight up. This guy, they, well, I can't really like show you by pointing at this, but if you, I mean, yeah, it's all
Oh,
tattoos.
here, let me see.
Pretty gnarly how you could do that to someone's head, and it looks like, yeah, that's a good example. The dude with the widow's peak right there, that's a perfect hairline off to the right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all tattoo stuff. But it's micropigmentations. It's not the same as they don't want to be classified as tattoos, but it's a fucking tattoo machine that they use.
No shit.
Yeah, and I mean, dude, that's like $250 a session.
Oh shit, that's crazy, bro.
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty wild. Or I mean, you want to get crazier than that, and you're losing hair. You could go get that hair bulb replacement thing, which I think is fucking crazy that they can take like hair follicles off your body and put them in your head and it grows.
No
that's a
shit.
that's beyond barbering. That's like now we're talking like plastic, or I don't even know if that's plastic surgery. That's like a whole different thing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's wild. I want to see one of these.
One of those videos. It's
Yeah,
like
yeah. I want to see
actually
what they do.
tattooing.
I want
They're
to see what they do.
tattooing it, dude. I'm telling you.
Yeah. Whoops, hold on. Let me turn this off. The sound. There we go. Let's see if we can find him doing it here. I keep going on the wrong screen. Here we go. All right, interview, interview. Let's see what you're doing here.
Oh, he's gonna like scale him in and everything with a pen. Drew his
Yeah.
hairline on to see if he's cool with it.
Oh, okay. So they like, draw on the head and then see if you like it.
Basically like a tattoo. Yeah, it's all, dude. It's straight up. It's a tattoo.
That's
It,
fucking nuts,
it'd
dude.
be a nutty ass. See what I'm saying? Now he's drawing
Yeah.
that. He's drawing that hairline. Now he's about to tattoo that shit in a second.
But they don't want to call it tattoo because it like makes it sound.
Yeah, like tattoo artists aren't gonna be like you see, that's a rotary
Yep.
machine right there.
Yeah, yeah.
Yep,
Look.
that's all it is. Little dots, dude. If you can sit there and tolerate that for 70 hours,
And see, they barely showed him doing it because they didn't want to.
it takes so long. Probably, I don't even know how long it would take.
Christ Almighty, how long would
Yeah,
that
it's wild.
take, dude?
I don't know, but you get like 1 or 2 sessions of that, and dude, it looks like you have like the perfect hairline for the rest of your life. I've seen people with it. It's pretty awesome.
So
Obviously, when it blends into your natural hair, so like
yeah,
if you get a good enough guy, you don't want to get some fucking like, oh, I just started doing this. Like, obviously, that person has to try and practice and stuff like that before you want to get somebody
right.
reputable.
So see, okay, so uh, he was completely shaved clean before,
Yeah, dude, not
and now
anymore.
it's like really faint. So he'd have to do a couple more sessions to actually look like he's got something
It
there, right?
depending on how light you want it. I mean, if you maybe
Yeah,
he only wants it that light, or actually no, because if he has any hair at all that grows back,
yeah.
it's gonna blend into that tattoo, and then it's gonna look like you have even more hair than you actually have. So
Oh,
it's all, dude. I'll put it this way: all haircuts are an illusion, right? That's also an illusion. That's all that is.
that's true.
I mean, it's all an illusion. Everything's a fucking mirror trick when it comes to a haircut and a fade. So
That is true. Yeah. Yeah, no
pretty
kidding,
sick
man.
stuff. It's fucking crazy. It's crazy. Totally off airsoft topic, right into
Oh,
work.
hey, man, whatever. If people, a lot of people are listening to this instead of watching it. A lot of people started listening to it, so it's on all podcast apps,
Oh
Spotify,
yeah.
iTunes, Apple Podcasts, whatever. And a lot of people listen to these while they're working, while they're driving, whatever. Get a lot of comments through those type of things where people enjoy the long stories. When somebody says when we're talking and somebody's like, "Well, a long story short," and I'm like, "No, no, keep it long. It's
Just
fine."
fucking make
And
the long story long. Yeah.
just we're just sitting here bullshitting. It's fine.
So, dude, I love
And
listening to podcasts myself, just about random fucking shit. Anyways, like what?
oh,
I
it
mean,
is.
not no podcast I click on is like solely based on one thing. It's
No.
never like that. So
If you
I,
want
I'm,
that, you go to a news station or news channel, and that's fucking boring. Okay,
oh yeah,
or
yeah,
depressing. So, and
or
that's
both.
one thing I found is these. Well, obviously, I love meeting new people. Just outside of doing this anyway, just my personal life. So, I enjoy that. I enjoy doing this, and I enjoy having conversations with people that include their background, like, hey man, what's up?
Yeah, not
What
just like, hey, let's talk about this one thing, and that's what it's
yeah.
gonna be.
I try to listen. I really do. When I started doing these, I tried to learn like early on, like a year ago or so. I was like, let me find some airsoft podcasts. What kind of topics? What are they, kind of thing? Because I didn't know, and a lot of them are like after action reports almost. Like
Yeah,
a group of friends that come back from a mil sim or something like that. And the problem is they don't with those is that they don't have they can't play mil sim every week. So now
nope.
your podcast is only once a month, once every 2 months.
The biggest problem we're having right now with our podcast. So, dude, we're
Okay.
we're trying to create one much different than like what you kind of totally different than what you're doing, but like
Yeah.
because we don't want to do like guest stuff, we want to just do like bullshit.
Oh, gotcha.
it's it's not
Yeah.
like, but we wanted to do something like that, and then we were like, all right, so we have this expensive podcast set up now
Oh
that we're
shit.
not even using because
Oh my
we
gosh.
we did a podcast, and then we were like, all right, this is fucking basically us just rambling about nonsense, but then some of it was like funny, but we haven't
Yeah.
posted anything because we're like scared to post it because we're like, I don't know. I mean, we're not scared. I'm scared to post it because I'm like,
Right.
is it,
Yeah.
is it
I
is it good
mean,
enough to even fucking listen to? It's like,
right. Well, that's the thing. I mean, most people, you're not alone feeling. I felt the same
yeah,
way. I'm like, and then but I'm going to tell you what helped in the beginning when I was the podcast part. I was the same way. I was like, oh man, I don't like I'm talking for so long. I don't like hearing my voice that long because most of our videos were unboxings, reviews. So I was filming. I wasn't in the videos most of the time.
right.
So I wasn't hearing myself when I edit. I wasn't hearing myself talk. So I'm like, I'm doing these and I'm like, oh man, I fucking talk too long. I was really critical. But then I was like, I'm sitting here editing. I was trying to do all this stuff and I'm drinking the whole time.
Yeah,
So I'm doing a couple shots, and I'm drinking, beer, whatever. And about 30 to 45 minutes into editing, I'm like, oh yeah, this is fine. Fuck it, it's good.
it
It's
doesn't fucking
fine.
matter. Yeah, just
I
fucking
just
do it.
all I just wanted to do was fix the audio. If I'd wear wear these while I was listening, while I was editing, because a lot of people wear the earbuds or whatever when they're listening. So I'm like, I wanted to hear any kind of background noise. I wanted to clean up any kind of so if your voice was louder than mine, like your microphone
You want to
was
level it and
off,
everything.
yeah,
Yeah,
I'd level it. Um, because that's what I like when I'm listening to something, and I didn't want to do a loud intro because you turn on a podcast and I've listened to some that most of them have an intro. Actually, I did have an intro a while ago, and I took it off because I'm like, why? I don't like it in the first place. It's cheesy,
yeah,
and the only reason I'm doing an intro is because everyone else does an intro for their podcast, and I'm like, I don't really like doing it. Fuck it, I ain't doing that shit. So we just start talking, and that's it. I don't give a shit. I do an end, an outro,
yeah,
so somebody knows if they listen to multiples in a row, they know that this one ended. But the intro thing, I'm like, fuck it, I ain't doing it. But when people, I listen to some where their intro is fucking loud as shit, and so I turn it
yeah,
down on my
dude.
earbuds, and then I can't hear them when it starts because they don't auto level the whole thing. They only level fix the audio on their podcast, but not the. And I'm like, dude, whatever. But it's very difficult to find a podcast that keeps it fresh and interesting. That's consistent.
Right.
Most of them I listen to are fun to listen to, but they don't come out consistently.
No, they're never, dude. It's always like I mean,
Right.
we're not gonna talk about Joe Rogan, but I listen to him a lot, obviously,
Yeah,
and
me
it's
too.
it's
Yeah.
yeah, dude. Like I just like listening to the dude talk. I don't
Right.
know. It's just
Well,
like
he has
listening to him
interesting
fucking
people
talk. It's
on,
like, yeah,
and he's got so
exactly.
many out. You can scroll through and go, "Oh, I didn't listen to this scientist, or I didn't listen to this beekeeper, or I didn't listen to this fighter,
This
MMA
one's
fighter."
about
Like,
fucking aliens and
yeah,
fucking whatever else he wants to put
conspiracy
on
theories.
there.
Fuck yeah, let's go.
I mean,
You
yeah,
know?
it's like all that cool shit. And well, we bought like a Roadcaster Pro. I say we, I really mean Eric's really the fucking he just buys a bunch of crazy shit. But
Yeah.
he bought the whole setup, dude, and we're just like sitting there looking at it like, all right, we got to do something at some point. I don't know what we're just gonna just like this
Right.
thing was expensive. It's like 4 microphones, all professional shit.
Oh, I was gonna ask what it is. Is it like a mixer board kind of thing or
It's a
something?
Rodecaster. Yeah, it looks like it literally looks like it's a whole mix board that hooks into my MacBook. I bought the MacBook for it, and then it has like mics with stands. They're really nice mics. They're all fucking like acoustics. Like they compress everything and condense
Yeah.
everything, and then you level it on the computer, and it's just,
Oh,
dude,
that's awesome.
it's out. You put on these I have the headphones somewhere, but you put on these other set of headphones, and the mic sits like right in front of your face, just like Rogan used it on his first episode, the same exact
Okay.
board he had when he first started.
Gotcha.
But it's not the
Okay.
like $250 million shit he's got now or whatever he's got now. When he first
Yeah.
started, it was a Roadcaster. So you're like, well, we
Gotcha.
can do that because it's gonna sound good. But we didn't have
Yeah.
anything to sound good. We were just like talking about milsims and stuff, and I was like, dude, this is fucking whack. Like we should be doing like something way cooler than this. So we stopped, and he was like, well, I think we should just post it anyways. And I was like, nah, but I think you're right. I think it just needs to be done.
Just
Just
do it.
do it.
Just do it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
fuck
because
it.
there needs to be more podcasts, like airsoft related podcasts. Even if you're only talking about, airsofters are they like people. Like most
Yeah,
airsofters like people. That's why they, one of the big draws for airsoft, or that people love about airsoft, is the community. So they want to find out
dude.
about your personal stuff. They want to hear you, just bullshitting with your buddies
Right.
about whatever. Even okay, so it started out you talk for 10 minutes about an event, or 30 minutes about an event you went to, and tell stories about it, and then it just leads into whatever. I mean, the guys at Guerrilla Airsoft Radio, they're in Cali. They have they do a podcast. I think it's every week, but they missed a few here and there, but they're pretty consistent. They've been doing it for years. The biggest issue with theirs is when I first started finding them. I don't know how it is now. I think they're pretty regular on like Spotify and these other apps, but originally they weren't on that. They were only on Facebook Live kind of shit, and I don't get on Facebook,
Right.
so it wasn't easily accessible. And so anyway, I didn't plan on doing this many, to be honest. When it first started, I was doing like random. I was just like everybody else. I was just doing one random here and there, like one this month, two next month. Like it was just random. I just asked somebody, "Hey, you want
Yeah.
to
You
chat
want to
about
do
your guns?
this?
Let's do a gun show. Like show off all your shit." And I talked with a guy in Pennsylvania, Nepa Airsoft. He's got a YouTube channel and stuff, and older guy's been playing since the '90s. Got like, I don't know, he's probably had a couple hundred guns in his lifetime, that he's gone through. Really unique builds and shit like that, micro guns and
All this cool
dual
shit. Yeah.
dual wielded, mounted together two mini guns and shit,
Jesus
stuff like
Christ.
that. Yeah, dude, like really crazy builds. And then uh, I talked with him and he's showing off all these guns. So I was like, oh, we'll call it the gun show. It's pretty cool. That's kind of one of the things we did in the beginning, but I didn't really plan on doing it regularly until I started meeting all these really cool people
That's fucking
from all these
it's
different
crazy,
states
dude.
and countries, and
You meet some of the
it's
coolest fucking people in airsoft. Like I
right,
think like literally like rather it be a guy that literally is into the same, obviously in the some of the same shit that you're into, but I mean
right,
like even dudes that are like ex law enforcement, former law enforcement, or
yeah,
current law enforcement rather, and like current military active and not active, or like,
yep,
and then just regular old dudes that are just like, oh, this stuff's cool like me or whatever, or
yeah.
I used to do real steel training. That's cool. Well, we both did that. And now we're out here fucking shooting at each other, and we're like getting old and doing this. It's fucking wild, dude.
And then you got the
I
people in the anime and cosplay
all that
and
stuff, dude.
Warhammer 40,000 and fucking, board games and video games and, just the widest range. It's the most diverse hobby I've ever
I've
seen.
never met cosplayers that I know of at
Yeah.
any of these that I know of, and I'm
I
sure
don't
they
think they're
exist.
attracted too much to milsims. I
Yeah,
don't think
it's
so.
because we're like super milsim based. I will do. I want to go to Balahack and do one of their like weird
Right.
games that they do, but like,
That's where you'll meet a lot of these
and
guys that are
I've
like,
I've been to a Theta Cell before. I don't know if you've ever been to one of
okay.
those.
No,
Theta
I haven't
Cells
been to one.
is fucking fantastic, dude. Black Start
Isn't that?
Crisis.
Yeah, I was just gonna say Black Star
We
Crisis.
we went to that with Valhalla, or like Valhalla was there. We went with Outcast was there. There's a bunch of other teams there, but we went as a spec ops team, and which this is our first year running tan. We've been green pretty much for the last 2 years, I feel like. But and that being said, that was one of the best events that I personally went to, even though it was like there was a lot of like stuff that could have been did differently, right?
Yeah.
Because I think there should have been more people there. I think that there wasn't enough people there for that amount of field, you know what I mean? But it gave us a
Mm.
chance to really like explore that AO to its fullest too, and then get into these areas that we don't normally get into because it's
Was
always
that in North
cluttered.
Carolina?
That
Where
was
was that at?
that was GTI.
Oh, that was GTI. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
dude. So I got to run around GTI in a smaller scale. They compacted it because it was only I think it was like 200 people was the limit, or maybe it
Okay.
was 300. It was a small limit. There wasn't the player cap was a
Yeah.
lot different than like a Third Coast game, and it required you to. I mean, you didn't want to die, so if you died, you're walking way far away from where. I
Right.
mean, way far away. So I was like,
Uh,
well, this is open world sim with an agenda, and there's like two what seemed like force on force teams that ended up like we ended up getting up with some of the Black Ops guys, which is like our 100% enemy. We were like, you know what? Fuck these green guys. Let's go fuck them up, and then we can fight after that. So we just teamed up
nice.
and started fucking them up, and then we were like, all right, let's kill each other now. And it was pointless. That part of it was pointless. There was
Yeah.
objectives. There's a lot of objectives, but like that was fun because I was like, this is fucking not all serious. Oh, we got to get this objective and fucking radio to command and see what like. It wasn't really much of that. It was more of just
Yeah.
like a rec game at a big place that had objectives that was interesting. Like it was just fun. I don't know how to explain it. Thunderdome is another one that I was super stoked to play at recently, and we're going back to the second one. There's no way we're gonna miss those tickets.
Where's that at?
That's
Who
at
hosts that?
Lion Claws,
Oh,
Milsim.
that's right.
So Operation Lion Claws, they or not Operation. Is it Operation Lion Claws or is it just Lion Claws Milsim? I think it's Op
I
Lion
think it's
Claw.
Op. I think it is
Yeah.
Op. Yeah, Op Lion
Um,
Claws. Yeah.
those guys are well. Is it John Liu? John Liu puts on
Sound.
a
Yeah, I
yeah
think so.
John Liu and then they got like some of the Third Coast guys out there all the time too. So like a lot of people talk shit about that event. Again, this is our first time or second time wearing multicam ever. We're usually green, and which for some reason at those games like green doesn't do so well. I don't know why.
Hmm.
Maybe it's guys aren't listening to command. The guys that are listening to command is just not enough guys listening to command. I'm not really sure, but we
Oh, you
went
were talking
tan
like green team loses a
first.
lot.
Yeah, they lose a
Yeah.
lot. Like rather it be even at Lion Claw games, it seems like they lose a lot. I played several Lion Claw games where I was green and we lost, but and we played hard as fuck, dude. I mean,
Yeah.
sweaty, nasty, just hard as fuck. Just put up with a lot of shit. But when I played as tan, it was very similar feeling on that side of it, which makes you
Hmm.
think, okay, this isn't biased anymore. But all these guys are radio, they're listening to command and they're following directions. When I was on green team, I didn't get a lot of that. And I'm not
Oh,
saying
okay.
that there's a plenty of guys on green team. Dark Horse is usually green that I when I've played around them or with them or anything like those guys are always on it, on it, on it. That's a fucking awesome team to play with. Like they're just fun to play with. They're good. They're great people. They're fun to play with. But
Yeah.
you can't have one or two teams doing that. You got to have like the whole team doing that. And
Yep.
Tan has a lot of guys that are running around doing nothing, but there's also a shit ton of guys that are trying to get objectives, get or get the weapons catch or get the all that cool shit with or they had like props. It was like drugs. I was like, this is
Oh
fucking
shit. Nice.
you're like picking up cocaine bags and like running them back to this like stash
Hell
thing.
yeah.
They had like a bag or like it wasn't a bag, it was like a box of bricks. It was a two-man carry. We had to carry it all the way back. So it's like heavy as shit. Nobody wants to
Right.
pick it up, but to win the game, you got to grab this shit. So we're like finding all this stuff, radio and command. Like, hey, we found this. This is where it's at. This is where we're at. We're gonna have to go this way to fight through it. That's really cool. I liked that because I felt more involved
Yeah.
in that scenario or like that whole experience was better at Thunderdome for me. Then you get
Yeah.
online and people are talking shit about it. Oh, it was not you must have been on green team. I don't know. I'm telling you right
Yeah.
now, there was a lot of repetitive motion. A mall is a hard thing to play in because you got stores and glass,
Oh,
stores and
right.
glass. And then you got guys shining lights out the glass. You can't shoot them because they're behind the glass, and then they're blinding. It was annoying sometimes. That doesn't take away from the type of fun that you're gonna have.
Yeah.
I do truly believe the attitude of what you brought to that event, because it was the first event they've ever had at here that I know of at a mall. I know there might have been another one somewhere else. Somebody said something about, but aside the point, that was the first time they've ever done it there at that mall.
Yeah.
And so they probably didn't know exactly what to expect. They had ideas, but stuff they have to work out kinks. So the next one will be even more fun, I think. And your attitude determines
Sure.
the kind of fun you're gonna have. If you're gonna go there and be like,
Oh yeah.
"This isn't Milsim West," then fuck you. Go to Milsim West. I
Yeah.
love Milsim West. Don't get me wrong. That's a but this is not.
Totally
That's not
different
the
experience. Yeah.
not the type of game that is.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I feel like it's more of a force on force with objectives. Milsim West
Right.
is like, you're gonna stay here for 22 hours and fucking, you know,
Yep.
you might not see one fucking ounce of combat while you're here. You might just sit here and get stung by bees all day or whatever.
Yeah.
So like, and I still think Milsim West is fucking awesome, and I think American Milsim. I think all those companies are awesome. I just think that like your attitude's ultimately gonna, if you're like a die-hard like hard dick milsim player, you should probably go to those hard dick
Uh-huh.
milsim games. Like
Right.
you're not trying to go and fucking just do force on force in a repetitive motion. Then maybe that's not for you. Maybe you want to, go hike 20 miles and ruck all the time. I think that shit's great. I don't want to do it every game.
Yeah.
I want to be able to shoot shit. That's what airsoft is you're shooting shit and you're fucking grabbing objectives. Like, so we
Well, it's
like
cool to
that
have
part
the
of it.
options. It's cool to have all these different companies that host these different events that
Yeah.
give people options to do stuff like that. The role play shit, Battle Hack, you got the Western game, the old West style
I
game
think
over
that's
there that
cool
they
too. I just
do.
don't have
That's
that
fucking
gear.
cool as shit, the zombie stuff. But I think the tan and green thing, that's really common with the Third Coast Airsoft events as well. And what my boys have told me is most of the events that they've gone to, they're always, I think they were always tan.
Yep.
And they said that they think that tan wins a lot because more people like getting the tan gear and the equipment or whatever, so, and camo, because that's more popular than the green. Like
Right.
green's outdated. That's what I wore back in
I
the
wear, well, multicam
'89.
Tropic, but that's the only
Yeah. Well, multicam wasn't around. Yeah.
no, it didn't exist.
Yeah.
But I
But
think
yeah,
that
the
has a
green
lot to do with
stuff.
it.
Yeah, I think a lot of like the new players are getting going on green because, oh, it's my first meal sim. Uh, I'll sign up for green, so I have to buy green gear. Like most of the people that play tan are experienced. I don't know. That's what it seems like. I don't know.
And that's the thing is our whole thing in the first year we started doing these meal sims, and like we were really attending as much as we could, is like we were like, what's okay, so green loses at these two, like third coast, we have a lot of loss in green. I guess the sorry, Lion Claws with the cartel side or whatever green side it is. In one case, it was like Russia versus NATO or whatever. We're
Yeah.
like, well, if they're the underdogs, we want to go in there and try to fucking stomp tan because they're fucking, they win every game. No matter
Right.
what game we went to, they fucking won it. And I was like, why is like, because we played so hard, dude. We captured objectives, we listened to command, we did as much as we could. And then I was like, well, then you get frustrated. Then it's all, this guy's not calling his hits, and then that one guy
Yeah.
can ruin it. It's just. But when you go on tan, I noticed there's a lot of people that were listening at the last few games that I've been to. I
Hmm.
mean, it's like even Black Star, which didn't have, that was a totally different, like, just people were calling stuff out, and I was like, okay, well, let's go over here, and that's where the action was, and that's where, I mean, it wasn't the same scale of Third Coast or something, but
Yeah.
like I feel like if I was on tan, on any company on at a Third Coast game now, and somebody radio, and I'm listening to command or whatever, or my my lead or whatever, I feel like they're going to be able to tell me something of importance instead of just like nobody wears comms on green. That's another fucking problem. Like
Really.
the last Lion Claws, I did see some comms and I seen some good. There was they were definitely communicating, but like
Yeah.
most of the time, like I don't see many comm players. Or like you'll get a guy out there, oh, I don't want to wear this shit anymore, and I'm like, well, I guess I'm the only one that fucking has contact with anybody, and the guys that I'm supposed to have contact with no longer want to wear their shit either. So my whole team's like just listening to me now. And I'm like, dude, this is fucking whack because our, whatever command it was is not doing what they're supposed to. But like, and it's been on a couple occasions where Green has had a good command, and I was never able to play those games, which sucks because we
Mm,
tried so hard on Green to be like the team, that could do all this stuff, but like it
right,
was just sporadic. And then when we get on tan, they're like, "Hey, you guys want to go do this?" And I'm like, "Yes, yes, we do. This is exactly what we want to do. Oh,
right.
this is where this is at, and we know we got, they lay out this whole." And I'm like, "Well, this is why they do so good because they're sitting here fucking giving people direction." And not only
Yeah,
that, like they're like, it's on this part, this far end of the map, and you got to find it. But you might have some contact here. I know there's contact here, and you make your way through to that objective. So like, and that's the stupid simple version of what I'm saying. Like, I mean, you've been to a milsim, you see how it kind of goes. Like, that's the stupid version of what I'm trying to say. But like,
do you
it
think though that do you think it's the lack of direction or whatever is
maybe not the
more
lack of
so
direction. It
about?
could be just not people not listening, anyways.
Yeah, but I
It's
mean,
like,
so like you guys, and this is a common thing I've heard as well. People are there's so many people. There's it's a big AO. Uh, I know they give out the maps
yeah, they do.
beforehand, but some people don't know the map. Some people
No,
don't know where the
dude.
objective is.
I could
Some
say,
people don't know
where's
how to read
control
it.
room? Control room
And
at GTI, and people are like, I don't know what that is. And I'm like,
right,
have you? And they're like, well, I've never been here. And I'm like, let me show you. You got
yeah,
a map? Yeah, but I left it in the car. I'm like, dude,
yep,
this is my map. This is where it's at. You need to get your map so that you can start learning this AO if you're ever going to come back.
yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean? And like, I don't say it like that, obviously, but it's like, dude, take the map,
yeah,
study the map a little bit before you play that game too, because you're gonna know, okay, if this is a helo pad and it's on this side, at least you know what fucking side or northwest or
yeah.
south
You need
or where you're at.
a reference
Like,
point, right?
so, and when I first started this, I mean, I've always been like a map guy, anyways, like with many things. So I was kind of like intrigued that people were doing this anyway. So I was like, oh, sick, a map. I can fucking sit here and kind of learn where everything's at. That was my outtake. Some people are just like, fuck this shit. Like some of my team members are like, dude, you know where stuff's at. So I'm like, oh yeah, I guess, but like you should know where it's at too. So if you die and we can't get to you, you know where
Yeah,
we were. So like,
yeah. No shit.
you got to get them on it. But most of my guys are pretty good about reading it now. But it's
You need yeah. So at a big mill sim like that, to to have fun,
yeah,
you if you want to have if your idea of fun is actually getting in there, like getting in the shit, right?
yeah.
Then besides the off the field stuff like the cookouts and the bonfires at
That's the
night,
shit that
shit,
I don't
that's
care
fun
about
too.
until that time.
Yeah,
So
but it's like if you care about playing and playing as a team and really getting after it, you got to have a couple things. You got to know the map and you got to fucking have comms. You got to.
right,
Like you're not, as soon as people think oh yeah, well, what do I need comms for? You're right here within shouting distance. That's gonna last 5 minutes, bro.
nope, exactly. You
Because the
have,
shit hits the fan, people have to scatter. Now you look around and your guys aren't gonna be standing out in the open where you can see
yeah,
them.
dude,
They're gonna be behind cover. So you're trying to yell across like
doesn't
around a
work. No,
silo,
and people
a
are throwing
giant
grenades.
silo.
Like, have you
Or
ever been inside GTI in that fucking in the
I didn't go in the building.
dude? It
I didn't
okay.
go in. So I've seen
There's
all the videos, but I didn't go in. Yeah.
there's a section of that building, and I'd have to have the map in front of me to tell you. But in most of that building, sorry, unless it's a narrow hallway, if you're screaming, like we're sitting here shooting at somebody and they're screaming at us, right? You can't fucking hear. It's like what? Like you can't. It's all over the place, and you're like,
It echoes too much.
well, the only thing you hear is what? And then like from across, it's the enemy team screaming at you, and from across the way they're like blah 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 blah, and you're like, it's just radiant. I took my ear pro off. I'm like, what are they saying?
Yeah.
And I think somebody got hurt. So that, yeah, that should be need to know. It wasn't like a blind man situation. It was more
Oh,
like
okay.
I stubbed my toe, and like I
Right.
was like he was trying to be funny, but we couldn't understand him, and I was like, uh. I just kept saying what, so we'd keep shooting at him. He didn't have a deadlight on. I guess his deadlight fell off. I don't know what the fuck happened to him, and he's screaming at us. And then he walks across and he's like, "Could you guys not fucking?" And I'm like, "Dude, stand right here." And I literally walked all the way over to where he was, and I was like, "Can you fucking?" He was like, "What?" And I'm like, "Blah blah blah." And he just can't hear anything you're saying. You can't hear
Yeah,
shit. You
you
can't
can't
hear fucking
understand it.
shit.
No,
So
it's too echoey.
if your team members on the other side of that room, especially, you're not. There's no yelling, dude. And especially like in combat or any kind of like situation where you're actually like trying to fucking sling BBs this way and you're yelling at your guys beside you. This guy over here might think you just can't hear fucking shit.
No,
This
dude,
team's yelling. It's a big fucking cluster fucking noise. So
it
grenades
is.
are going off. Like
When
it's
you
just
when people don't realize too, when you get, if they've never been to something like this where you're wearing all this gear and you put something over your ears. As soon as you put something over your ears, uh, if you don't have the comms with your guys that
yeah.
speak right into, like the way I'm hearing you now, the way you're
Yep.
hearing me now with these headsets, if you don't have that, you have Active Ear Pro, that's fine. But if and so you can hear somebody talk only if they're right here. You've got so many factors. Your
Dude.
adrenaline, you're not standing there having a conversation. You're
No.
calling out. So your adrenaline's going, your heart's pumping faster. You can hear your heartbeat in your ears. It makes it kind of
Literally.
ring a little bit. It's like that flush of, that rush of blood
Dude, it's
going,
literally, and then
pumping.
your actives cutting on and off because of the noise
It,
around you, and
yeah,
I mean, there's
it's
so
very
much shit
confusing.
to
Very
factor into this.
confusing.
So like, I
And
like
then
it
add in
because
grenades.
oh, dude, yeah, and grenades are everywhere. But there's so many fucking different. I mean, if you're standing 30 feet in front of me, and I can see something you cannot see because there's a barrier or something in front of you, I don't want to yell and alert the other side that I'm here and that
Right,
you're there to let you know, hey, if you peek out left, you can take these shots. I can't hit them from here, but you can take them. And
right.
I can say that very quietly without
Uh-huh.
anyone hearing me, and everybody on my team is aware of what's going on. But
Yep.
if I have to fucking shout it, and it's a fucking mess of mush in the air,
Yeah.
where you're like, what? Now the enemy
Then the
team
guy's
knows that
like,
we're.
then your buddy's like, peeks out around cover. What? And then he gets
Yeah,
shot in the
he
head.
gets shot in the head. Yeah, exactly. Steven's just now started to wear comms. Dude, my team's a bunch of party animals, but they're like, when we play, we go there to play. And we were talking about cookout stuff a minute ago. You mentioned that, and I wanted to
Yeah.
touch base on that. Many of the first milsims I went to, that's what it was. It was like, go shoot stuff. Don't really know what's going on. Come back. Everybody wants to drink and party, but it was mainly
Yeah.
the drink and party.
Yeah.
Uh, I love alcohol and everything else just as much as the next guy, but I didn't pay $250 to come fucking sit in a parking lot and drink and tailgate. This isn't a football game. Like, I came to play this game, sweat my ass off, come back, laugh about stuff that I sweated my ass off about,
Mm-hmm.
and drink beer now or whatever if I want
Right.
to drink at all. And honestly, dude, if you want to play as hard as we do, I've done it multiple times where I've been to an event, drank on Friday night. The next day is a fucking horrible day. I don't want to do that anymore. I have a headache all day, so I'm like, and I don't get hangovers easy, but I drink too much before those
Yeah.
games because we're all having fun and I
Right.
won't do it anymore. I can't even drink. I can't. I don't.
That
I
party atmosphere.
dude can't. Yeah, I literally can't. Like when I mean, most of my team, like we have some underage guys on there that don't drink at all, so that's good. So I don't have to worry about like somebody being an influence. And then we have guys like me and a couple other guys that are like, well, we can go do whatever we want, but
Yeah.
tomorrow we got to get up at 7 a.m. and chrono and or whatever we got to do, and we're gonna be sweating all day, especially in the summertime, dude. Like I don't want to
Right.
be hungover in the summertime, running around a fucking airsoft field smelling like dog shit. You're already gonna smell like dog shit. So like the guy beside you is like, dude, this smells like something other than bo now. You smell like a fucking like a Marlboro and like a liquor and Marlboro mixture. There's
Oh
something
yeah.
wrong with you. Like you're, I don't know. I used to smoke a shit ton of cigarettes. That's why I'm always cheap in this thing. But
Yeah.
um, it's just drinking and airsoft for me don't mix. I think the last night, like I could have one and maybe take it easy the last day, but you're supposed to be playing the hardest the last day, so it doesn't
Okay.
really, like if your team's this close, neck and neck, you want to be like on your tip top on Sunday. The real airsofters, I think they stay until Sunday. Some guys only play Saturday games. They come
Right.
out. That's another part of the Milsim issue. Green team was losing a substantial number of people
Mm,
on Sunday, and Tan
makes
just
sense.
fucking outnumbers the shit out of them. And then they're already like ahead, so now they're really ahead. And now it's just
Yeah.
spawn trap green team until the day's over and laugh at them as they try to like the fat guys try to run in there. and
I
keep
gotta say, there's gotta be a way to, and I know these event hosts and coordinators and companies are like looking. They're always trying to
And they're
adapt,
actively
and
trying to figure it out.
yeah, they're actively trying to figure out. They'll make changes on the fly sometimes, but like there's got to be a better way for objectives for,
Yep.
maybe start incorporating some of the technology that we have available to make it more immersive. So like the skirmish. I don't know if you've heard of that. The skirmish system
I've heard of the
is
skirmish system.
yeah, the bracelets. They're
Hmm.
right now, like it was originally set up. The original idea was to be used in milsims for
Right.
milsims, to enhance this experience and for everyone to know what is going on the field. So this and then there's the what is that one where you can do on your phone? It's like an app.
ATAC, the ATAC
Yeah,
stuff.
ATAC. The guy from Grimnir Tactical I just talked with.
It just sucks that ATAC you can't get on iPhone. And everybody's got the little, iPhone thing, and they're like holding their iPhone right here, and it's all cracked as shit. And they're just checking their text messages because they can't check unless they have the map printed on their thing. There's no that I know
They
of.
can't
There's
get it
no.
on
I
iPhone.
don't. I don't think so. I think it's only Android from
Yeah,
that like satellite view of everything where you can like set. I got a friend that does like coordinates and stuff for us, and he's like, I can set this so that when we die or what we
right.
can find something and we can come back to it or whatever. That really helps, dude. But if I had the same thing he had an Android, I could get on there with him and be
Yeah.
dead at spawn and be like, this is where they're at, active real
Uh-huh.
time, and then also this is what they just found, and then they're in contact to northeast or whatever. I can come and try to flank with another group of guys because I know where my guys are now, and
Yeah.
I'm communicating with them here. So it's like that shit's awesome. That's like real. That's like real military shit. I mean, that's
Right.
you're fucking communicating. You're looking at a map. You're it's an active AO at all times. So like things are moving around and you're trying to, and you might run into some shit with another group of guys that aren't even on your team trying to get back to your guys.
Right.
So it's like that kind of stuff. I feel like if everybody was doing that though, everybody would have a fucking blast. I don't know. That's just me. Like, and
Right. That's what I'm thinking.
I feel like that technology would bring a lot of, and it does cost money though. I mean
Sure.
I mean, an Android is one thing, but when you're talking about like those, there's like that shit the Guardian Center had that one time with like the thermal. I don't know if they were. I didn't go to that game at Sirius
Yeah.
Viking. I think it was Sirius Viking. They had like a thermal helicopter flying around and showing like
Holy shit.
that shit was nuts. I was like
Oh, I
watching
did
the
see videos of
videos.
that.
Seen the
Was it?
videos?
Yeah,
Yeah,
like a
dude.
drone,
I don't know
or
if it was a
something
drone or
too.
a helicopter or
Yeah,
what. I thought it was like a
I did see
Gila
that.
with a thermal on it, but it could have been a drone, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
that's wild. Grimnir, they built a drone that shoots a tag-in grenade. The Reaper rounds?
that's amazing.
It's a
Those
drone that flies
guys,
around and shoots a fucking
holy
tag
shit,
in.
that's
So,
amazing.
and when a team gets a whatever points or something they can call
Yeah.
an airstrike, that's the airstrike. It ain't some ref walking over there with a red flag that throws down and goes, "Oh, you're all dead."
No,
It's
it
an
lets
actual
everybody
drone
around it know that it's
that
an airstrike.
shoots. Yeah,
That's
that
fucking
shoots a
gnarly,
fucking.
dude.
That's fucking
I think
awesome, man.
everyone should have that.
That's what I'm
I,
saying. Like, that's a really cool. Like all these different things. We can use technology to add this in. I was telling the guy from Skirmish. I had him on the podcast. It's the guy that developed it, and I said, well, what if you're using it for milsims? Couldn't you put a bunch of boxes out there because they all talk to each other, all these boxes.
yeah,
That's why it's called skirmesh, this mesh system, whatever. And they can be really far apart, almost up to a mile apart, and they still communicate locally. They don't, so one could be to Wi-Fi, close to Wi-Fi and whatever. As long as one is in that loop, they all talk.
that would be fucking solid,
It's
dude.
fucking sick,
That
bro.
would be
So
solid.
I'm thinking, okay, here's when I'm talking to him, I'm just bouncing ideas around. I don't know shit. I don't know the how to's and the technology behind it, how it would end up working or whatever. But I'm feeling like if we can get, for milsims, if we
Yeah,
could get something, we could incorporate some of this technology where you know where your teammates are, where you know where the objectives are on the field, kind of an active. The other thing too is about this pulling your phone out. in the middle of a game. A lot of people don't like doing that.
No, you're gonna get
Um,
shot.
yeah, you're gonna get shot, and if you don't have one of those bullet, those cases on there, it's gonna crack the screen. And so this skirmish thing, there's gotta be. I was talking with him, just like suggesting things like, well, could you do this or could you do that? Uh, but I feel like the next level of the milsims is incorporating something in there that allows players to see where their teammates are and the
On them.
objectives.
So have you ever heard of strike ring before?
I don't think so.
So
Strike ring?
yeah, that was a thing that was developed that sounds a lot like kind of like what you're talking about, and I tried to use that once, and it was like a fucking. I mean, I feel like it can work. There's definitely a way, but strike ring has a bunch of problems. If you look that up, it's like
Hmm.
it's kind of that. It's like a real time map of where your guys are and everything,
Yeah.
and then it's like you use it on your phone and download it and everything, and it's like fully satellite. I think I'm not really sure how it works, but
Huh.
we were like toying with that idea, but obviously inside of like Thunderdome or something or a mall, it probably wouldn't work like that. But
Yeah.
um, it's definitely like when I use it at Command Decisions. Sorry, I'm trying to get this fucking GoPro to. I
No,
was
go
gonna
ahead.
use this GoPro as a webcam, but it didn't work out.
Yeah.
That would have been a good webcam to have, as far as clarity goes. But yeah, it fuck it
I'm looking at their Twitter right now, actually. Strike ring.
oh, you
Um,
you found him on there?
yeah. I
It
found a
seemed like it would have been legit. Like I don't see why it wouldn't
no,
work.
this the last post they did was November of 2021.
Yeah, that's why it doesn't work because they don't want to do anything anymore. They're just like, fuck it.
Yeah.
But
Well, I mean, bro, I mean, you got to go all in if you're gonna make something like this. It takes a lot of fucking work. And most of the airsoft stuff, like we were talking earlier, there's not people aren't most people that this is their hobby, this is their side thing, this is their they're not like they're not doing this full time, so they work a
no,
full time job, they got families, they got a life, and then this is their hobby, so they start building an app like this that I'm looking at. um, I'm going to share the screen real quick, but and that's probably really involved. It probably, they have to make changes on the fly to adapt. Like, oh, we didn't know about this issue, so okay, now we got to change some stuff. I'm sure it's not easy to code all this stuff. I don't know, but this those type of things sound really really cool.
dude. I feel like with the right guy and the right software and the right app type of thing, like that would be it would be absolutely amazing.
We just
I
need to connect the dots. We need to connect the right people with all these with different
like
abilities.
I'd pay for it, dude. If it worked, I
That's what
would
I'm
fucking pay.
saying.
I mean, there's enough. I feel like there's enough people out there that would say, yeah, I'd pay for it. You know?
Well, here's how about this, right? Here's an idea, uh, and I guarantee you, most people would say yes. So you're already spending how much on a milsim ticket, right? Around 200, 160 to $250 for a 3-day milsim. Would you spend if there was an option? You know how they have, you can rent nods and stuff now, like at different
Yep.
milsims. Okay, so what if there's an option for your whoever to use this app or use this, hey, we'll give you you rent a tablet or whatever that's bulletproof, right? Kind of like the NFL stuff uses, but
Yeah. Or
smaller,
like,
like a
yeah.
little 7 inch or something you can pack in your chest rig and you pull it out like it doesn't, it won't get hurt if it gets shot, and it's hooked to this skirmish system type of thing, and you can see these players on the field, you can see your teammates, and your ticket's going
It
to be
becomes a literal mini map for
yeah,
your
it's
whole.
a
I
literal
mean,
mini map for the field. It's
I
already
would
built
buy it.
in.
I would
It's
fucking
already
rent it
built
every
in.
time.
The
Yep.
map, because they have it at that field, they've already set it up for that field with all their objectives, with all their shit going on. And if they want to change something, like if they want to run different objectives on Sunday than they did on Saturday, it's already programmed in because they've already prepped all this shit. And they're like, hey, here's an add-on for when you buy your ticket, mini map, check mark. Okay, it's an extra $50 on your ticket. Fuck yeah, I'm taking that shit.
No
You know what I
shit.
mean?
Yeah.
Like who wouldn't? So I think there's a lot of there can be a lot of really cool features to build in these mill sims to make it more exciting because I don't have a lot of experience with mill sim. I've been to two. Now I've seen a lot of videos on them because I edited all these guys' videos and stuff. So that doesn't mean I know a lot about it. But what I'm noticing is the majority of what I've seen and what I've heard is people go and like what you said, they go to this 3 day mill sim. They have this expectation that it's going to be balls to the wall, gung ho, blah blah blah, whatever. Like, and then they start, and they're. It's not because of it doesn't stop. That gung ho stuff doesn't stop. Their attitude doesn't stop because of them as a player and their ambitions. It's because there's confusion. Whenever you have confusion on the field,
Frustration.
that there is no, yeah, you cannot. There's no productivity.
Right.
Everything stops. Confusion is one of your number one enemies in on the field, like in action. So when somebody doesn't know what to do, they just stop. You know,
Yeah, they're just like, I don't give a fuck anymore. Fuck
it's
it.
like, where are we going? What are we
Then
doing?
you got the 10 or 15 guys that just try, and then it's just a fucking shit show. It's,
Right. Yeah, and then they
dude,
they can't get anywhere because they're always they only have that many guys to go take an objective and they're getting annihilated.
there was and that's what sucks is like at one of the dude, Iron Dagger was I mean, it was a fucking, I don't know what the fuck happened to Iron Dagger. Like I had
This past
I
one?
got yeah, dude.
Were you Oh, you guys were there? I was there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I slept on a fucking roof there, and there was like an Aztec death whistle that went off, and then everybody was like, "Oh god, now we're gonna have to fucking fight these guys with nods," and I didn't have nods at the time, and I was like, "Well, they don't like white light and tracers, but they
Yep.
like shooting tracers, so we're gonna shoot tracers and shine the shit out of them when they come around the corner." So they're like
There you
coming
go.
out, so we just started like fucking fighting with them, and then we started getting attacked from. We were on the what they had a objective Dorothy, which was like the pump. I think it was the forget which building it was. It's the one across from like where the main spawn is, or whatever. We're on the only roof that we could get on. So
Gotcha. Yep.
we were up there sleeping and shit. It was cold. It was shitty. But I was fine until that fucking death whistle, which inspired me to buy one. So whoever did that, thank you, because I fucking
What
love
is
that
it?
thing. Aztec death whistle, dude. It's like
I
a,
don't think I.
it's so fucking that shit. In the middle of the night, if you were walking through the woods and you heard that, you'd be like, "What the fuck is that?" Like that, I think everyone should own one, but I don't think anyone should know about them so that the people that don't know about them get scared because they're pretty fucking crazy.
I got to hear this thing.
Oh, it's fucking grueling. It sounds like a
Aztec
dude. They found.
air
Did you
whistle.
hear? You
What
gotta
is it?
hear. No, death whistle.
Oh, death whistle.
So check this out. Back in the day, you
Yeah.
probably get a rundown on this. So they used to use that in like ceremonies and stuff, and they also used it in like when they were in like a wood line or something,
Yeah.
and the enemy was approaching, they would fucking do that, and it sounds like 1,000 screaming corpses. That's what the whole like, dude. It sounds insane.
Yeah.
And
Well, see, I have Crow Indian, American Indian on
yeah.
my dad's side. My dad's mom was Crow Indian, and I've always been attracted to the the way of the warrior, like the way they fought the
Oh
American
yeah.
Indians, and all their traditions and shit. I thought it was
You
awesome.
said
So when you
Crow
said,
Indian.
yeah,
Crow Indian. My
Crow,
mom
yeah,
is so I look white as shit, but my mom is actually not white at all. Like she's like she gets a card, but
yeah.
she's Apache, which
Oh, okay,
don't really exist that much. Like she's got like a lot of something in her that enabled her to get some kind of special card that says I'm Native American. I don't get one,
right,
which kind of makes me angry because I'm like, damn, that's my mom and my real mom. But she's like dark skin, black hair, short
yeah,
with high cheekbones. She looks like a Native American. I
yep.
look like a fucking Irishman. So I don't know what happened. And I mean, my father is definitely English, but like I was like,
Right.
dude, I didn't get any of that.
Yeah, I mean that
Anything like
happens. That happens.
but she gets all that, but she used to tell me all this stuff, man. She always has like these crazy quotes and stuff, but she would tell me all these quotes like you can't wake someone who or you can't wake someone who's pretending to be asleep. She'd quote all these Native American quotes all the time, and I'm like, dude,
Oh
she's
yeah.
got to be like some kind of like Native American whisperer. Like I don't. She's always got these like quotes that are just like super warrior related or like some kind of like I don't know knowledge stuff, and I'm just like, dude, this is too much. And she's from Lumberton, North Carolina, whereas I'm from Arizona, so I guess there's like some native stuff out there too. But that's probably why we're back here. Actually, is because of her. She moved us
Really?
back here. Yeah, I moved here when I was 13, so I've been in North Carolina for quite a while. But
Yeah.
her mom and her family and her side is all from like Lumberton, which again still doesn't make sense to me because there's like Lumbee Indians over there,
Yeah.
and she's not Lumbee at all. Like she's like a,
Oh, okay.
Apache descendant or something,
That's
which
wild, dude.
which makes me Apache too. But I don't get a cool card that says here's your Apache card or whatever, which would have been sick if it actually says that. I think hers is like some state recognized thing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've
She
heard of
gets like
that.
some
I've
kind
heard of
of
that.
social security. It's not social security. It's some
It's
kind
an
of benefit.
extra. Yeah, yeah. Because I think you only have to be. What I've heard is you only have to be 1/8
Well, I'm
Indian to
definitely got to
get,
be 1/8 if she's fucking.
or maybe it's not. Maybe it's 1/4. I don't know.
I don't know either.
But I'm definitely. So is my dad, my grandma, then my dad, and then me. So I'm. What is that? 1/4. So
Somewhere around there. I mean, I
yeah.
don't
I
know.
mean.
I would have to go off like I did like the ancestry like spit test or whatever
Oh
they
yeah.
do. Like yeah, so I did that and it came back pretty much like, hey, you're probably Indian or Native American or whatever. And I'm like,
Right.
cool. Well, I still don't get a card because when you said like they're like real picky about that. And I'm pretty sure if they see me, they'd be like, dude,
Oh, okay.
you're not getting a fucking card. She gets a card. She gets a brown card is what I call it because I'm like,
I
yeah,
gotcha.
well, I'm white
Yeah, right. All
and
right, let's see this. I want to hear this thing. This chick's doing this. I think she's gonna blow in this whistle thing, but I've seen it. I mean, I haven't seen this thing. Let's see what. Let me turn this on here.
To try out for you today. As you can see, super high pitch. It changes if you cup your hands. And we have a couple different sizes to try out for you too. Because size isn't everything.
that's crazy.
Pretty awesome.
Is the audio? I think the audio is not coming through on my end, but
Oh, it's not.
nah. But I heard like a 2 second clip of it.
Here, let me see.
I mean, I don't know if anyone listening to this is gonna want to hear that on the radio thing. It's just, dude, that shit is so fucking. I have one. If you want me to blow into it,
Well, it'll your mic will cancel it out.
that shit'll totally cancel it out because that shit
Yeah,
is
for
like
sure.
obnoxious, dude. It's
But
like
that sounds crazy, bro.
it literally would scare anyone camping for sure.
So
That's
you
my
guys
goal.
heard that when
Yeah,
you were on the roof, and I
well,
know
you know
which
how
roof you're talking
yeah.
about because my boys went up there when they were, I was editing the video. They were all wearing GoPros and shit, and Chris, who's on the channel, he tripped over the same fucking pipe. The exhaust pipe or whatever they're called.
Yep.
The vent pipes sticking up. He tripped over the same fucking one like 3 times. The first one he tripped, and it was daylight, and he tripped. His helmet goes flying off, so he has a GoPro on there, and it goes tumbling. And he
Oh
fucked up his
god.
hands because it's like that gravelly shit up
Yeah,
there.
it's shitty up there.
Uh-huh. And then he, like, later on, like hours later, he hit it again. I was like, bro, well, they were trying to get away from the little bird. That's what it was. The little bird was coming around, and so there's what, one little outbuilding out there, up top,
There's really nowhere to hide
like
that
just the
much.
where the door is, right?
And they were
So,
trying to fly it low. Dude, that combat pilot was a fucking badass, dude.
bro,
I've never. I mean, I've seen some
flying at
cool
night
shit.
too,
I
like
mean,
craziness.
I've seen some cool shit, but that dude was doing some cool shit with people hanging off the side of it. I was like, this is fucking this. It killed one of my guys got like rained on, but somebody I don't know if somebody had a machine gun or what they had, but it fucking you could just hear it smacking his helmet. I was like, fuck that, dude. We're staying. Don't move. This thing
That's
can't
probably
see.
Alphonse, bro. I think he was there.
At that, I don't think he was at that. I thought he was banned from Third Coast or something.
Was he?
I think so.
Well, wasn't it? Or what was it? What was the last one? He was at GTI for one of those events. Maybe it was Stonebreaker last year.
It could have been. I don't. I'm not sure. I know that I've read something recently. There's like a whole airsoft
I
drama
saw that
bullshit.
thing. Yeah, with there was some miscommunication with airsoft junkies and whatever with some ticket
Yeah,
thing
and
or I don't
now it's
know.
like a whole group of people that hate one another or whatever. And then I don't know. The only thing
Well,
I know is
when he first posted, like what was that, like 2.5, 2 months ago or something? When he first posted
there's a big
the
video of him flying around with like a 240 or something
oh
or
yeah, when
whatever
he
the fuck he
posted
had up there.
the little comment about on his Instagram about the airsoft junkie
Oh
thing and
yeah,
that whole debacle or whatever.
that's what it was about.
I don't know. I don't know. I wanted to find out. So I reached out to him and I said, "Hey, cuz I've asked him before to be on the podcast like a long time ago." And but I use it, I message through Instagram. And if
Yeah,
somebody doesn't follow you back, you don't see the message. It goes to that request thing. And I'm sure he gets a shit ton of messages. So um but I commented on the post so he would see it. And I said, "Hey, I'd love to have it on the podcast, talk about it." Now, I'd love to have him on to just talk in general,
this is
just about
Airsoft
airsoft,
Alphons.
but
Yeah,
not about that in particular. But I would like to know what's going on with it. I
dude.
just,
I think
who
all of us
knows?
want to read it without like. There's a lot of us that want to read it and get involved with it, and then there's a lot of us that are just like, let's just sit back and see what the fuck is happening. Because like, I don't want to, I don't want to step in and say anything that's gonna fucking prohibit my team for being able to play
Yeah,
anywhere. And then also like as a company and like, I also I'm generally confused, honestly, because like I heard it was something about a ticket, and then there was
right.
no he didn't pay or I don't know, and then he said that he asked about or paying a ticket. That's what I've got out of it. That's like the most I got out of that whole thing.
His
And then I
post
was
that he
like,
posted on his story on Instagram, he actually screenshotted like the text back and
yep,
forth from all that, and so I was like, oh, well, why are they saying? But
he got banned from
then
line claws too.
yeah, well, see, that's what I think he was trying to go to line clause, and that's where that came up.
To
Is
that mall. Yep.
yeah, so it was, and I think, and this actually after that happened, the next person I talked with, maybe within the next week, I had somebody on the podcast that came up, and we were talking about ban lists and banning and all kind of shit, and I feel like I said, well, how does this thing happen if he's banned from, if that has to do with this one particular group, how does it carry over? Like, how do they know? And they said, well, uh, a lot of these event coordinators, they know each other. They
Yeah.
will share their ban list. So they'll email their ban list. And if they're banned over here, okay, now they're banned over here. Um, so I feel like I understand there has to be some punishment for certain, bad behavior on the field. I get it, but it's I feel like this ban thing is like I'm looking at myself and
Like you're
going,
like ban hammering someone
yeah,
and
you're
for
fucking
just
just, bro. Why are we banning all these people for silly things? Now, if it's something where it's making a liability like insurance liability or a lawsuit kind of thing for, doing something dangerous,
right.
that kind of shit.
It
That
would make
video where
sense. Yeah.
there's this the two teenagers and it's recent. Well, I saw it recently. It's probably within the last year. Indoor field,
To
full
start
auto each
fighting.
other, and then they start fighting. The one guy runs out of BBs, so he flips his gun around, grabs it by the barrel, and tries to use it as a bat
Yep.
on the guy. Okay, now that that whole thing happening, if I'm the owner, I'm going, okay, motherfucker, you're definitely banned for a while, okay, until you grow up, like a year, whatever, but not indefinitely, not like forever. And it would have to be pretty bad to ban somebody. And I'm thinking at a mill sim,
Dude, there's a
you
lot
don't
of
even get
softies in
close. You don't
airsoft
even get
though.
close to the
Oh no.
enemy. So how do
No.
you? I don't understand. What?
I think
What do
with
you
him it was
get
like
banned for?
ticket stuff, right? And then people, dude, I've heard. I mean,
They buy, instead of buying the ticket, they get their own little wrist thing, and then they go to the thing, and they didn't pay, right?
I think with him it was like again, this is one of those things where it's like he I don't know if he had some kind of like deal with them and we're missing something and again, I just don't quote me on any of this shit. This is just my
No, yeah, yeah. We're
speculation
just
from reading
speculating.
stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah. So by speculation, I would say that he was going to their stuff. They said they chatted about him like uh basically promoting the helo missions that they had. And I feel like he did that because he went to GTI and there was a big video of him flying around shooting at people out of the helicopter and stuff.
oh, for sure. There's been a
And
lot of those.
a
Yeah.
lot of them.
Hmm.
And you know, uh, there was that and then like this stuff comes out about him like had gone to this event and not paid them, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And that's what and as a business like I can see on their end of why like that's a problem, but then on his end by looking at what he showed,
yeah.
then again speculation, I don't understand it because it was like, hey, how do I pay you? Hey, how do I pay you? But we don't know exact dates, we don't know any of that stuff.
No,
It's just like what you see on the internet. So
sure.
I try not to be that like, ass out of you and me type of guy. Like I'm just like, all right, this is
Yeah.
what he's saying, this is what they're saying. They're not saying much because of the company. I don't think they're gonna say much. And I'm
Well, it
sure if
stopped.
like
Like he posted that one thing, and then he didn't post anything else about it that I
that was
saw,
it, yeah.
and so I never brought it up again. Really, I mean, it was just,
Dude, there's a whole group of guys out there that are just like ragging on them too for that shit. I
okay.
mean, it's like a whole. I don't know. I mean, I browse Instagram, see posts, and then see people talking about stuff, and like, I mean, even at Thunderdome, man, there was a thing where Sal didn't have his iPro on or something, and then they like had him out there and was like, "Where's your iPro?" And then there was like a big, and I made a funny comment, and I was like, "Full Sal," like full Sil goggles, and like
Yeah.
I was just like trying to be funny, but like
Yeah.
there's guys on there just shitting all over Third Coast, and I'm like,
Jesus,
I
bro.
mean, I don't know what, like, dude, to me, it's like I mean, I don't know. We're just there to have fun and try to like, get a name for ourselves as far as like a team that travels and like, maybe get
Yeah.
some cool connections along the way and like even grab some sponsorships. I think everybody likes the word sponsor. I don't even want like discounts, right? I don't really even want free
Yeah.
shit. Here's the thing. I have everything that I need. I want the name behind it so I can tell you how good it is, right? So
Mm.
and then if they sent you something cool, but like that's what we go out for. We're like, let's go fucking see if we can contact Primary Arms because we
Yeah.
already use their optics. We already use EOTech. EOTech's not going to sponsor anybody unless they're like a fucking professional shooter, like in real life.
Right.
Yeah, but like, and then like night vision companies and stuff. Like I use their gear already. I don't need products, but that's why we kind of do what we do also. But like, um, it with that situation and Third Coast and all that stuff, like I don't know, man. I mean, I do feel like as a green team player, we're gonna go back to that little thing we were talking about earlier. There was some biased stuff with Tan because the Junkies team plays on Tan a lot.
Oh, okay.
But here's the
Okay.
thing. Junkies team was on Green Team last time. Green Team lost at Lion Claws.
Yeah.
I think. I'm pretty sure they were on Green Team and
Gotcha.
I think TDZ and all those good. So there's no. I think it's just fucking. It is what it is. Like I think it's just command and not. So we're going back and forth with that topic, but like
Right.
I was, but there was some stuff brought up with the Alphonse thing with him being like, oh, a classic Third Coast in one of his videos or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, oh, you listen to this like big guy that everybody knows, and he's talking kind of smack in the video that he even did at GTI. Like people didn't probably think of it as smack. They were like, oh, airstrike can't take building Third Coast, whatever. He made a sly comment, and
Yeah.
again. I'm listening to him like, yeah, they do that. They do that. You're like, Third Coast is, they did do, and then you realize later on when you join Tan Team that you're like, wait a minute, Green Team's running around like a bunch of idiots, and that's what we were doing. So I'm
Yeah.
like, maybe it's not the fucking, maybe it's just Green Team's command, and I'm
Yeah.
not. I think Freddie does command for Green Team sometimes, or however many times he does it. And dude, he did Tan command, and I think solely because I was under him at Iron Dagger on Green Team, and like I didn't have any contact with him, so I didn't know what the hell was going on anyways, because we were
Yeah.
supposed to be listening to another guy that was supposed to be relaying to us what was going on, and I didn't have command because it said stay off command channel, so we're just like fuck it. And then
Holy
I was
shit.
like, well, maybe Freddie just stopped giving a fuck. I don't think that's what it was. I think that nobody was listening to him.
Oh
It's like
yeah.
I think that everybody was just like
He
not
got tired of
listening, and maybe
telling
he just
commands and
yeah
nobody doing it. So he's like,
yeah.
"Fuck it, you ain't gonna listen. I ain't saying shit."
And then he goes to a Thunderdome and Lion Claws on DEA Tan Team, right? And I was under him there, and I had some contact, like as far as listening to what the I wasn't talking to him, but I was listening to where
Right.
stuff was, and then communicating with some other people. And then I was like, this dude's killing it. Like he's running up, being loud and obnoxious, and communicating as much as we could do. And then like he'd pull people to the side and be like, "Yo, we need this, that, and the other." He did that to one of my guys, and then like my guy related to me. It was fucking awesome. He did
Yeah.
phenomenal. So I don't even think it's command. I think it's fucking just people not listening or not communicating.
Or
And
not knowing what the fuck.
and
Like
and,
they
and
get
I
a
know
command, they don't know where to go.
yeah, and I know I backtracked onto something we already talked about with Alphonse. I think that that dude literally influenced my kind of animosity for a second towards
Yeah.
Third Coast games, right?
I mean that's normal.
And just
It's a
because
normal
I
reaction.
I was an outsider too. I was like new to going to their games and stuff. And
Yeah.
then when I went to their games on for the first couple years I was going, and then like I was like, man, this is totally true. And then I do something else, and I see how like stuff's ran differently on a different team. Like as far, and I'm like, okay, maybe it's not. Maybe it is that people are just not listening, and maybe with the Alphons not paying the whole thing with that and all that, maybe there's more to this story.
Oh, I'm
Maybe there's a
sure. There
whole
always
shit
is.
ton. And
Yeah.
and Third Coast is being professional about it. And again, dude, I don't. I know those guys from like playing their games. I don't know anything about them.
Yeah.
I've like shook hands with a couple people and like, but I've never like had a real conversation with Sal or anything. It's been like,
Yeah.
dude, love your events, awesome time, cool. And even though I was sweaty and pissed off, like, other than that, they're just being a company and not saying much, which to me is like what a company should do anyways. Like
Yeah,
you
that's what
shouldn't
they
even.
should do. Yeah.
And
They'll handle it
Alphonse, yeah,
one on one with that person or whatever. That's good. Yeah. I think the big thing is these event companies, these event hosts or whatever production companies, they are airsofters. They love
yeah,
airsoft.
I
They
agree.
love hosting these events. They want their intentions are always good. Their intentions
I think so,
is
dude.
to have a really good for everyone to have a really good fun experience, uh, and to bring more people next time because we want to add some stuff to it
And
and
make it more fun.
make it more
Yeah.
mo better,
Immersive and yeah, just more
like.
immersive
And
experience.
these guys, they're not money greedy, hungry, whatever, money hungry, greedy.
No.
Like they're, do they need to make a profit? Yes. I'm glad when a company makes a profit. That means, we all like seeing success. Okay?
Oh yeah,
It is
absolutely.
we like to see the new stuff. We like to see the somebody succeeding or whatever. Like we want these companies to succeed because it's like I've said before on this thing, a rising tide raises all ships. If Milsim West, American Milsim, Third Coast, all these guys are, Lion Claws. If those guys do really well, let's say in 2023, the sport of airsoft, the hobby of airsoft, is going to get better. It's
It's
not going
going
to
to
get
get better
worse.
and bigger and everything. Yep.
They're not going to be like so separated from the airsoft player that they're going to be like, oh, we don't need to mess with it. Like it's not going to get worse. They're going to have better events, bigger events. They're going to have fucking tanks on the field, okay, and MRAPs that you can that somebody can drive around. You know what I mean? Like they're going to expand. They're going to have new technologies brought in. So I feel like it's a tough thing to do to manage a huge event with 700 people.
Dude,
Um,
I can't even imagine. I wouldn't even want to be
with
on the
insurance,
yeah.
with safety,
Can't
with
even
fucking
imagine.
and place like GTI. There's you got a helicopter flying around, bro. People could fall out. Okay,
Yeah.
like you got to have your shit together,
There's just a
and
lot of biased people. There's a lot of biased people out there
sure,
about this
oh
stuff
yeah,
too. And like that's why like I tell everybody I'm like, "Listen, dude. These guys, I'm having fun and you're having fun. So why are we worried about what, you know
yeah,
what I mean? they're throwing really good events, right?
Yeah,
And then they're like, oh, well, this dude did that and this. I don't give a fuck, dude, because
right.
honestly, like their personal whatever's going on with this side of it is what it is, you know? I mean,
And
yeah,
Sal is
like
really good with that stuff. That's why they don't get up at the end and say all their problems that they had all weekend. They don't. Sal's not going to get up there and
they don't
say,
say a single
"Hey,
negative thing,
we
dude.
had somebody. You know, we were two of our guys got hurt on the field, so we were short. You know, for this or whatever." Like we don't. He's not going to broadcast that because he's a
No.
professional. You know, he's 20 years military or whatever. You know, like he's
Yeah, he's
got a
like
lot of
he's been in some
he's
shit
been in
from
the
what I
military a long
understand.
time. He's got his shit together and he's a good guy. You know, they like I said, I think they have good intentions. They want to throw a good event. They want to have fun. They want you to have fun, and they're trying to balance this whole thing. Like, how much the ticket price costs? We don't want to turn people away because it's too expensive. But this to rent GTI, it's I don't know how much. I'm just
Dude, probably a
guess 20
ridiculous amount of
grand. I don't
money.
know.
I
You
don't
know,
know either.
15 grand. But
Uh,
you
more
know,
than what you would think, probably.
yeah, and you know, and then insurance, and you know, there's a lot to balance. But yeah, I mean, it's when there's something like that, and I'm sure Alphonse, if he didn't post anything after that, which he, you know, I didn't see anything about
I
it.
didn't either.
I'm sure he was like, and that's probably why he put it on his story, not a post, because it goes away. It's like, okay, this is just
Yeah,
okay, we had this altercation. I'm going to throw this out there because it's happened so many times or whatever. And then you have a change of heart, you know, like okay, once you calm down, you're like it's really not that bad. Like it's fine. It's okay.
yeah. Well,
We'll figure it
they're
out.
definitely still going on about it. I've seen like him comment on other people's shit about it too.
That's the
But
internet right there,
that's the
bro.
internet, man.
Yes.
And
That's why it fucking the ripple effect. It goes out and it just
somebody
stays out there forever.
somebody posted one thing about him not wearing full seal, and even in the video, like I said, I made a funny thing and said full Sal because I thought it was funny. But other than
Yeah, it's
that,
funny, dude.
it's like I wouldn't even fucking comment because I was like, dude, God forbid, I'm subject to not being allowed to play at these events that I literally love. I love going to them.
Yeah.
And not only that, I've met Sam, Airsoft Junkie Sam. I've met Sal. I don't even know if he would fucking recognize my face. Either one of those guys, because I've seen so many people, and I'm not like trying to like
Sure.
be up their ass. I'm just like, dude, you guys are great.
Yeah.
And I like these guys have been nothing but like nice to me. So to me, I have no fucking, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna because some fucking YouTuber decided to be like, I hate this guy, and I don't.
Yeah.
If I met Alphonse, I'm sure Alphonse is a nice guy too. I don't know. I've never
Yeah, he
met him,
seems cool as shit. Yeah.
but yeah, they all seem really cool. So being in your own lane, I think that's a big topic, like for people to kind of like tune into. Like,
He's cool. He's cool, except he's from
yeah,
Michigan, and he's probably a Michigan Wolverines fan, and I'm a
I
Ohio
didn't know he
State
was from
fan.
Michigan though.
So,
Who's from
you know,
Michigan?
he's almost cool. Okay,
Which one's from Michigan?
Alphonse.
Oh, I thought he was from Hawaii, or his thing said Hawaii on his.
Oh,
I
I
thought
don't
it
know.
said
I
Hawaii.
think I'm pretty sure
Maybe
he
it
lives
is
in Michigan.
Michigan.
Yeah,
Yeah, you might be right about that. I
I
didn't
think
even
so.
know. But talking to Sam, dude, every time I go to like play an event and like Junkies is there, like they're always like the coolest dudes. Like they're always just like super helpful, and then like he'll talk to you outside of just airsoft in general. Like if you're like talking about random shit, he's like just me and you right now, just talking about
Yeah,
whatever. And I like people like that. So like I am immediately drawn to liking that dude, not because he's trying to sell me a product, but because he's literally just having a conversation
yeah. He's a
outside
cool
of
guy.
airsoft as a
Right.
dude, right?
Yeah.
And then at Amped Airsoft, I don't remember who was out at a Theta Cell game. Those guys are fucking cool too. So like I heard a while back there was some controversy between this company and this company. Not saying
Oh
they
yeah.
had it, but like people were like, "Oh, this is better because of this," and I was like, "Dude, I shop at both. Fuck you." Like I don't want to wait for e-bike shipping, but I buy the fuck out of e-bike stuff just because
Yeah.
like sometimes Amped and Junkies don't have it. I'm not one of those like I'm only going here. I'm only gonna
Right.
no, dude. If I'm looking for a specific barrel like an edgy, I'm gonna get it at Amped because Junkies never has edgies. And if I'm looking for fucking a bingo kit, I know where to go. It's all at Junkies. If I'm looking
Gotcha.
for Wolverine, I usually go to Wolverine's website, whereas I probably should be supporting one of those other two companies, but I'm trying to support Wolverine because their customer service is so fucking good. I don't know if you ever even talked to any of those guys. Like
No,
those guys, dude.
I'd love to. Yeah.
I called them and was like, I have this problem, this problem, this problem. Paid $40, shipped it. They had it back to me in 7 days, completely no issue.
Holy
And
shit.
the issue was me, operator error, of course, because I like it was something with fucking. And again, that's the easiest gun
Quit
to
dicking
operate,
around with your guns, bro.
dude. It's too much. But like, amazing customer service and good people, like in all these companies, is what draws me back to those companies, right? But
Yeah.
in person, and I've met Amped guys and the Junkies guys and the Third Coast guys, like they've all been sick. John
Yeah.
Liu from Lion Claw's super awesome dude. Um, so I don't know. I mean, that stuff, I never try to get involved in it because they've never offended or hurt my
Uh-uh.
feelings in any way, shape, or form. And honestly, if I was at one of their events being a dickhead, like I forgot to, well, I say forgot. I'm gonna say forgot to wear my full seal eye pro because
Yeah.
sometimes I'm like, man, I'm fogging, and my X fog died or my battery pack that powers my X fog died, and then I get called out for not having a helo kit in, which hasn't happened because I normally have it in, but I've made that mistake of being the stupid ass that slipped that out, right? So like,
Yeah.
and then you got people on the field that are like, yo, put that shit back on. I'm like, yeah, you're right. But like, I wouldn't even be mad at them if they're like, yo, get the fuck out of here. You paid to play here, but you're breaking the rules. And I'd be like, well, if I was banned, I'd be super upset because I'd be like,
Sure.
damn, I'm not allowed to come back. But like, I'd be like, I'd be like, all right, I understand. After the fact of me probably having a, kind of being butthurt about being kicked out of an event for full
Well,
seal,
sure.
but like, it is serious.
Oh,
For
I gotta imagine that's one thing I could
there's other
definitely
events that don't
relate to.
allow. Yeah, there's
Like
other events that don't
like
even
that,
have it though.
you can't even take a chance. Like it's such a common thing for people to get, you know, take headshots because that's what's peeking out, and it's not, the chances that it's going to bounce up into your eyes and damage your eyeball if you don't have full seal on
Yeah.
is really fucking high. It's
Oh
not like
yeah.
a 1 in a million chance. It is really fucking high. And I'm thinking like that's something if people can't leave their ear or their eye pro on. I understand the fogging thing. That's a
Well, I never like
can
slip
somebody
mine out.
please come up with plastic that doesn't fucking fog?
I've
Like
taken what I usually do is like if I have that much of an issue, I would like pop the lens off a little bit
yeah,
to try to let it vent out, and then I'd like slide them down into my fucking mesh mask, right? So then
yeah,
after a while, this is super clear. I can pop them right back in. And
yeah.
whereas with those Oakleys, they're already really close to your face, so I'm less, and I have ear pro and everything else covering all this,
Right.
but that chance isn't worth it.
Like you're
So
not
like,
taking your goggles off completely. You still
no,
have
no,
these
no,
things
no,
on.
no.
Yeah, and it's
Can't,
still pressed
yeah.
up on your face. It's just like tiny little. It's not actually full seal.
It would be hard for a BB to protrude my
Right.
specific. I would never advise anyone ever do any of that ever. But
Right.
American Milsim, and I don't even know. I think American Milsim's like that. Milsim West, I know you don't have to wear a helo kit. Like there's people out there. At least that's what I like. Every
With
time
just
I
regular
go,
like
dude,
shooting glasses.
they literally have fucking regular glasses on. They
Yeah,
don't even
yeah.
like and those guys are nuts because they don't even wear like they just all the Milsim dudes
Open
that don't
face.
wear. Dude, I've already had a tooth shot out, dude. That is a $1,700 tooth. You know what I mean?
God
I got
damn.
a replacement. So and I didn't have
Did it?
dental insurance.
Did you take it right on the
Yeah,
tooth
no,
for?
this is a fake tooth on this side. If I
Yeah.
like,
You
it's
had a
literally
hockey
like,
smile.
yeah, it was like a fucking. I look like fucking. I'm from the fucking trailer park or something. I don't know. Like I looked
Fucking trailer
ridiculous.
trash.
Yeah, dude,
Redneck
and
bitch.
I didn't even worth taking that off. So,
You're from Hickory, North Carolina, aren't you?
oh, from Gastonia, fucking Gastonia. Then I apologize to anyone that's from Gastonia listening to this, but it's true, and you know it is. But
Yeah, right.
like, dude, I
But did
would
that
not.
hurt? Did that ring your whole fucking face?
Uh,
Did it
I went
vibrate your whole
numb.
face when you hit your when it hit your tooth?
I went numb.
Yeah.
It kind of just pissed me off, and then I realized, well, I wanted to be cool Milsim dude without face mask, so I
There
can't
you
beat
go.
this guy up for no reason. And then like, I remember when it happened specifically. It was at a paintball field, and I was behind this barrier, and this dude was like full auto because they allow full auto there
Yeah.
at like an obnoxious jewel limit. So like I mean it was gonna shatter teeth if it hit me anyways, and I could hear it slapping, and I was running high joules too because they were allowing high joules. So I was like,
Sure.
well, I'm at like 1.8 joules shooting back at this guy. So if I hit him, he had a dye mask. I remember specifically like a white dye mask with pink rings around it. It was like
Nice.
he had it like painted or something. Dude, when that shit hit my tooth, I sat down and I spit out half of my tooth and some BB shit, and my tongue got it. It was like fucking I don't know. It felt weird as shit. It was like all like grody tasting shit in my mouth. I was like something tastes burnt almost. And then I lost it. I was like I'm gonna beat the fuck out of this dude. And then I was like wait, I'm an idiot.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
my friend was with me and he was like, dude, your tooth's and I was like, yeah, I fucking know. And then he was like, you don't have mesh on, so this is your fault. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. So I mean, that was like one of those like tantrum moments where you're like, I mean, everybody has like a hot fuse moment where you're
Well,
like,
sure.
fuck, you know. But that was like, I was like, damn, dude. And I knew the whole time. The only thing I could think of is I don't have dental insurance. This is gonna cost a lot of money, and
Oh
a
my
veneer is
God.
$1,700. And that dude actually walked up to me after the game, like, dude, I
Yeah.
was red in the face, like, I was so mad. And he was like, I, I'm sorry. And
Yeah.
I was like, it's all good,
Yeah.
because like I just needed a minute to walk off and be like, fuck, I'm an
Sure.
idiot. But like I we're I don't know. I would recommend full seal everything if you can avoid it because getting that shit shot out sucks. And it
Yeah,
just
I know.
I
It's
feel like getting an EOTech shot out might be near the same feeling. Like it's because when an EOTech without a warranty is probably like the same feeling. You're like, no fucking way.
Oh yeah.
Because you look down and you're like, damn, some dudes I guess would take. There, I've had another tooth knocked out in like in sports before, but like and I have seen people get their shit shot out and they're just like, oh, I'm gonna keep playing, and I'm like, dude, you must have fucking dental insurance. I don't have it, so I know what it's gonna cost now. For each tooth, it's $1,700, 100% where I went at least, and I just went to a generic ass doctor dental
Right.
office or whatever. So I will,
Yeah,
I'll
but that
never,
shit, I mean, I don't when I see these guys out there for Milsims and stuff, I'm like,
dude.
bro,
They
why?
wear mouth
Why?
guards. Mouth guards aren't even rated for that shit.
Dude, I heard this guy, one of the guys in the UK said he wore a mouth guard, and they call it a gum shield. He kept saying gum shield. I'm like, what is that gum shield? He's not
It
even a
sticks
mouth
up,
guard, you
and
know?
yeah, a
Right,
lot of like MMA guys have them.
right. And he said I got shot in the gum shield, and he said it gave me an instant migraine. Like I, it shook my head so much. He goes, I
Might have
can't
hit
wear
the
those.
nerve. It
Yeah,
might
it
have
hit
hit,
the
yeah.
nerve. Right. And
That
it was
was,
just like
dude.
instant pain in the front of his face and all the way up. And
So
so they wear
mine missed it.
Face
It
Pro.
missed the nerve. I
Yeah.
missed the nerve.
Okay.
It cracked my tooth completely in half on like this, like on
Oh,
a
okay.
in an
Okay.
angle. So I had
Yeah.
this like dumber and dumber tooth, right?
That's awesome.
And yeah, dude, when I
You
went
should
to the
take pictures,
doctor,
bro.
oh, I think I
Use that
thought
as
I
your
had it.
profile pic.
Oh, dude, it was so bad, dude. I
Smile
was,
real dumb looking and be like, huh, I'm from North Carolina.
oh God. And it was, well, I'm from Arizona. Let's get that. Let's.
Oh,
My
okay, okay,
mom's
okay.
from
My
here.
bad,
I
my
guess
bad,
I
my
guess
bad.
I'm from here. I guess I'm from here. But like,
Right.
um, so like, I knew I was like, all right, I don't fit because that didn't hurt that bad. But when I went to the doctor's office or the dental office, the lady was like, dude, you're this close to your nerve. And
Mm,
that's why she was like, did it hurt when it got shot out? I was like, yeah, it's kind of numb. I mean, you felt it, you know, but it wasn't like, ow, oh my God, I'm in pain. It was
oof.
like oh, I kind of rung me up a little bit. And I was like, damn, I'm mad now. And my
Yeah.
face felt kind of numb in this whole area. And then she was like, well, if he would have hit just a little higher, so then I had to schedule surgery so they could take the whole fucker out and put
Ooh.
another one in. But
Yeah.
instead of doing that, I got a fake like $300 fucking thing it was like a
Was it
not a
cap
partial
or something?
it was not a cap of whatever they do to put they like seal your tooth with another tooth, make it look real or whatever. And then I
Yeah,
had to
like a
schedule for a
crown.
veneer. Yeah, and then
Yeah.
with a veneer and everything,
Mm,
I had to go back in for surgery for them to pull my tooth, or I think they grinded some of it down, and then they like, I thought they
okay.
pulled it out, but I guess they grind it down and put a veneer on it.
Glue it.
But
Yeah.
this tooth is like they match it almost perfectly to your tooth, but you
Right.
can still see above up here where it's like not real. Yeah, I can feel it.
Not the
Like it's
right
got like
color or
a
something.
yeah, like it's never gonna be exact. You know what I mean? Like if
Mm-hmm.
this tooth decides to get more yellow or something, this one's not
Yeah.
gonna follow that. So I might just pull them all and fucking.
Oh yeah, that's
I'm gonna get that
that's a
million
good
dollars.
idea.
I want that $1 million smile. I'll just stop
No.
wearing fucking mesh
Uh,
and just let everybody
oh
shoot my teeth out.
Jesus. Right?
And we're getting more into like rushing too, man. Though that was the thing with that MP7 we just got too, like the Bullcraft Industries MP7. I don't know. Have you looked at those?
No, what is it now?
Dude, it's the new MP7s that they got for here, I'm about to try to they're on Instagram. Stampede Airsoft, they're out of Florida. You ever heard of them before?
No. Let's see. Stampede Airsoft.
Yep, so they have this let's see.
We're
I
gonna
guess
check it out.
Alphonse has it too. They posted a video that he posted
Oh
of
shit.
their
Okay.
MP7. But
Nice.
the last post they made with the three MP7s packed in a box, they posted it a minute ago. I don't know if it's still on there or
Yeah.
not. Or no, maybe it was Bullcraft that posted that. We reposted
Available
it. But
now. VFC MP7 HPA. Is
yeah,
that the one?
yeah. See, they posted this recently on Bullcraft,
Hold
and
on.
that's hour 3.
Where's that at?
That's on their on Bullcraft or Bullcraft Industries. Sorry.
Bullcraft.
Yeah, that's like
Oh,
their
okay.
their building. I guess the company that does like all the fabricating parts and stuff for all this stuff.
Hmm.
But they posted the 3
Oh,
which have
Bullcraft. Yeah.
our MP7s on it. So we got 3 of them, dude. That's such an expensive bill. It's like
Oh,
four
I'm
thousand
sure.
something dollars. We had
Jesus.
$1,000 in fucking Elite Force mags, 30 mags.
God
Fucking
damn.
stupid.
That's crazy.
That's a lot of fucking money for some airsoft stuff, but we're dedicated. I
Look at
guess.
this. BCI, VFC, MP7, HPA.
Oh,
Jesus Christ. They have
it's
more
nasty.
fucking acronyms than a fucking military, bro. Jesus.
I agree.
Full gun with pre-installed gearbox. Like, can you come up with a better name? Fuck. 1,200 to $1,400. Okay. Yeah, they only got the one picture of it, but it looks cool as shit.
It's basically like they can do the because I guess a gearbox. I don't even know if it's a gearbox. They did their own like printed like specialized thing that slides in there. I haven't really got a chance to like look at the full kit yet,
Yeah.
except for the pictures that they have of it. But like they have it with the jack and they have it with the F2. I was pretty surprised that the F2 is in there, so I was like, we got to get these and we're gonna get the F2s, and they were cool enough to like kind of work with us and help us get on the list of getting them so they didn't sell them all out. I don't know how they're how busy they are with that right now because that's I feel like that's a pretty gnarly buy, like a fucking F2
Right.
MP7, and hopefully they continue to do that. So
Have you seen the there's a lot of people doing the that's real popular right now, doing the AAPO1
yep,
MP7
I have one or
builds,
I
you know,
had
the
one.
3D printed shit that they're doing.
Yep,
Those look cool too.
I had one, man, but then I like I don't know. The AAP is such a good fucking pistol, but I kept having issues. I kept
Yeah.
breaking the hammer, which everybody's like, that's the
Oh,
first thing that's gonna go. You got to get the
you got to get the stainless
cow
steel
or
one. Yep,
yeah.
the cow
I
cow.
I tried that, and then something else fucking happened, and then I was like,
Did it really?
yeah, and then like I forgot what else I put in there. I put like a some kind of heavy ass spring from Haldren or Haldren Airsoft. It's from somewhere from the UK. Paid all this money for the shipping. It
Yeah.
got here, made it shoot awesome, and then like I started having like misfeeding, and then I was like, what the fuck? Like every time I do something, this is why I don't buy stuff that I have to tinker. The MP7 could be subject to tinkering. I don't know. I'm gonna do a review on it when I get it.
Bro,
But
do
like,
not open
I'm
that
I'm
shit
not
up.
opening shit. It's like
Use
I'm
it
not.
and abuse it and enjoy it.
Dude, I'm not opening I already told Steven and all them. I was like, dude, if y'all open this up, I'm not helping you fix it because I don't even know what's inside of it. Like,
Fuck that, bro.
dude,
No, just leave it. Leave it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
all the videos they have of it, it seems like it shoots super good. So I'm like, this is gonna
Yeah.
be. I mean, all we need is I think 1.3 joules we can have it at, or 1 joule for full auto. I can't remember. I
Okay.
think it's 1 joule at most events. with those.
For
But
full auto.
dude,
Gotcha.
it's not gonna last long at all. I mean, those Polar Stars shoot so fucking fast. Like you're gonna wait, and they only have
Dude,
110 rounds in the mag. So I'm gonna be like, bet
yeah.
okay,
Yep.
change.
That's
That's why
like
we
two
ordered.
seconds, three
Yeah,
seconds. Mm-hmm.
we ordered $1,000 in mags. I mean, that was not for
God
just me either. We all
damn.
got 10, so 10 mags a piece. We all paid together, by the way. It's
Yeah.
not like I was like, here's 4 grand, I'm buying it for everybody. But
Right.
like, I wish I could do that.
Now,
But
what do
like,
you
yeah,
think
we,
about the? Have you ever tried the GBBR, the gas blowback rifles? Like the
yeah,
MP7 is real popular
it's
with the
fucking
gas
awesome.
blowback. Yeah,
I think
that's what I've
gas
heard.
blowback is probably like the coolest thing ever.
That's
But
what I've heard.
I can't get down with the complications that people have with that shit either. Because like,
Yeah,
dude, the greasing, like, I think about it as like a real firearm. So like, there's every time I see somebody with a gas blowback gun, I'm like, dude, that's one of the coolest things you could see because it actually has the fucking plume of smoke that comes out and then like
right.
and everything, or I guess gas in this case, and it's like it's almost real looking when somebody's shooting it from
Sure.
a distance, especially. You're like, damn, that kind of looks cool. It's like fucking clouding and shit.
Yeah,
But then they start
it's
having all these
bouncing,
complicated.
it's
Yeah,
recoiling, and
it
yeah,
looks it looks like that would be something that I would love to have, but I can't get down with the fixing those. Like apparently they all have a lot of problems. Every
hmm,
gas gun, and all my
really.
pistols have problems, dude. Every fucking gas blowback pistol I've ever owned has a problem.
Yeah, I guess it's just the
Wear
seals,
and
right?
tear, wear and tear and
Yeah,
seals. Like I
because
feel
it
like
gets so cold.
it gets really cold, and then the gun's shaking around all the time like a real gun would, but it's not
Yeah, it's
manufactured.
plastic parts in
Yeah,
there. Yeah,
it's not the same
it's
as a
plastic
Glock.
parts and a little rubber seal. Yeah.
I've gotten to the point now where I'll buy a Elite Force Glock and I'll use the fucking shit out of it. And then once it stops working, I just give it to somebody.
Yeah.
Here's $200. That's literally what I've been doing. And then they're like, "Why would you? This literally only needs this, that, and the other, or this." I'll just I don't
Tired of
have
working
time
on
to.
them.
Dude.
Yeah.
I'm not
No,
fucking
fuck
taking
it.
that apart. And like I like literally, I walked up to a kid before. Steven's done this too. He bought a fucking. It was like a $250 3 gun from I don't know some kind of fucking 1911 style, really badass John Wick looking thing, but it wasn't the Combat Master, it was something else.
Gotcha.
And this little kid was like, I fucking love that, or whatever. And I remember that dude. The day he was just like, "You like it?" He was like, "Here you go." He was like, "Because the only thing he needed a new bucking." I was like, "Bro, that was like a almost a $300 gun. We just be passing shit out to people because we just get tired of stuff." I'm not doing that Wolverine though. Nobody will ever get that out of my hands.
I
But
was gonna say, bro, where's your limit there?
I don't know. I gave away a Vortex Crossfire recently
You're
too.
gonna give away your EOTech?
No, no, no. There's certain things that like what I like about my team is we trade amongst each other and just like try to help each other out. But
Right.
I think I probably out of distributing it across the board, I've probably given away probably about $2,000 worth of shit, just
Whoa.
because I have so much shit, and like I don't want to sell the shit
So,
because I'd rather
where are you playing so all these new players can follow you around when on the
nah.
field when you get tired of your shit?
I don't just like I don't really just like give everything away. I'm just when I get
Uh,
tired of it, I'm just like, damn, I don't need this or like multicam black stuff. I love multicam black. I'm wearing a fucking multicam black hat, but I had so much of the stuff, and you can never wear it unless you're like QRF or whatever,
right.
or
The the s-
yeah,
the Spec Ops thing or whatever
yeah,
the
or whatever they decide to make the name of whatever guys that get to wear that stuff, and I've never even get
right.
on. Yeah, I never get on that roster, so it's like I have all this cool shit, so I'll keep the Cry gear that I have because I don't really wear that for airsoft anyway. I just thought it looked cool, and then
Yeah.
like I'll get rid of all the Crydex Amazon stuff, and so I just gave it all away.
Right.
I'm not trying to make a dollar off of it. What did piss me off is one of my teammates. I gave him a Strike Industries gridlock rail, which I thought was super cool because you can just like slide that thing on and lock it in. The
What
two
is it
hundred
now?
dollar
A
Strike
gridlock
Industries
rail?
gridlock rail, yeah, and a peck box and a speed. I don't know. They had these regulators called speed. They were kind of expensive, but
Hmm.
somebody gave it to me, so I gave it to him because I was like, "You're gonna get back into HPA." He fucking sold pretty much, and then he had all these EPM. You know how much an EPM one mag cost? That shit's like 34 bucks or something.
For one
And
mag?
EPM ones by
Yeah.
PTS. I bought. This is another one of those stupid things that I do every year. I buy 6, right? And once the spring finally shits out, or I forget to take BBs out, who knows, and the shit starts to like malfunction or whatever, I'm like, this just
Yeah.
needs a new spring. Here you go. I don't want to fucking do it because I know
Right.
it sucks. And they're like, "Oh, that's dumb. Why would you just?" And it's whatever. I bought a new one. I just replaced my mags like that. Raymond took all the. I gave him 6 or 7 mags. No, I gave him 6 mags and then 6 or 4 of the EPM shorts that just needed a new spring. Still going to be cheaper than buying a brand new EPM, and he sold each one of them. Like he sold them for like a good deal. I was like, "You piece of shit." He was
Oh
like, "Well, I
shit.
mean, I'm just," and I was like, "Bro, like, the whole point is not to sell it; it's to give it to you guys so that you guys can use the stuff that I'm not using anymore, or pay less than what I paid to use it, and keeps my team going like this.
Right.
It's like a big circle of like fucking keeping these guys on their feet and everything else. Like if you ever need a backup magazine, you have one, and if you don't want to do that, just fix that, and now you got a brand new EPM.
Well, that's what I was
So
talking with that same thing. Rogue Customs. You know, he paints all the cool ass masks and guns and shit. He's
that
Rogue
dude's
Customs. He's
yeah.
actually yeah, he was doing that too. I don't know. He might still do it, but he'll go on and find people like you guys that are selling those EPM mags, whatever the nicer mags that the springs worn out. He'll buy those, you know, in bulk for fairly cheap, whatever. Replace the springs, and then he does a custom paint job on them, you know, and sells them for, you know, a lot more because
And
the custom paint.
if you would contact me, I would have just gave him fucking mags.
Yeah,
I just at this point like
Rogue, if you're
because
listening, here you go.
yeah, right. I like if I literally run out of EPM shit because I just buy new ones and then I just don't want to.
Yeah,
I mean, I replaced like 4 springs and was like, yeah, this is. I don't have time for this. Like I got so much shit going on outside of airsoft. It's like I don't feel like sitting tinkering with this fucking magazine and then having to fix my MTW because it's deciding to shoot good, but I want it to shoot better. It's just like it's I don't know. I just get rid of stuff, man, and kind of recycle it throughout my team as much as I can. I gave Mike on our team that Vortex Crossfire Op Mod edition. It's like bronze colored. It's a $300 scope,
oh
but
shit.
it's his now.
Yeah,
I didn't fucking have any use for it. And then Steven does that same shit. He just like, I don't need this anymore. Here you go. And I'm like, what the fuck am I gonna do with it? I'm gonna give it to somebody else. So
no
we just
shit.
like
Just keep
give shit
passing it
that
on.
that's pretty much it. Unless it's like a airsoft gun, I sell those. Like if I make a, I had a really awesome MP5 that was HPA'd, and I ended up I sold that for pretty much a steal to one of my team members for like 600 with a red line regulator. He basically got the regulator for free. So
Holy
it's
shit.
like, yeah, I mean, you just try to like help people out. A buddy of mine, Sean, I built a Crytac right out of building it. He was like, I want it, and I was like, dude, I haven't even shot it yet. And then I ended up giving him that, a tank, and a line, and a regulator for like $800
Jesus.
with the Polar Star F1 in it. I was like, damn, I'm an idiot. It's like,
Bro,
but
what
did
was
you
it?
run out of
LVOA?
fucking room? It was the no, it was that little tiny ass SPR, like the
Oh,
one with
okay.
the closing the PDW stock, which he took off, and I thought that was like the coolest part of it. So I was like, well, but
What
he
the
uses
fuck?
that now, and yeah, dude, we were gonna auction some, or not auction, but raffle some stuff like
Oh,
from now on, just to like get it to people
that's a
that
good
might.
idea.
But I would like to get it to somebody who like really needs it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Sean really needed that gun. He really needed a full HPA setup. So how can I get him because that setup on Junkies or Amped would have cost 1,000 plus, right? Because of the gun being 700 with the red line milsim, and then plus the tank plus a regulator, you're at like 1,000. So I was like, how
Yeah.
can I knock $300 off of this and just give it to him with a line? He's just ready to play as soon as he gets it. So
Right.
how can we do that in a cheaper way for people, or people that really need
Yeah.
airsoft stuff that aren't like, me sitting here like, I need this, give me this for free.
Yep.
I would rather give it to somebody that's like that can't afford it, that can afford this price. You know what I mean? Or
Right.
whatever. I don't know if that makes. I'm like rambling about stupid
No,
shit, but
it's. I mean, that you know, we did the same thing. We did giveaways, and then it was. I did a couple boxes giveaways where it was a full on like the whole setup in the box. It was the gun. Now these weren't great guns. These were you
yeah,
know, the mystery box guns, whatever.
doesn't matter. That's awesome though.
Yeah, it was like it was the gun, it was the magazine, it was the BBs, our own BBs that we bought, not the shit ones you know, the
Right.
.12s you get. It was uh the battery, the charger. We threw a charger in there. You know, if it came with one or whatever, we would make boxes that were had everything and a an action cam. It wasn't a GoPro. It was one of
Yeah,
those
that's
Acasos. You
that's
know, it
still
was like
fucking cool,
$60 thing.
man.
One of those, a 120 gig or 128 gig, you know, memory card for the action cam, a mount for the helmet thing, you know, and then a charger, like all, you know, one of those extra
They
chargers
could
for one of
literally
those
go and
batteries.
play though. They could have
That
like they could go and start a like a
whoever won would open the box, charge up their, you know, gun battery, whatever, charge up the GoPro or the Acaso battery, and then go on the field with a case, you know, protective case, everything, the whole
yeah.
thing, the
They're
whole
good to
thing. They
go.
could just open the box, get on the field, record everything, and have a good time playing. And so we did a few of those. You know, it's fun doing that, but yeah, I mean, it's just it's we stopped doing the giveaways when I started doing. Well, I stopped doing the giveaways when I started doing this podcast. Honestly, because I'm doing I'm too busy. I'm really too
Yeah,
busy.
dude. I can
I'm doing
only
a lot of
imagine.
podcasts and I'm really focused on it. And the giveaway thing, I honestly just don't want to film a video on a giveaway thing like I used to because we used to have fun with them. We built a a slingshot, a big slingshot out of like 2x4s,
Yeah,
and
that's
one of
cool.
those, you
That's
know,
pretty cool.
those water balloon slingshots. We built one of those or a frame for it, and then used one of those slingshot, you know, rubber band things, and then we shot a water balloon at a samurai sword. My son Colton has an actual, real sharpened samurai sword, and we we
Holy
we
shit.
we put the samurai sword sticking up, facing us, right? And we secured it. I forget how we secured it, with a vise or something, and and then a clamp or whatever, and secured it where the, you know, sharp edge is facing us. We took all the people's names that had entered, and I printed them out on a piece of paper, cut them out, right? So we had little strips of names. We threw the names on the ground behind the samurai sword. We put we filled this water balloon. We had to fill a bunch of them because we didn't know if we were going to hit it
That's
the first
crazy
time.
as shit.
We filled the water balloon with green colored water. So we put food coloring in the water, filled the water balloon with it, and then we shot the water balloon at the samurai sword. And if we hit it, it was going to splatter all over the names on the ground. Whoever's name was covered the most, you know, the most green or whatever, basically is who won. So we did a couple practice shots, not at the samurai sword,
Yeah.
but just kind of like getting the frame set up and everything. And so we turned it, we lined everything up, and this was about 50 feet away. The sword was, and so Christian was on there. He was. I said, "You, who wants to do it first?" You know, I'm sitting here filming. So Christian takes it, and I go, "You're not going to hit it the first time." He lets go, and that fucker hit the first time right in the middle, and just splats everywhere. We had a GoPro set up right by the sword, slow mo and everything. It was kind of grainy, but whatever. And so it worked. It was really cool. But anyway, we used to
That's
love doing those
pretty
kind of
fucking
giveaway
crazy.
videos, but they take a lot of time. It takes a lot of time to do that.
I can imagine that it would yeah, you got to edit and sit there and like
You got to
play
set
with
everything up,
videos.
film everything, all these different angles, build shit, film it, and then edit it. And it's yeah. So
I can't imagine like trying to do
yeah,
all that stuff at once, dude. Like that's the thing with like the airsoft videos. We got this one kid on our team now that we're like, all right, we're all gonna try to film as much shit as we can, which hasn't we haven't really been popping out like YouTube stuff. We're gonna be doing that soon.
yeah.
Um, and I have, God, dude, I have 3 GoPros, and that way I can allow 2 other guys to use GoPros if we want to, or if we want to mount it to a gun. I don't really like to mount stuff to my gun because it gets shot all to shit.
Right.
It seems like the more expensive shit I put on my gun, that's the stuff that gets shot at.
The target. Yeah.
You were talking about the skin, like whatever's
Bro,
exposed
it's
is what gets
BB
hit.
magnets.
No, for me, it's fucking EOTech,
Yeah.
Nods, GoPro. His GoPro got shot out actually recently. Well, whoever shot, it had to have been running hot at that fucking game, dude. At Iron Dagger, somebody shot. As Jeffries, he had a GoPro with the scuba case on it. It went straight through, straight into his lens. I was like,
Oh my
holy fuck.
God.
Now, granted, he didn't have Lex hands. I've seen him crack before, but I've never seen like this is the same case he had, except
Yeah.
for mine's not broken, and it went straight through this, and then if I took this off, which you can't take the 8s off, luckily he
Right.
has the 11, so he can unscrew it. It
Oh.
literally shattered his like the actual like inner piece there, from what I understand. So I was like, that
Holy
had to
shit.
have been pretty hot, and whoever shot him wasn't super close. You know what I mean? Like I was there when it happened,
Jesus.
and I was like, somebody's running really fucking hot, or they have a DMR in here they're not supposed to. And
Uh-huh.
you're lucky that it didn't hit you in like the fucking nose or something, because that would have fucking sucked. Um,
Oh my God, imagine.
Steven's probably one of the worst. I don't know how he gets like these like. I always tell him like, dude, wear a helmet, but he always wants to wear a hat. No, not everybody wants to wear a helmet, and I get it. But
Right.
like, he always gets hit right here in between his.
Mm.
We also wear a lot of I forgot to tell you about this at the beginning of all this. It's shouting people out, but like Valhalla mask. You ever heard of them before?
Uh-uh.
The actual I don't have one laying out. Valhalla mask is like a stretchy gaiter that goes over your face that has the mesh right here. It's super
Oh,
comfortable, dude. Super comfortable. If you
okay.
get shot in the cheeks, you're gonna feel that, but it
Right.
definitely protects all of this. And the Loki mask that they make protects your nose, and you can pull it down super easy, breathe, get you some water, whatever you got to do, and just throw
Yeah.
it back up. So I tell everybody about those, because the problem is the shipping so expensive, because it comes from like Norway or wherever the fuck it comes from.
Oh,
And
okay.
so we
Because
we
there's
got
somebody
those.
in Lone Star Tactical, I think,
They have
is in the UK. They make
the
similar.
similar
Yeah.
things. It's almost
Hmm.
it's almost identical. But Steven always manages to get hit right in between his Oakleys here or here
Yeah.
somehow. And he always has these like fucking horrible like, dude, his shit like every time he plays the airsoft game, he gets bloody somehow, and I'm like, dude, how do you like
You're gonna
how
be
do you,
scarred up for life, bro.
he just, I mean, he looks like he's from North Carolina. You can't even see that. I don't know how I can't focus that, but oh god.
Oh, this is
Perfect.
okay. See, when I looked at your when you
Oh no,
messaged
you
me,
can't see that.
or when I saw you on your Instagram, yeah, that's the guy that I thought that's was you. I didn't know who it was. As I'm scrolling through, I
Oh
thought
yeah.
that's who I'd be talking to. Okay,
No, that's Steven. I don't know if I have any pictures now that you're gonna even be able to see, but we have pictures of pretty much everybody on there. They're just everybody's masked up for the most part.
gotcha.
And all of our stuff. I mean, our stuff is like pretty much just a bunch of shots of us playing airsoft at events, and nobody cares about it. Just like everybody else's page that does team airsoft stuff, I guess.
Right.
But we're we're trying to really push those Valhalla masks on people. And again, we have like we do have a discount code for it, but and I wouldn't call it a sponsor, because they're not like, we're sponsoring you. They're just like, hey, we'll give you a
Right.
discount code, tell your friends, and they'll get a discount. I'm like, well, so it takes care of the taxes, because the shipping is like
Yeah.
dumb. You pay almost, dude, one of their
I'm
masks is like
sure.
$60
Yeah.
because of the shipping. But if you were there,
Hmm.
it's $30. So
Right.
it's like, it sucks. But they are really good and comfortable. And then I don't remember what I transitioned from so many different kinds of face pro. Like dye mask, I tried that, hated it. Uh, I don't know if you said you've never played airsoft, or you don't play at all.
Yeah, I haven't played, but I mean, I played paintball for 6 years, so
It's
we
similar.
wore. This is before. This is in from 94, 95 ish. I played
Yeah,
paintball to early 2000s, and we didn't. I don't remember hearing about dye masks like the. I don't know when they came out.
company. Yeah,
I never learned. I never looked it up or whatever, but I don't remember ever seeing those types like exactly like that. It was similar, kind of similar, like, but the
JT or something.
yeah, yep, kind of flimsy, like rubbery stuff to protect your face, and then the goggles built into it.
Yeah, it was like a weird rubber here,
Uh
which
huh.
really, if you got shot point blank, would probably
Yeah,
still suck pretty bad.
especially with paintballs because they're heavy, and so
Even dye
they give
masks are
you
like a rubber almost,
yeah,
but it's like it's the kind of malleable, but it's not like it's gonna stay where you put it. It just kind of goes back into place. But
yeah,
I tried that, dude. You just can't fucking breathe. Like
uh,
those speed softers clearly have zero problem. Like they're
yeah,
1,000 miles an hour all the time, but they're also like
right.
17. So it's like if I was 17 years old, I'd probably be able to do it too. I feel like there are older dudes that play Speedsoft though, so I don't want to say that too
Well,
harshly,
you're a mill simmer, so I'm gonna ask you a couple, or well, at least this one question, because I asked it on the monthly backspin we just did
yeah.
with the group. I said, speaking of speed softers, right? I said it's you and one partner against 100 speedy boys that are hopped up on Mountain Dew.
Oh man,
Who's your
Mountain.
partner? And I gave him a multiple choice. I said Van Damme, Schwarzenegger, or Stallone in their prime.
Oh man, so you got Judge Dredd, fucking Bloodsport, and who was the other one?
Terminator,
You said well, then or the fucking I can't remember his name from the
Conan,
first.
Conan,
Yeah,
the
yeah, or
barbarian,
the
the
or the or
barbarian.
the or the fucking Predator killer.
Yeah, Predator. Yeah,
Oh
yeah.
man, I
Dutch.
can't. I'm gonna skip Arnold Schwarzenegger because he was big in California and fuck California. No offense to California, but like their
Dude, we're
laws
pissing
are.
everybody off today.
uh, no, dude.
Gastonia, people in
Stay toxic.
Hickory,
Yeah, I
stay
mean, I'm just
toxic.
saying, like California, like with his governor
The
skills, I wouldn't
governor
do it.
thing. Yeah,
And
yeah.
then his whole outlook on guns. So I'm gonna step away from the guy that held guns and hates guns. So
It's so
um,
weird when they do that. But yeah, okay. So
all these
who's your
uh,
okay? So not Schwarzenegger.
God,
Who's another action star? How
fucking
about
Rambo.
huh?
And I'm sitting here thinking Stallone and is
Yeah, there's
Rambo
Stallone,
also.
Van Damme. Who else? I know I'm missing some Chuck Norris. How about that?
Oh man, Walker, I'm gonna go Walker Texas Ranger, Chuck
Right.
Norris. I'm gonna go with Stallone. Just because I love Judge Dredd. That's like one of my favorite movies. Yeah, like
No shit.
the original Judge Dredd.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
the fucking the
I
Judge Dredd.
forgot they remade that, dude.
They did.
Yeah.
But it wasn't his Judge Dredd. The only reason I'm not going with Van Damme is because like he's kind of a douchebag in person. I'm sure that Stallone might be too, but I'll go with
Yeah.
him. Chuck Norris. The only reason I wouldn't go with Chuck Norris is because Chuck Norris. Everybody's like, "Oh, he's the great." You know, it's always Chuck Norris wins everything. Well,
Yeah.
so we had this
It's a
debate.
joke. Yeah.
Yeah, and he's like this fantastic fighter and won all this stuff, but like you can't. I don't know, man. I would choose Bruce Lee before Chuck Norris. You know,
There you go.
I
That's
really
an
would.
option. I should. Yeah, yeah. I should
Bruce Lee would have
put
been.
in there.
Bruce Lee would have been a guy that I would have probably chose because he's a speedy
Now
boy.
that dude could seriously, legitimately dodge BBs. Okay.
He played ping pong with like two people and fucked them up with
Did you
nunchucks.
see that video?
I don't know if it's
That
real,
shit was
but
fucking
if
nuts,
it's
bro.
real, that's nuts. That shit's fucking stupid.
I hope it is real because
The precision, the precision. If gun hits didn't count, if gun
yeah,
hits didn't
yeah.
count in whatever event we're playing against these guys in, and he had two MP7s, he could twirl them around and deflect BBs with them. that's, that's
Oh
probably
my
good
god, that'd be funny.
you didn't choose Bruce Lee because I probably would have chose him now that I think
No
about it.
shit, right?
But
Yeah,
Speedsoft
that's
is
funny.
interesting, man. With that CQB field, we're trying to. I mean, I want to. I'm like anti Speedsoft,
Yeah,
but not anti Speedsoft player. Does that make
right,
sense?
right. Well,
So
you don't want to play speed
no,
soft, but you don't
but I
mind if somebody
will.
else does. Yeah,
No, and I will play Speedsoft if it becomes like a very, which I'm sure it will become a recurring thing at the field we're trying to do,
right.
and I will. Uh, we're trying to do this. It's kind of a secret right now of what we're doing with the fields. I can't mention this part, but and it'll be a thing soon. But
That's
it's
fine.
it's we want to be able to set up a speed soft thing like when we want to, right?
Right.
So the simple way to put this is 1 second it's a CQB field that
Yeah.
is now we're condensing it to a smaller, more
Hmm.
compact speed QB field that is only that, and everything else is kind of pushed out of the way.
Yeah.
And to accomplish that, dude, costs a lot of money.
Sure.
Just because
Oh,
you gotta
sure.
have stuff that collapses and that is still
Hmm.
sturdy and all that. But like,
Exactly.
so with Speed QB or all that like speed soft stuff, like Eric's really likes it 'cause he's an ex paintball player.
Oh, okay.
So I'd probably catch myself in there trying to run around and slide on the floor and breaking my knees. But
Right,
dude, that's what those guys. I mean, they like slide like 20 feet. I mean, that's fucking. They'll slide across
bro.
concrete. I'm like, this is
There's
nuts.
this. If you haven't followed her, she's. I think it's her Instagram is TK fire pants. Okay, look her up, and she's got some videos on her Instagram. She is sliding so fucking far, bro. Now, when I was talking to Baby Goat, he, I was telling him, I was like, talking about that, whatever. He's like, I knew you were gonna say her when I was talking about somebody sliding really far. When I saw a video of it, and
Is this
he
airsoft?
goes,
Oh, it is airsoft.
yeah. So she, like, I guess on the fields over there, I can't remember where. She might be in the Netherlands. I'm not sure,
It is
but
Netherlands.
is it okay? Uh, I guess the speed soft fields over there, they have the turf, and I guess with those kind of pants and or knee pads, you could slide halfway across the field. It's
Without like
fucking
killing
crazy.
yourself, yeah, that'd be
Yeah,
great.
yeah, you're
Dude,
just like really slippery on that kind of.
I've never seen in my life so many milsim dudes sliding around on the ground until Thunderdome.
Really,
That
what happened?
was
Oh, because it was in the mall.
it's a fuck, dude. These motherfuckers, and I mean that shit would. Some of those floors were
They
like
saw the
tile,
shiny floor and they were like, "Yes, we're gonna
dude.
slide."
They used the shit out of the knee pad. I did it a couple times. I was like, this is kind of fun, but like if your knee pads aren't on there, like strapped by the back of
Right,
your, yeah, so
and it
and,
catches.
and it catches one of those tiles, that shit's coming off. That
Uh,
knee, but they were sliding like 20 feet. They just into barriers, boom, and then just coming over, shooting and throwing grenades. I was like, this is awesome.
yeah,
But
right.
like, I mean, normally you don't see that at a mill sim because it's like concrete or like hard
Hmm.
or shitty something on the ground. There's something,
Uneven grass, uneven
dude.
terrain,
Some of
rocks,
those.
and
Have you been to some of the mill sims with like the just like any line claws stuff at all?
no, I've only been to two, and it's Stonebreaker and Iron Dagger.
Okay, so if you go to a line claws game, dude, the reason I like those AOs, and I've never, I think you're gonna, since you're not going to Bone Crusher. Bone Crusher's a really cool one too. But line claws, like for instance, will they'll have these AOs. Like Swift Justice was like at this like textile, or I think it was a textile facility or something. I could be completely wrong about this. Which, by the way, we'll get in. I don't even know if we have time to get into this, but that there's like glass all over the place. Like there's like trash and glass and everything everywhere. It's like a
Right.
real fucking war zone. They look like something like a grenade went off in certain parts of that. Like there's like a refrigerator knocked over somewhere for no reason. It's like you're like climbing through this
That's a
rusty
random
shit.
thing.
Dude, I feel like you would be crazy not to wear gloves and not to have knee pads in that place. And
Right.
I slid on accident, like fell, and like I said, I bust my ass. I didn't have nods then either, and I couldn't see. It was dark as shit in this like weird basement. And I like look up, and I had my GoPro on this whole time, and all you can hear me saying is oh fuck," and I landed in like what was the biggest spawn of hell I could ever imagine. And it was a fucking there's like this fucking like shards of glass all right here, so I had like little shit in my arm, and
Holy
then like
shit.
over beside me was like a fucking cup, right? Inside this cup there was a hole. Inside that hole there was like 40 fucking spiders. Like I had shined a light in there, and they were just like fucking coming, dude. They were coming out towards me, and I'm like sitting there like
What?
oh yeah, and then I know Logan from Outcast. Somebody see me wipe out was like trying to help me up, and I'm like trying to fight them off of me because I'm trying to get away from this cup that somehow keeps getting
Holy
closer to me because other people
shit.
are kicking it towards me as they're running by. There's just so much shit all over the place. There's just like some of those
Jesus,
events.
bro.
The buildings are cool as shit because they're like. I mean, sometimes it's bad because there's like hornets and shit, but like
Right.
you find like a random hornet's nest, and that's like the worst thing that could happen. But
I've heard about that. Yeah.
oh, there was one at Swift Justice. There was like a hornet's nest in the ground or some shit, and somebody got fucking lit
Oh
up.
my
And
god.
that's not against insurance. That's just pure habitat, I guess. But like,
Uh,
uh, it just happened to him. And as long as you're not allergic or have an EpiPen, so.
yeah, for
Uh,
real.
but with that being said, that dude, some of those AOs are crazy. We got the whole town of Aiken shut down, pretty much. Like,
What?
so for Swift Justice, there's a there's a fucking news article about this, and you can look this up in free time if you want to. But Swift Justice was a lot of fucking people dressed up in airsoft gear,
Yeah.
Milsim gear. There was a road that you had to walk across to the main road, right? And there's cars driving by and everything else. There was this one lady who was like freaking out about,
Oh, you were at that event?
yeah, dude, that was Swift Justice.
That
That
was
was
in that was
South
here in South
Carolina.
Carolina.
Yeah, it was South Carolina. It
Yeah,
was in it was in
it
Aiken.
was about 2 hours away from me.
So
Um, so you know who I had? I
900
had,
phone calls to the fucking law, dude.
dude,
Like,
the
it's like,
oh, they're a team out of Florida. They came up for that. It was call sign death, House of Jackals.
mhm.
So the House of Jackals were there,
They were
and
on
I
Tan
had
Team.
them on. I had three of them from their team on,
Yeah,
like right after that event, and they talked about this. They were like, and I had no clue what was
dude.
going on. They were
That
like,
shit.
"Oh yeah, we were there," and then this lady shows up and starts. I said, "What? What happened?" And they're like, and they told me the whole story.
Oh no,
And
it was
John
a
Lou
big
was like
thing.
talking to this lady, like it was
It
holy
was,
shit,
dude. It was
dude.
so bad. Like that. This lady like flipped the fuck out on Sal and was like trying to like I don't know. She walks into the AO no unannounced, just completely
Right.
just super pissed about whatever, and then she's like, oh, I don't want guns in my town and blah blah blah. And we're like, dude, this is not real guns. And
Number one, you're in South Carolina, woman.
well,
You better get over it because we like guns here.
it
Jesus.
might seem a little less. It might be a little bit more on the blue side nowadays. I think on the gun thing over there for some reason, which is weird because Aiken. I've lived in Aiken, right?
Yeah.
For a short period of time. I was there for like about a year, and that was, dude. There was not a single spot I went to where, like you were talking about the guns sticking out earlier.
Yeah.
That was a thing, dude. You go to a Walmart in Aiken, and everybody has a fucking gun. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, well, I guess we're safe from
Good.
whoever.
Exactly.
Like,
Yes.
whatever. Everybody's got a
Guns
gun,
all
so
around, baby.
yeah, we were at that event, and that was the interesting time. But that facility, man, was really fucking cool. I wish we could have did it again, but I guess that's no more because of her mainly.
Yeah, dude, that's fucked up.
That fucked Lion Claws up on that one.
That is fucked.
There might be more to
Well,
that
you know
story
what
too,
they
but
have to do? You know what they're gonna have to do for an AO like that that's that close to a neighborhood is they're gonna have to seal it off. They're gonna have to
yeah,
get that that construction
it wasn't, dude. We were
fencing or
walking
whatever.
by cars. I don't even know if we were
Yeah,
supposed to be, but there was like a lot, like 40, 50 guys walking on the side of the road,
right,
just in full gear, and I'm like, this does not look good. Now
right.
I don't get
It was too close to
uncomfortable.
the
Yeah,
residentials, way too close. Because so I went to there's a airsoft field not far from that from that site. It's called Blue Hole Airsoft,
yeah,
and it's literally right down the road. Well, I went down to Blue Hole with a buddy of ours, Todd, who's been on our channel a couple times. Actually, he did one of the Kythera builds on our channel, and he's like, "Oh, I want to go look at this AO for this upcoming event, like in a couple months." And so we went over there. We drove by it, and he's like, "Oh yeah," he's looking on the map and on his phone. He's like, "Yep, this is it right here." And I'm going, "Really? What?" Like we thought it was just going to be so that road that goes across the little bridge thing or whatever,
yeah. That's
in
the
between the
one, dude.
buildings. Okay,
That's the one.
we get up there and there's like a little area you can pull into. It's like just
Yeah,
gravel,
it's like on
whatever,
the
kind of
side. Yeah,
parking.
I know
Yeah.
exactly what you're talking
So
about.
we parked there and we're looking at the red building
Yeah.
kind of up on the hill a little bit that's got the broken windows and there's a fence around it.
Yep.
So we're thinking when we're talking about this, we didn't know. We're thinking, okay, everything's going to happen inside that fence. Well, even then, I'm still looking at like, bro, if people are shooting BBs in there, if there's cars driving down this road, they're going to be fucking getting hit.
Could
Like
be.
what? Yeah, so it's so anyway, it was way too close to residential stuff.
I think it was too, but I think there was like I mean, he got
Unless they shut that road down.
they might have, and people are just
Oh,
going
okay.
through. I'm not really sure if they did. Like I said, you can't quote me on a lot of this stuff because I don't work for him. But I know that he got passed. I think the city allowed it. Like it wasn't like they were like, no, this is not. This is just random. Like he goes through extensive amounts of like
Oh,
trouble to get
sure.
us. And at Thunderdome is another one. So that one, because it's a mall, you had to bring all your gear inside. You could
Gotcha.
not. You could dress up, but you couldn't
Yeah.
bring it. You can't have a gun out. So like we would
Right.
have our airsoft guns in cases, and we would travel to our spawn with the stuff and set up. And it was a pain, but I was like, this makes sense. There's cops outside. Cops are literally surveying everything, and like,
Exactly.
and then there's like, it's not in the best area, Northgate and Raleigh, and it's
Mm,
just, it's a little sketchy. Guns around. There's a mall. There's like a bunch of dudes dressed up. It just doesn't look good. So we're just like, all right, let's
right.
just carry the shit inside. Get straight. Yeah, and that was cool. Um, Plus the mall AO is not huge. It's not like you're. I mean, if you're doing it every 5 seconds, it would suck. But like you're only doing it beginning a game, end a game, beginning a game, end a game. So it's not like the worst thing in the world. I didn't mind walking that, and I would do it. I'm gonna do it again. That fucking dude, that AO for some reason that brought like for a while I started feeling kind of stagnant. Maybe I was doing too many events, but like
Oh yeah.
that AO became. I was like, yep, I'm back. I'm doing this. And Bone Crusher, I already know is gonna be fun. That's just a fun one. Um, GTI I've done so many times. I don't even want to go there for a while. Like I love
Yeah.
the place. My whole team loves it, but we're just like, all right, dude. We're
Unless they change something, yeah,
like,
they're gonna have to
dude,
really
man.
mix it up.
Or just like dude, just give me a year maybe because like I've been there 4 times in 4 months.
Yeah.
Like basically all together because like what would happen is like Black Start and right before that was Iron Dagger and then there was Stonebreaker not that long before that and then there was like you know what I mean like in a 4 month span I probably hit GTI at least twice, right? So in a year I've hit it 4 times. I'm just good on it. I don't know. I said four
Yeah.
months, but a year I guess. I've done GTI 4 times. I won't go back there for a year. I'll
Well, I've been there
probably
twice, and I'm just as press and walking around there. I'm like, I don't know. Yeah,
yeah, dude.
It's pretty basic. Once you walk the whole thing,
Yep,
there's not. You're really gonna have to really change up the objective type of things. Throw something in there that's makes it more exciting or whatever.
right.
Because everyone, what I saw was 90% of all the players end up in that middle building or around that middle building where the bus is out there, the white bus out there, and just hanging out there.
That's it.
Uh,
Yep. And, and
and I'm
that's
going, why don't? And the AO is big. Like the
massive.
playable area is big. So
Yeah.
how about having some objectives that are on the outskirts somewhere that's going to draw some people and teams away from some of these areas where, like a snatch and grab, like
Doesn't it cost you money to go to the press or like go as press too?
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I
Have
just
you?
bought the press pass for Stonebreaker this year. That's in a couple months, or
You need to
like
buy the press
a month
pass
and a
to
half.
Sirius Viking, dude. It'd be cool to have
Yeah,
your.
that's when
That's.
is Series Viking? That's
I'd have to pull that up.
August,
We have it on our
October.
Discord.
No, I can't remember. No, October was Iron Dagger. Um,
It's coming up. Like I think it's in September. I want to say it's
oh
September,
yeah, it's like
honestly.
fall. It's after summer. Okay. Well,
But if
yeah,
you
this
can,
the press pass is a lot cheaper. It's like I think this one for Stonebreaker was like $85 for the ticket.
yeah.
So
And this one's the 16th. No, this is 16th through 18th September 22. So that's the old one. But it's definitely
is it
September, I
around
believe.
September? Okay. They probably haven't
Um,
announced the dates yet.
I think they did
Did they?
actually. They just haven't announced the. They said something about it on their. I can't find it. It's not on their event page, so you can't buy tickets, anyways.
Got
But they
right.
they did say something about it either on Facebook or Instagram. I can't remember. But that
Gotcha.
one, dude, anything with Guardian Center is gonna be expensive either way. I don't know if press has to pay any more or any less, but like,
For me to go to Guardian Center, bro, and actually like get around and have a good time, I'm gonna have to be on in a technical, like riding around, or I'm gonna have to get from now until then. I'm gonna have to get in really good shape, like trying to walk and
it's
shit.
a big ass place, dude.
Yeah, because right now I can walk about a mile nonstop
Before you're like,
at
all
a
right, I'm
slow
done.
pace before my calves give out and I can't. Just have to stand. Like I don't have to. I
You
won't
need a,
fall
you know
over,
what you need
but
to do? You need to get you a 4 wheeler
yeah, right.
and just ride it
A
around.
gator.
Why not? Would they make you pay for that? Like would they be like, "Oh, you're because you wouldn't be a technical. You'd just be a press technical."
I don't know, man. I
It'd
don't
be
know.
sick or even a fucking golf cart, dude.
I'll
Like
just
just
ride. I'll just ride with somebody. Have you heard of the team, the Tryhards? They're out of Florida.
Yeah, dude, we stayed at the same rinky-dink ass hotel as they did at one year. This was at Stonebreaker at GTI,
Yeah,
and those guys are fucking crazy, dude.
yeah,
They do some like crazy training and everything. I was like, this
yeah. They
is
do.
like y'all should be doing this with real rifles. This is cool. I mean, I don't
They
know.
do some crazy training, bro. Yeah.
They're like them and the regulators are like the same team, right? Or is that not true? They
I
have
don't
like another.
know. I'm not sure, to be
There's
honest.
like another team that's like tied up with them or something, or like they're just
Infidels.
super. It's the infidels, not
Yeah, yeah.
regulators.
Infidels. Yeah, they're really close with each other. So Miami Infidels and then Tryhards. They all know each other. And then there's Kentucky Infidels. Because I had those guys on the podcast. Steven and Robo and uh, damn, I can't remember his name. But anyway, the guy that started the Infidels is he left Miami and went to Kentucky and started an Infidel team up there. And he's a
Uh,
20-year Marine Corps veteran, combat vet, was in Fallujah. Um, him and
see,
I actually
that's
we
cool.
went to uh, we went to boot camp the same fucking day.
Really?
19 October 11th, 1989. And as we're talking on this, on this podcast, we were saying that we're like, "Holy shit, what?"
So you were
So,
Marine Corps.
huh?
You were Marine Corps.
Yeah, yeah.
I have, dude. I don't know how you guys. I don't know. What did you do in the Marines? Like
Nothing.
what?
I got drunk. No.
so, so
No, I drove trucks. I went in for
okay.
combat engineer to build shit. And then the school was full. Pretty common thing. Bunch of us, whatever. School's full. You can either wait, a few months for your school to open up, or you can choose something else. We chose something else, and I didn't choose driving trucks. I chose Amtrak's. That's the troop carrier that goes in from the
Yeah,
ships
yeah. That's
to the
that's cool.
shore. That sits underwater, and I
Yeah.
couldn't pass the swim qual, so I passed the one in boot camp, almost drowned in the one for Amtrak, so ended up
Holy
driving
shit.
trucks. Yeah, yeah. So,
Dude,
but
swimming
anyway, yeah.
sucks. It's
Oh, dude.
the Navy SEAL. They say the Bud standard, sorry, is what is it? 500 yards swim and 12 minutes. No,
That's
10. Our Navy
crazy,
SEAL
bro.
competitive is like 10 minutes, which I'm
Is it?
like throw up and swim through it. Basically,
Yeah,
swim through your vomit because doing that in 12 minutes as a Navy standard is still. I think I can't remember the exact. I'd have to look this shit up again. Look,
yeah.
dude, they were like, when I went to apply for the Navy, because I made it that far, and then they were like, "What do you want to do?" I was like, "Buds," and they were like, "You're a fucking idiot. Here's how you sign up." I was like, "Oh shit," and then so.
Right?
Well, at that point in my life, I was like, this is what I really want to do, but then like I got begged not to do it, which I kind of part of me regrets that, but then like, cause I have two seals in my family,
Mm,
where everybody's like, oh, I got two seals in my family. I do have two active seals right now in my family, and one's like
gotcha.
he does like demolition stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, if they were fat when they went in, so if they can do it, I can fucking do it for sure. And I just ended up not doing it, and
Yeah.
I was talking to them, and they're like, yeah, all the tattooed tough guys never make it anyways, and I was like, fuck you, dude. And cause I'm like they always joke with me about because I'm pretty short, dude. I'm like 5'9", so
Okay.
they're like 6 foot and fucking scary looking now. But
Right.
I was just like whatever. And then but we have three Marines on our team, which would be cool to get one or two of them on here at one point or something.
Yeah, that'd be fun, dude.
Y'all could talk bullshit because those guys are. I mean, one of them was like he was gonna do that whole Marsoc shit. He got like, or I guess like some kind of. He was like, yeah, I told him no because I was like, I'm getting the fuck out of here because he was like about to. They were like trying to get him to re-enlist and do Marsoc,
Oh
and he was
yeah.
like, fuck that. And he could tell you some crazy shit about that, like because he told me some stories that I would let him tell those stories.
Well, do you know? Have you heard of Green Wolf Tactical?
Yes,
They do. He does like hats and
yeah,
yeah, embroidered shit and all kind of T-shirts and shit like that, hoodies, whatever. I had him on Flynn. He's a Marsoc Marine, and
oh yeah, those
yeah,
guys
so
are gnarly, dude.
he was in. I forget when he got out. it's on the podcast, whatever. But we talked for a while, and he went over a lot of his time in the Corps. That was the majority of what we talked about because he's not an airsofter. But I had him on because I met him at SS Airsoft at the Call of Duty event down there, and
Yeah,
so he had his trailer there, and that's how I met him. And so I started talking to him there, and I was like, dude, I'd love to have you on the podcast sometime just to bullshit about, you're at an airsoft event. Like, this is, the stuff you're selling, tactical stuff or whatever is related to these airsofters and stuff. So, yeah,
that event looked pretty cool. I forget what the dude's name that has the dog, man. That
Jammer.
dude's Jammer. Yeah, yeah. So
Yeah.
his dog, that dog that's
Did you
inspired me
see
to.
Terminal List?
I haven't
Did
seen
you
it
watch
yet.
that
No,
show?
I
Oh,
haven't
okay.
seen it. Oh wait, Terminal List. I just started watching it last night on
No
Amazon
way.
Prime. I literally just started watching it fucking last night with Chris Pratt.
Yeah, Chris Pratt.
Yeah, I just started watching that shit last
That's
night.
fucking
I
cool.
just got through the first episode where he gets in that shell shock situation where like and they're
Yeah.
like trying to set him up, and then I
Underneath,
think
underground.
that yeah, 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 and then
That
like
Jammer is in there with the dog. That dog is Jammer's dog,
that
and that's
dog's
him.
his dog.
Yeah, and that's him in the show.
Oh no shit! I didn't know
Yeah.
that. I didn't even recognize him in that. I
Uh-huh.
know the dude that played in I don't remember this actor's name. The dude with the long hair that has like all the tattoos, and he's like I miss the teams or whatever. He was in Lone Survivor.
Right, right.
You know, as Mike Murphy or
Uh,
whatever.
it's
Uh,
not Taylor Kitsch, is it?
I don't know. It could be.
It's the other guy. Okay. Yeah, I know what you're
But
talking about.
that dude is I mean, I so far I'm pretty hooked. I mean, I love Tom Clancy stuff anyways, and I know that it's
So
like
this is Jack Carr.
yeah, like
So
Jack Carr and
yeah, Jack
who
Carr is a
was
Navy SEAL,
who's Tom
retired.
Clancy?
Tom Clancy,
Jack Reach or is it Reacher or
Jack Ryan.
Jack Ryan? That's the
Well,
fucking Tom
yeah,
Clancy shit.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, so this is a totally different thing.
So
So
Jack Ryan, they made a show on that too, but Tom Clancy was Clear and Present Danger, that movie with
yeah,
Harrison Ford years ago, and they
well, I
made a
like his
second one.
stuff too. I mean,
Yeah,
I
I do
for
too.
some reason I wanted to line up Terminal List with Tom Clancy, and there's a
Well, it's
reason. So
very Tom Clancy-esque for
it's
sure.
like Navy SEAL, like
Uh-huh.
back, yeah. But he had like and then his family just got killed too.
Yeah.
So like that's where I'm at in the show, and then I kind of like started to doze off because it got kind of late when I started the show. But I was like, dude, this is actually like this is cool. I
Yeah.
kind of like I'm kind of hooked on it now. I noticed all this stuff. There's a 511 tactical store here that I go into sometimes, and I started seeing like Terminal List T-shirts. I was like, what does this have to do with
Yeah.
anything? And then I was like, I don't even know what it is. And then later on, I was like, oh shit, this is like a show with fucking Chris Pratt as a
Right.
SEAL that gets like a concussion. It's like
Well,
this
you know
is
what happened was the way I found out about it was last year, or the year before, whatever it was. Whenever he was on, when Jack Carr was on Joe Rogan, so I listened. So I was listening to that, and he was talking about the book he was writing, which was Terminal List. And
yep,
so I went and downloaded the book. I read it, and then of course, just in a few months ago, or end of last year, whatever, Terminal List, they made the movie or the show, and they were talking about Chris Pratt and all this stuff. But Jack Carr has his own podcast, and I was listening to that, and he was talking about leading up to when the show was coming out, and how all these things lined up. Antoine Fuqua or whatever, that director, he's the one that did the show. Chris Pratt, he reached out to Chris Pratt or Jack Carr did or whatever, and was like, or whoever did, but Jack Carr was like, I want this guy to direct it. I want this guy to be the lead actor,
yeah,
and it all worked out. Like these, it just it worked out pretty cool. So yeah,
that
it's a really good
sounds cool,
show.
dude.
But yeah, Jammer is in it as one of the guys with his dog there. So that
Well, I
scene you
remember
see it.
seeing the Belgian Malin, or is it Malinois? Is
Uh,
that how you say that? I
I don't
remember
really know
seeing
how to
it.
say it. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember seeing him walk by in one of the scenes, and I was like getting up to get a piece of pizza or something, and then like as I sat back down, I didn't realize that's who it was. But I follow him on Instagram. That dog
Call
is
of Duty Ghost. Yeah.
bad. Is he Ghost? He's not Ghost though.
Yeah, Jammer actual. Yeah.
He is the character Ghost.
The character, not the voice actor. The character. Yeah.
How the fuck does that work? Oh, like with the tattoos and stuff, or like is he like? How did
The
they
mocap, like they get, they built the character on off of him,
off of
and then
his actual? Oh,
yeah,
okay. I
uh
didn't. I knew some that he because he always had the ghost mask and stuff, but I didn't know that was actually.
that's
But
why, yeah.
he wasn't like British, so I was like, this can't be the same.
Oh no, yeah, yeah, it's a different actor that does the voice, yeah.
That's crazy. And then the dude that
But
does Captain Price literally looks like who you would think Captain Price would look like.
I know,
I
did you see
can't
that
remember.
video where he's asking for a Coke or something?
Yeah, dude, it looks like it's like what I imagine Captain Price would look like is now that guy's face. Like that's literally who it is.
For
He
real?
can't. He'll never live that down. If
No,
I
you
see him in
can't
any
unsee it.
movie, that actor, I forget his name too, but he like looks like a Captain Price.
Uh huh.
So I was like, this is perfect for that.
For
And
real.
then there's a couple other characters on there that were at that Airsoft too.
Yeah,
That
there was
the
Alex
girl.
Zedra.
Yep.
I had her sign the my M16, well, my son's M16 airsoft gun. So they went to one of their first events, big events they went to was a Vietnam era event. So they
Yeah.
had to have Vietnam era gear, and so they had M16 A1s, and so we were getting ready to go to this event, and it's only 2 hour drive for us. So I'm looking on the wall going, man, what airsoft gun can I take that has the most real estate that people could sign? Because I wanted to, have people sign it.
Does have a lot of real estate.
Yeah, it does. And because the handguard is smooth, there's no holes in it except on the top,
Yeah.
right? The stock is the original stock on the back. It's fucking long and big, and
And you have
uh,
that like whole uh fucking carry handle
yeah,
looking
the carry
shit.
handle and shit. So I had Jammer Actual sign it and Alex Zedra. Now we went on Saturday, Friday night. Rudy Reyes and what's his wife's name? I forget.
I know who you're talking about with Rudy
Yeah.
Reyes.
Anyway, she's in. They're all in the characters in Call of Duty, and so they were all there on Friday night, but we couldn't make it Friday night, so we went Saturday. But we saw Jammer Actual, Alex Zedra had her signed. I got a picture with her, and with Jammer as well. But and then a couple of people I've had on the podcast, husband and wife that used to go to that field, Spooky Airsoft and Sandy Cheeks is his
What
Instagram.
happened to that spooky airsoft thing?
What do you mean?
Like is that field still there?
No, Spooky Airsoft. She's that's
Or is that a
Alexis. Yeah,
oh, okay,
she
okay.
worked at she was helping out at SS for a while. Like when I had her on the podcast.
Her name is Spooky Airsoft.
Yeah,
I've
her
seen that
call
fly
sign.
around.
Yeah.
I thought that was like an actual place.
Yeah, yeah.
Just because somebody, I thought maybe I don't know if I follow, but somebody posted something and it was like all field stuff, and I was like, okay,
Oh yeah.
but
So I
that
guess yeah, I had her and Nick on. So I had them sign the gun as well. But she used to be, maybe you saw it associated with SS Airsoft because she used to help out there or work there, and
we had some guys
so
go down there recently. They said it was cool. I've never been to
oh,
SS.
SS.
Yeah,
Yeah, we went in and watched Jammer and Alex and them play or whatever
were they
through the
good?
viewing thing. It's a smaller indoor field.
Yeah,
And it's one of those that's like attached to like a strip mall. Well, not really a strip mall. It's not a strip mall. It's like a business park type
that's
of
kind of what
thing.
ours is like
It's
a
a
strip
strip.
mall. Yeah,
Yeah, it looks like a strip mall, but it's like businesses, whatever they're not all retail stores.
maybe
But
ours is like more of a business park too then, because it has like
yeah.
yeah, it makes sense. But yeah,
So
so they went in there and actually played against each other or
yeah.
like
Yeah, I mean
against
they played with all the, people that showed up. Like C7 Viper was there.
yeah, I
Um,
heard
him and his wife. I got a picture with him right before we were leaving, actually. He was busy talking to all these, young kids were up there, like 12, 13-year-old kids were all like surrounding around talking, asking him questions and shit. And I just popped in there real quick. I was like, hey, man, I told him who I was. And, I'm about to leave. So I wanted to say hi to you and get a picture. But, so anyway, but yeah, I got to see a bunch of people there. It was cool, man. Yeah, it was cool.
did they actually like were they like playing like with good like did they give him like good gear? Or do they
Yeah,
already have? Oh damn.
yeah, dude. They played like full on.
Oh shit.
Yeah, Alexandra made some she put up YouTube videos on it from
Yeah.
on her channel, and Jammer Rogue Customs actually custom painted two dye masks, one for Ghost for Jammer, and made it the Ghost mask,
Oh, that's
just
crazy.
like the Call of Duty Ghost mask.
That's
Looked
cool.
awesome. And then he painted I can't remember. He said it on the or no, he didn't say it on the podcast. He sent me a message after because it was a secret. So Jammer bought the dye mask custom painted for Alex. That was like some character. Damn, I can't remember who it was. That I guess that she really likes, and like anime character or something.
Yeah.
And the mask looks awesome, dude. You'll find it on her Instagram. She took a picture of it, him and her and him together with their masks on. But yeah, they went out there and played with dye masks, like fucking run around and
That's
shooting
crazy as
everybody.
shit.
Yeah, the dog was sitting over here watching and shit. It was
The
cool.
dog really is the dog is trained, really trained, right?
Yeah, yeah.
That
hmm
dog is like on point every video
And I
that
don't
he's
think he
ever.
goes anywhere without him,
Yeah,
without the
yeah,
dog.
I don't think you can. I think the dog is like his like
Attached,
was he in the military himself?
bro. I don't know how many years, but he was in the Marine Corps.
Okay.
He was special ops.
Okay, so he was
Yeah,
like okay.
Force Recon
Yeah,
for years. I think maybe 5 years, but when he got out and he was a contractor, so he did all the bad juju shit over there.
yeah,
After.
he's fucking yeah. There's
Yeah.
don't let me get started on contractors, dude. Those guys are nuts, and most of them are like ex special forces dudes.
Oh, for
Like
sure.
I don't know
I mean,
many dudes that are like, yeah,
that's
I'm a
what they know.
contractor that didn't. Yeah, that's like all they know how to do.
That's what
So
they know, man. They're good at it.
he if he's got that dog, that dog is something I wanted to see. Just like see him like just how the dog is so like in the videos that he posts is so like perfect. You know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
like there's no it doesn't even act like a dog. It acts like a robot. It's just got him like
Yeah.
straight beside
Well,
him and then
I
like
will say this: when we were at the event there at SS, yeah, it's very disciplined dog for sure, trained or whatever. But but he got excited about people. He wouldn't jump on people, for sure. But it was, he's wagging his tail. He was, running around and
does he have to have a
sniffing
muzzle?
people. Yeah,
Oh yeah, so he's
yeah.
like he's yeah, that's
I mean, I was just gonna rip your fucking guts out,
that's what
man.
I'm saying. Yeah, dude, that dog's like massively
What's that
like
German word for the German shepherds they used to use, the war
I
dogs or whatever, the German attack word and shit, like rip your fucking jugular out.
that's I mean if you have a dog that's that see I what I was gonna do is get one of those whenever I have a house, right? This is not a situation for a dog. Cats are okay, but dog can't be in here.
Right.
And I'm gonna have it trained.
Yeah.
But you have to spend a substantial amount of time with those dogs. You can't
Right.
just like get one and then just like not do
Yeah,
any.
bro,
That's
for
like
real.
daily activities with it.
Well,
So I
it's got to
wanted
be
to
your companion almost.
literally your
Yeah.
best friend forever.
hmm
So it's like he probably I mean he flies with that dog, he drives with the
Yep.
dog, he probably takes a shit with the dog in the bathroom. I don't know. It's like there's I mean
It's all over.
honestly, dude, that dog's
Yeah,
probably
just
everywhere.
everywhere. He has to get, he takes the dog. Well, he's got, I want to say three dogs.
Oh really? And just
Yeah, the
that
other two aren't like,
yeah.
military dogs, whatever. But I think,
I know he
I
probably
can't
spent like
remember.
$10,000 on that dog training it.
Oh, I'm
That
sure.
stuff
I
is
think
so
I've heard
expensive.
that you can get one of those prior military dogs that are kind of like retired or whatever. I think you can get those for like 20 grand.
Yeah, that sounds good.
I've heard.
That sounds that's fucking super
Yeah, I mean
expensive.
it's
That's
your
good.
your MP7 was a lot cheaper.
Yeah, dude. I'll take the MP7 for now.
Yeah, dude.
My aunt she used to train canines for the police department. And I was
Okay.
thinking maybe I'd just get one and then she has some connections with the sheriff department up in like Denver, North Carolina.
Yeah.
And maybe I could just like get one and have it trained by somebody she knows that's still with the sheriff's department and just kind of,
Yeah.
because I know you have to be with the dog a lot while it's trained or while you're training it. Like you can't just
Okay.
like leave it with some, I guess I don't know really. I guess you could leave
I
it
don't
at a
either.
place, but I think you have to like interact with it because otherwise wouldn't it be more attached to the person that's interacting with it? You would
I
think.
I don't know,
So
man.
there's a
I
lot of
really
like
don't
time.
know.
Yeah, I know
Like
that's a weird question, but
I don't know a lot about. I love animals.
it's like, I don't know
I
anything about animals.
I really don't know like training them and stuff. You know, like training dogs or
the
there's
the amount of
um,
integrity that that guy has when walking around with that. I mean, I'm sure he has integrity without the dog, but the dog brings this whole other aura of like
oh God,
that
yeah.
that dude's a
Imagine walking
fucking.
the airport like that.
Can you
These
imagine boarding a plane and people seeing you board a plane with a dog like that? People are like, okay, he's obviously not a normal dude. He's just like he's got to be
right.
something like special to be able to even do that. So he's probably got some kind of like special pass to take that dog everywhere or something.
I'm
I don't know,
sure.
but
Well, what go over before we wrap up your kind of recap on your the Airsoft Columbia,
okay.
right? What's the new field you guys are calling it, and where's it going to be? What area of South Carolina, and kind of give an overview. And if people want to help out, like donate or anything like that, is there anything set up where people can go to find out about this, the progress of it, when it's going to open, the info on it, and if they want to, kind of help in that process?
Um, so it's now called Airsoft South Carolina, which was a
Gotcha.
decision that was made by, I guess everybody kind of had a vote on that, and we were like, all right,
Hmm.
let's just make it more broad. And
Right.
then it is in Columbia still, so it's not too far from the old place. I'm trying to find the exact address. Like I said, I haven't been to the physical building yet,
Right.
but it's definitely in Columbia, and then it's in this little like business park strip mall, whatever you want to call it. There's just pictures, and the only thing that I know of right now, there is a website. And he had it up the other day, but it might be down right now. I'm gonna try to see if I can. It would be airsoftsouthcarolina.com.
Okay.
And it is up right now. So Airsoft South Carolina has the same. Like you can't even see this on my phone. I don't know how to share
Yeah,
screen, but
that's all right. I heard if you somebody told me one time, you turn your brightness down, it'll show up
you
on the
know what?
camera.
You're probably exactly right. So there it is,
Yeah.
Airsoft
There you
South
go.
Carolina. It's got the same. I don't know if you can see it at the top.
Logo. Yep.
Same logo as Airsoft Columbia. Or the Instagram is now Airsoft South Carolina. So if you search for
Gotcha.
Airsoft Columbia, I don't think it'll pop up, but it might
Okay.
populate. There's no donation stuff going on that I'm aware of right now. I mean, everybody just if anybody could just stay posted, man, because we're working hard to get this thing done at the end of February, probably.
Gotcha.
It might
Okay.
be a little longer, but I think it's. I mean, we have the building.
That's
Like
pretty
this is
quick. Yeah.
solidified. Yeah, dude. And Eric is like, I keep mentioning Eric
Gung
just
ho.
because he's like balls to the wall on this thing. Like
Right.
he's like fucking every day, like trying to figure something out. That
Hell
just
yeah.
they got a bunch of materials there with they're trying to frame stuff up, and I think he's got some stuff framed up now. And I'm gonna know more about everything once I get there Sunday. And again, I'm more on the investment side, the back end side of this, and probably gonna be focused more on the
Right.
marketing of it. So the something I should know is the address, right? Well, the problem is I've been just kind of like letting them delegate what's going on with all this stuff, and then
Yeah.
figuring out, okay, let's get on the website and try to
Well, I
mess
can.
with
I
that.
mean, we don't. For this part, we don't. I don't need the actual address. I can just post as long as I have the Instagram, the website. That's good. I can put that on the description of the video and the podcast part, the audio, and yeah, that and just kind of funnel people to there. Make them aware of what's going on and try to keep posted if they're in this area and they want to check it out, like early March or whatever when it opens, end of February, then at least they'll know where they can get in contact. So,
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and that's probably the best thing to look for is probably the Instagram right now on the website.
yeah.
And that address, another problem we were having with we were trying to get stuff delivered like materials. and
Mm.
they wouldn't even do it. Like they were like they couldn't figure out what it
Find it.
was.
Yeah, some
So
addresses are funny like that with map.
getting it on Google Maps is the big thing. So that
Yeah,
way I can be like, hey, type in Airsoft South Carolina, it populates on your GPS, and you can just fucking drive to it. So
right,
that's the that's a huge step in the right direction when we get that done. So
for sure.
also don't
Well,
buy nods from AGM. Do not buy AGM nods ever.
why is
Just
that?
gonna mention that now. Well, I just forgot this was sitting here. This is my data sheet, and the data sheet is entirely wrong. It says green phosphor. I have white phosphor. It says there's no blims on it. Mine has a blim on the left side. They just don't fucking do what they're supposed to. So I'm just gonna throw that out there. If you're gonna buy anything, don't buy it from them.
I
Fuck
gotcha.
AGM. That's my
Oh
opinion
shit.
though. Unless they replace it and do the right thing, which they say they're going to, but it's taken like 3 months to do this, so we'll see.
Oh Jesus.
But yeah,
They're
man,
busy,
that's
man. They're busy.
yeah, they're so busy. It's shipping everything to Ukraine right now.
That's what it is.
That's what it is. That they told me they're like we have a lot of stuff going on with Ukraine. I was like, bro, but I spent a lot of money. So
Yeah.
can I just have my correct data sheet? And that just annoys the shit out of me.
No shit. Well,
But
let everybody know where they can find you as well. Where people get in touch with you on.
social
Was it
media
Inst?
would be well right now we just primarily on Instagram, man.
Yeah.
Raven13 Solutions on Instagram. So at Raven13 Solutions, and that would be as simple as that. I mean, that's pretty much what we got
And the
as a
13
team.
is Roman numerals, by the way.
I don't think on the I don't think I think it's regular 13 right now.
Oh, it
It
is?
is it is Roman numerals, but that's how
Oh,
we
on
spell
Discord.
it
On
out.
Discord. My
Oh, on
bad.
Discord it is Roman numerals.
Yeah.
On the Instagram it's literally just Raven the number 13 and solutions, no spaces
Gotcha.
obviously 'cause
Gotcha.
you can't do
Gotcha.
that.
Okay.
So
Hell yeah, dude. Well,
fuck
listen,
yeah.
bro. It's been great talking with you.
It's been
My
like
ass is
five
starting to
hours.
hurt. My
It's
ass is
so
starting.
long.
I never know when we're rolling like this, where it's a good conversation. I don't notice how long it's been until
You're
my
gonna have to
ass
like
starts
edit
hurting.
this shit back to like 2 hours.
Fuck that. I don't edit these, bro.
You don't edit? That's going up
No,
like it is. Oh fuck it, then.
I
I've
don't
been
edit these. I had somebody not long ago. It was a long one, long podcast, and they messaged me later. Was like, "Are you gonna edit that so it's more interesting?" And I'm like, "Bro, I'm not going through 4 hours of
footage and
video
fucking trying to
to
do
edit when
that.
I'm
No,
putting out
dude.
five. I'm putting out a podcast every day, Monday through Friday. I ain't got time to edit all that shit. No,
No, it's like
this is going
upload
up
it and
how
let
it
it
is.
go. Yep.
Yeah,
That's
I
the way
mean,
to do
fuck
it.
it. If somebody don't want to watch it or listen to it, that's fine. I don't mind. It's if somebody wants to stick it on while they're driving or while
I
they're
would
at
be
work.
surprised if anybody watches our shit.
Yeah,
Or at
there's a
least
couple people, man. There's like a few people that really enjoy watching instead of listening.
oh really like actually watching the videos?
Yeah,
I kind of like the podcast videos more than the just the audio, but in the
yeah,
car that's all I listen to is the audio, so it
yeah. Same.
doesn't really
Yeah,
matter.
and at
Um
work.
but I'm just saying like for the sake of Raven 13, people are gonna be, who the fuck is that? And why are we watching this guy? And it's just
Well,
gonna be a bunch of
who the fuck
barbering
am
random
I?
nonsense.
Nobody's. Yeah, don't you know what I'm
So
saying? Like, they don't know. Like, we used to do unboxings and reviews, and now I'm doing podcasts. People are probably like, people that find our channel because of the unboxing videos,
they're looking for unboxing, but they're
and
actually
then they
finding
go,
podcasts.
"What?" And then they go to the actual channel, right?
Yeah.
After they see a suggested video or something, and they're going, "What the fuck? What is
Yeah,
it? Am I at the
what
right
the fuck is
place? What happened?" So,
well, fuck it, dude. Fuck it. We'll just
I don't even.
send it.
I don't care. Whatever. I really like connecting people through here. So if
Yeah.
somebody's gonna hear this and go, "Holy shit, man! This guy's right down the road from where I am. I've been to these fields he's been to, or whatever. Talking about this, whatever." And you'll meet up and like whatever. We'll connect. This family tree. We'll all get out there and get talking with everybody. So
Yeah, I agree. That'd be cool.
yeah, hell yeah, dude.
I'm now sort of famous, I guess.
I,
I'm kind of a
slow
big
down, killer.
deal.
This channel is not that big, I promise you,
But
okay?
if it ever gets huge,
Well,
I've
that's
been
true.
on it.
That's right.
So
You've been casted.
I've been casted
Yeah.
once.
I'm
So
actually going to come out with a T-shirt that says "Get Casted" for the Trifecta Airsoft podcast. So,
I did. Do you
um,
have T-shirts right now? Like the ones
yeah, I have
behind you?
T-shirts on our website. Yeah,
I'll probably pick
I
one up.
have
Fuck it.
I have this one. American as fuck. Um, I have this one on our site. I think I do. I think I still do. And then and it has Trifecta Airsoft on the back. Um, but and then I've got just the basic stuff. I got
Yeah,
this
dude.
mug, this coffee mug, which I love because this thing's fucking giant, bro. It's like 15 ounces.
It's got to be bigger than this one. Yeah, it's like all I do is drink coffee anyway, so.
Yeah, that's same. But yeah, so I have that on there, and then just basic, the little T or whatever, the logo on the front.
Before we get off here, what's your favorite coffee? This is going to be an entire I'm not going to make it a whole thing, but what is it?
Like brand
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
oh, Black Rifle Coffee.
Okay. Well,
Yeah, yeah,
that's what I'm drinking right now, but
yeah.
I don't know. You need to get on the internet, and if you haven't had Bones coffee, you need to go order Bones
I
coffee.
have not tried it, but I've seen it. Is that the
Yeah,
one with
dude.
the
Jelly donut.
the skeleton stand like this with the? Okay,
You'll just give it a shot and let me
I
know
need
what
to
you
try
think
that.
later. The jelly donut is fucking incredible.
That sounds
It
disgusting, bro.
it's dude, it's so
That
funny.
sounds
It's
fucking
so
gross.
it's so fucking good, dude. But it doesn't when you open the bag, you're like, oh my god, it's a jelly donut. And when you make the coffee, you're like, oh my god, it still smells like a jelly donut. When you drink it, you're like, wow, this is good coffee and slightly jelly donutty. It's do you drink coffee
No,
black
I'm gonna have
or is creamy?
flashbacks of Full Metal Jacket.
I mean, yeah.
What
Well,
the fuck is
that's
this,
why
Private Pile? A jelly donut.
they made it, probably. I don't
Oh,
know.
that's
I mean,
awesome. Hell yeah.
dude,
Yeah, I'll definitely give it a try.
they have a million different flavors though. You don't have to get jelly donut. They have like
No, I'm
regular
gonna try it now. I
shit.
got to now. I have
It's
to.
kind
We
of
talked about it.
expensive, but it's worth it. All right, brother.
I'll when we talk again, I'll have you back on here with a couple of your guys, and I'll give
Sure.
you a report. I'll give you after action report on the jelly donut coffee.
Uh, we will all have jelly donut coffee when we come back on here. I guarantee it. 'Cause I'll
That'd
make
be
sure those
awesome.
guys have. I think we could all do a Discord podcast thing. I could probably get some more fucking idiots on here from my team, so that
Yeah,
would be
dude.
funny and shit.
I love the group ones. We can have up to. I mean, they say you can have 99 people on a Discord
Oh
call,
no, that's a
but
lot.
that's but like we've had eight. I think we've had eight in the past. The important thing with group ones is everyone needs to have like what you have on the headset and mic
These, yeah.
is hands down the best way. You can do earbuds, but it's still there's some lag and they're not as quick in the conversation because they have to kind of catch up to what people are saying. Um, and then if there's background noise, it cuts
We
them
might try
out.
to do like 4 guys, incling me, so 3
Yeah,
other ones, and then just make it easier for
that'd
everybody.
be
'Cause I don't
cool
know
as
if
fuck.
everybody has these crazy headphones or whatever, but
Yeah, they don't have to be expensive. I mean, this fucker was like $25, bro.
I think we
The
still have the
Logitech thing.
podcast headphones. Those should work. We have like 5 sets of those. So
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you got the expensive shit, bro.
we got the stuff, but we got to,
What we should do is the next one, y'all need to have me on
yeah,
as a guest on
yeah,
your podcast.
that'd be cool.
Yeah, it'd be cool as fuck.
Then I could ask you a bunch of fucking random shit. Also, that'd be sick.
No shit, right?
I'm gonna ask the podcasting. Yeah, that'd be
Oh
sick.
yeah,
Podcast the podcaster.
exactly. Hell yeah, man.
Hell
Well, I
yeah.
appreciate you, brother. It's been great meeting you and talking with you, and
You too,
we'll do
man.
it again soon.
For sure, brother.